you can bend the thing, however. Yeah, dude, this is it.
Love the setup. This is good.
It's got to be like pretty close to your face. Like up in your shit.
Up in here?
Yeah. You'll hear it when you put the headphones on. Yeah. And you can hear yourself talk too.
Can I? Okay. Perfect.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Oh, I love it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Which one did you get?
I think we got the same thing.
How the fuck would you get us the same?
Oh, no, go for the
Let's try it a different.
Flyjack. And I got Propagator Series Galaxy. Okay.
They're all different percentages too.
Sure.
Let's see. Flyjack. 4%. You got 6 points.
Well, it's Saturday. You planning on watching these games later?
Yeah. The one, what's on right now? The
I think it's OK State and
Baylor.
that sounds right. OK State.
Can you stream it on there?
Yeah,
Put the
but
game on.
fucking
Oh, that's not even a
14-3.
game.
Damn.
Who's are playing?
Did you watch the Oregon game last night? Oregon what? Oregon got their shit stomped.
Didn't
Utah?
Utah beat them earlier in the year, didn't they?
Yeah,
When they were
yeah,
top 4.
yeah. My buddy, he live bet Oregon money line at halftime, and then as soon as halftime ended, there was a stat that went up from when they played earlier this year, and the stats were almost identical to Utah's defense stopping Oregon's offense for the game. Oregon had like 40 rushing yards, like 4 first downs, like 7 completions, something like ridiculous, and they were almost identical to when they played like 2 weeks ago. So Utah just had their number.
He bet them yesterday.
He live bet it last night during the game.
He bet the Utah.
He bet Oregon money line, and when Oregon was down like 17-0 or something, and then they lost like 34.
Wait, who won
10.
last night?
Utah, and he took Oregon money. He wanted Oregon.
he
to
lost.
win. Yeah, he lost his bet.
Okay.
And it was like 5 minutes into the third, like Utah had a pick six, and then they scored again, and it was like 27-3, and we were like, holy shit. But yeah, so all right, we can talk football if you want, but so we've known each other for like 10 years. For context, for the people that listen to this, we've known each other for like 10 years, maybe 12 years, like middle school.
6th or 7th grade, yeah.
Yeah, because our older sisters went to high school together, played sports together. And then we ended up playing sports kind of together against each other.
I think we won the majority of those. We were both. It was in the D division. It was in the D division.
Oh, for freshman basketball?
No.
Oh, middle school?
CYC.
Yeah, Ascension. I think you guys did win most of those.
But it was the D or the E division, whatever.
Still counts.
It counts because it happened. But
Middle school all-stars.
middle school D League All Stars.
And then you just met, and we played each other here and there, because I only played freshman year.
I only played freshman year.
Yeah, and it wasn't for me. But it was like what you were saying, like with that basketball tournament. Like, I was a center in 8th grade, and then I stopped growing, and then freshman year there were centers that were like 6'8", and I was like, what do you expect me to do in this? I can't shoot the ball.
It worked freshman year, though.
Yeah, it was fun freshman year.
It's like, who else? A lot of people stopped growing. I stopped growing in high school, too. Who else?
I don't know, but then you went to just met, and then you went to Mo State, right?
I went to Creighton for a year.
Oh, shit. Really?
And because I wanted to do like the pre-med track, but I didn't really like Omaha. It was a small. No, Omaha was nice, but it was only like 4,000 undergrad.
Oh, no shit.
So
Omaha's a small city, too.
nobody. I feel like a lot of people don't know about it unless you know sports. Like if you know college basketball,
You know Creighton.
you've heard of Creighton.
Yeah.
Dougie McBuckets. But it was cool. It was cool. Cold. A lot of the athletes.
Put this closer to your face. Like, you can physically pull the thing.
Okay, so it is a little. Okay.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, there we go.
But I was friends with a lot of the athletes because those are the only people that really went out. Mm-hmm. Everyone else was just like studying all the time. I mean, I
remember hearing that because I had a few buddies that wanted to go to the med track, and I think one or two of them went to Creighton. Yeah. I remember hearing that, but I never realized that.
Joe Cribben.
Yeah.
Joe
Cribben. Yeah, Cribben. That's right.
So that's like one of the St. Louis guys. He took me there and back. I couldn't take
Really?
my car there.
Damn.
But there and back, he was my ride. Yeah.
So why'd you
Shout out to Joe.
Shout out to Joe. Why'd you transfer to Mo State?
Because I decided I didn't want to be like pre-med anymore.
I was going to guess that.
I wanted to be closer to home because
Yeah.
I was like 6 hours away.
Oh, fuck me. I've got a friend moving back to St. Louis in January. Shout out Spence. He's staying in the same job, some shit like that. But he's moving back here from Omaha, and he's been in Omaha by himself. I don't know, probably a year and a half. And yeah, he's so pumped to get it back home. I can't speak for him, but like from what I've heard, he's so pumped to get back home because he's just the fucking middle of nowhere.
There isn't much there. There's a casino because Omaha is on the border, like right with Iowa. So it's just like St. Louis and Illinois. Like, you can go across the river to the casino.
He was saying that about because he was always spending time like Iowa City and shit in Des Moines.
Yeah, I mean, all the people from there are Minnesota. So I actually developed like a Minnesotan accent, like my like the fall.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Absolutely, you know.
Absolutely.
But Minnesota, Iowa, all those northern spots, and then there's a lot of Asians from our Pacific Islanders. A lot of people from Hawaii.
Huh? Really?
Yeah.
Med school.
So it was med school and pre-dent, and then I guess like a pretty good business school. The business kids drank because they never had classes on Fridays, ever.
Same with Mizzou.
Is that like a thing? Is like a business school
It
closed
was,
on Friday?
I think it was an upper level business school. So like your junior and senior year.
Yeah, not even that.
It was when no one
Freshman
had.
year.
There was no
they
class
just
on
like
Friday.
they didn't have class. Like just was a thing. Which
That's sweet. It was sweet.
so that's the other thing that bothered me. I'm like, okay.
You had class. Or
My buddies
studying
were
or
like
something
business
all
schools
day.
and like the athletes and
They were doing stuff on Friday and you couldn't.
yeah. Oh, so one of my buddies, my two good buddies, were golfers.
Okay.
One from Las Vegas and one from Pasadena.
Wow.
So it was a good time. They're from the West. They know how to have a good time. But story about the guy from Pasadena. So you seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what it's about, and it's basically a true story, and they explain it a little bit throughout the story, like how they did it and what went on.
Right.
At the very end of the movie, they show you the real look in. I guess just like the full story of like who was in it, what happened, all that.
Right.
And his grandpa pops up, Angelo Mazzillo, like the CEO of like Bank of America or
What?
one of those, something like that, one of those banks. And he was like one of the people that was, I guess, responsible for like the crash.
Oh shit.
And I Googled his net worth. So I'm like, okay, like.
Should I Google it?
You can, yeah.
What's his name?
Angelo Mozillo, Mozilo.
Fuck me.
Yeah. What's it say?
Critics of the settlement argued that it amounted to little more than a slap on the wrist, and a light one at that, considering that a portion of the legal tab was covered by Bank of America and the Mozillo's net worth.
Oh, Countrywide
Executive.
Financial, maybe. I guess maybe it was Countrywide Financial, not. What a gangster. Move up. Born in 1938 in the Bronx, New York City, New York.
Look at him. So, yeah, keep going.
But, no, it was just crazy to me that was like that's his grandpa.
CNN named Mozilla as one of the 10 most wanted culprits of the 2008 financial collapse in the United States. A theory further supported an Inside Job, an Academy Award-winning documentary on the global financial crisis.
Yep, that was my best friend at Creighton.
Fuck.
That's
his grandpa?
That's his grandpa.
Crazy.
I didn't pay for pizza after the bars once. I will tell you that right now.
That's nuts.
I'm like, I don't take money from my parents. Like, I pay for like everything that like I like get. If I buy something, like I'm the one paying for it.
Right.
Like if it's his credit card,
Yeah.
like son of your dad, I ain't paying for extra cheese on the pizza
buddy?
after the bars. Yeah. Can we throw in some breadsticks? Yeah, we can throw in some breadsticks.
Boneless wings, too.
Boneless wings too.
So you went from Creighton, you spent a year there, you spent a semester there?
I stayed the whole year.
Excuse me.
Might as well. I mean.
Yeah, why not? That was actually funny enough. The kid that's moving from Omaha, when he was deciding on colleges, he was between Miami of Ohio and Mizzou. And he was telling me this the other day. It was something along the lines his dad was like, well, if you go to Mizzou, you're not going to transfer to Miami. But you could go to Miami and then transfer back to Mizzou. And he's like, that's a good point. And so he was there for a year, maybe 2 years, and then he transferred to Mizzou.
Wait, where did you go?
Mizzou, all 4 years.
Oh, okay. So that's funny.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like everyone from St. Louis goes to Mizzou,
Dude,
or like there's a decent amount of St. Louis people at Missouri State as well.
I've got a ton of friends that went to Mo State. A ton of
Did you ever
friends went to
visit?
Mo State. No, I always wanted to. My stepsister went there too. She's actually currently there. I know. I never got a chance to. I always wanted to. The kid, he didn't sign the table. Andy Hoover, who's episode 3 or 4. He went to Mo State, and then Mitch Lukens.
I think he was a SIG-Ep, wasn't he? I think he was. I was a SIG-Ep for so when I transferred there, I rushed then.
Big dude.
Yeah.
Mitch is huge dude.
Bigger dude. Yeah.
And then Sam Hageman.
Oh yeah, Sam.
He worked at First Form too.
Yeah, no, we grinded together.
Yeah.
He was a funny guy.
Those are there's a ton more, but those are the 3. Josh Bell, hockey kid.
The hockey kid. Yeah. I think I may have ran into him, but
I had a ton of friends with it. I had way more than that, but I had a ton of friends who went there. Some of them played lacrosse. How's my state?
You know
Bierman?
David Bierman?
Yeah.
He went to the Smet.
Yeah.
He played lacrosse.
That's right.
I didn't know any of the lacrosse kids, though.
I don't know. How do you like my state? Where's that? Springfield? Shout out Springfield.
Springfield. Isn't that where The Simpsons is hosted? Is it Simpsons or Family Guy?
Simpsons. Springfield,
Simpsons,
Illinois. I think it's Illinois.
Oh. I thought it was, I don't know.
There's a Springfield in every state. You know that?
That was a fun fact I didn't know, but I'm not skeptical of it. I feel like there's definitely.
Think about it, yeah.
No, there is. There's
That's
definitely more of it,
Springfield.
too. It doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
It's definitely Missouri, then.
I'll take it. Yeah. There's Springfield in every state. Fun fact for the day. All right, so Mo State, and then what'd you do after graduating?
Mo State.
I want to hear like the
Oh,
timeline up until now.
Timeline up until now. So I graduated, would have been, December of 19.
Okay.
The year we won the Cup. That was a great year. Shout out to the Blues.
That was a great year.
So I was going to stay up in
What'd you major
down hospitality, food, and beverage.
Okay.
Because I think long term I want to open a restaurant.
Fuck yeah.
Just like a 20-year plan.
Fuck yeah. I'd love to own a restaurant. I want like a little taco stand that only sells tacos and margaritas.
Where?
I don't know.
You just know that it's somewhere.
Somewhere.
But it's location, so you got to make sure.
Like,
right spot.
If you're asking about, like, would it be in St. Louis? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
If it's in St. Louis, I could not tell you where. If it was in St. Louis and it's, like, by where I live, it'd have to be, like, a rooftop. Or it'd have to have, like, a deck that you can sit on.
I think rooftop's important.
Yeah.
I think it's a necessity. I mean, I think it adds value to what you're doing if you have.
Why do you want to open up a restaurant? Why is that your long-term plan? That's fun. I love that. I love food. I love cooking.
You have to eat food 3 times a day at least.
Is it like
It's like think about like a thing where you have to have like a business plan where you have to have like customers consistently.
Yeah.
Like people have to eat
right
a couple times a day. Mm-hmm. And if you can throw in like something like booze, because I want it to be like a pub, like a
fuck yeah
bar and
yeah.
Okay. Would you go to a place called Grandma's Pub?
Yeah, I would.
Would you not?
For sure.
Where are you guys going? We're going to Grandma's tonight.
Yeah, I love that.
We're going drinking at Grandma's.
If they got good wings and beer on tap.
And obviously it's going to be, quality food. You're not going to throw out a crap product.
Right.
Granted, we'll see, how expensive, everything's going to go, or if we have like a lack of this, a lack of that. Who knows what's going on in today's world, but.
And it's funny you say a pub or a bar, because there's like some bars that I go to that are like bar food, not like fucking. Like it's like I don't want to say a pub, like bar and grill type places that I will drive 30 minutes out of my way to go to. For sure. Mulligan's is one of them.
In Ellisville for the wings?
Huh?
In Ellisville?
Yeah, for the wings and their sauce.
Never been there, but
Dude.
I've driven past it.
It's so fucking good. I'll literally on Sundays, I'll drive fucking 30 minutes just to go eat lunch there. Say I'll drive 20 minutes to Circle 7. There's one up the road on Clayton called Sportsman's. Shout out Sportsman's. Shout out Dave for showing me Sportsman's.
On Ladue?
Yeah, kinda.
Right there past Ladue Middle.
Yeah. It's Clayton
right at
and
64.
Yeah, exactly right there. Across here from Lester's. It's fucking dank. They've got this homemade ranch dressing. I can't believe we're talking about this. Whatever. This is all this is.
It's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, well, go back to that. Like, is it a passion for a restaurant, or is it just more just like a business side of it? Because I would love to open up a restaurant and just like every day sell dollar tacos, but that's not going to turn a profit.
No, because that's the thing is like, yeah, it's fun fun to be said. It'd be fun to say that it's just for the love of food, but I mean, business is business.
Business is business.
Business is business.
Cash is king. Not
Cash
not
is
for
king.
long.
Like, you can act like you don't need money, but you need money. Otherwise, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think feeding people food where they're like, I gotta like, where they get like addicted to your food, and like that's something that you created.
Right.
So people like, so at First Form, they have, that's some of the best. You've had the protein.
I've got it in the kitchen.
Some of the best the best protein
Hands
that
down.
you can buy.
Right.
Like the best tasting, the highest quality.
You pay for what you get too.
You pay, yeah. It's a
pay
little pricey,
fucking
but
premium.
it's a little pricey, but I mean, you definitely pay for what you get.
100p.
But
I was actually, my buddy just started working out recently, and we were talking last night. He was asking me about protein suggestions, and I was literally saying, I was like, you're like, if you want the best shit, it's the stuff I have in my kitchen. It's like,
what flavor you got?
I've got the all day one,
All day.
like the meal replacement one.
Level 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, level
That's chocolate banana, and then I've
That's
got
fire. for
yeah,
smoothies.
that one's
So
huge.
that smoothies and you're set.
And then I've got the isolate.
The isolate's just post workout.
First workout, yeah, and that's orange dreamsicle.
I didn't never tried that one.
And it's I went to the store looking for something to be good to mix with water because I was so fucking tired drinking like chocolate water. I was like, I gotta get some fruity ass flavor. And the dude recommended that one. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It's heat. You should try it.
I'll try it. But any flavor that they have that's not vanilla or chocolate, if you like what the name of it is, you'll love like
Dude, they knock
the
it out of
protein
the
of
park.
it. Root beer float is my favorite.
I've wanted to try that one.
You
I
have-
saw they just came out with like a pumpkin spice too.
That's like their fault. They just like, it's the level 1, so it's the meal replacement.
Yeah.
So 1 is like a slow digested protein.
Right.
So it mimics like like a chicken breast and
Right,
like
right.
how that would like digest through your body. And the isolate, I mean, obviously,
Just fast
it's like just for
acting
post.
protein.
Yeah, it's already like pre-digested.
Yeah.
Don't know how that works. Like, doesn't make sense, but it's
above me.
It's pre-digested. So when you take it, you're supposed to take it with water. I was taking mine with milk before I worked there, and then someone told me you're just wasting it because the lactose in the milk. You have to digest that. And so I'm like, wow. So I've just been spending money on this protein.
That's
And
hardly
just
been
wasting
worth
it.
Damn.
I mean, granted, I got like the
Right.
nutrients out of it, but then since I added the milk, it became like a level 1, so it like digested slowly,
Yeah.
like a regular meal.
You didn't get what you could have been getting.
I didn't get the gains I could have gotten in the workout, so that's probably
Gainesville,
why
USA.
that's why I'm still small, not as big as you. But
The day
I
you
mean,
start lifting is the day you're forever small.
yeah, you're never big enough. Like
No.
body dysmorphia, like I mean that's a true thing for
It's
guys.
real. It's real.
It might
True
be more for like
everyone.
girls, but like it's true for everyone. Like we always like, oh man, I could just have a little bit bigger arms, or like
Right.
wish my quads were just like a little bit bigger.
I could squat 5 more pounds. I swear to God, I could.
You can. You can do anything you want to. It's just a matter of you're never going to get to where you want to be because it's ever ending.
Right. All right, let's go to that one.
Ooh, which part?
All of it, and kind of into you doing 75 hard.
Okay, yeah. I think I did 75 hard, probably the easiest time in human history.
During COVID.
Yeah.
When-
So that was getting back to my point. So my last semester at Missouri State was in that spring when COVID started, and so
Oh shit.
I was just working at one of the bars and coaching soccer for like one of the like little clubs up there.
Dynamo State.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then I both of those I couldn't do anymore. Like they were over. Like, and so I just came back home and I was like, okay, well,
Got to do something.
I don't know, like, what's going on. So I'm like in April. It's like I was back for like a couple of weeks, and I'm like, okay, I want to make some money. My sister had done like what's it called? What's the Shipt, which is like just another Instacart.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so with Instacart, I mean, you make good money just working a couple hours. People are getting $200, $300, $400, $500 worth of groceries from Costco, Sam's, Schnucks.
My buddy did Instacart while he was back for like a few breaks over college, and he earned really good money for working like 4 hours a day.
Yeah, 4 hours, you can make at least like $25 an hour.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
And I mean, you're going through the grocery store. They lay it all out for you on the app. So like produce, aisle 1, 2, 3, meat, dairy. It's all laid out for you. It's not like it's just a list and you're like, okay, I don't know where any of this stuff is.
Right.
Like, that tells you exactly where you need to be. And then you're in the store for 30 minutes. You're driving, 10, 15, maybe 5. Like, so.
I've always thought that Ubering would be kind of fun because I love driving around.
here's the thing about Uber. I tried it just to try it, just to see what it was about. And
Did you really?
I've given maybe like 10 rides
Just to see what it's about.
just to see what it's about, just to check it out.
Yeah.
But like with Uber, you don't know anything about what you're about. I mean, you know the person's name and where you're picking them up, but you don't know anything else.
Does it give you any idea of like how long the ride is?
You don't know anything.
Huh.
Or maybe it did, but maybe I didn't look at it.
changed.
Maybe I didn't look at it right. But you don't know anything. You don't know where you're taking them. They get in the car, you slide, and then you go to drive them. Pops up the location. You could be going from St. Charles to the city, and you don't even know it. And they're in your car. What are you gonna say? Can you guys get out?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to go to the city. I was just trying to stay over here by Main Street. I wasn't trying to go to the city. So that was so there it is. My very first ride.
You were over in St. Charles.
I was in St. Charles. I'm like, okay, let's get a ride. Just accept the first one that pops up, and
You're going all the way
I'm
downtown.
going all the way downtown to like Soulard from St. Charles. I was pissed, but then there was like a Cardinals game that night, so luckily I cashed in on that. But so like for the listeners, I don't know if it was a surge time, but whatever you pay the Uber, like if you are ordering an Uber and like I pick you up, I'm making like only half of what you pay.
If I pay $100, I'm getting $50.
I'm only getting like $50 of
Is the
that.
surge
Uber, no, that's just like how much Uber taxes, I guess, the driver of
Shit.
just like the fee. Like, I mean, I'm sure Instacart they make something off of it. They tax like 10 to 15, 20 cents like on every item you get. Which, I mean, if you think it's a good deal to, stay home and get your stuff delivered.
Yeah,
like,
sure. I did it when I had the first time the only time I had COVID. I've had it twice. The time that I had COVID, I got groceries delivered. And it was like $100 worth of groceries. And it was like what I was normally going to buy anyways. And then it was only like $115 to get it delivered. And I was like, that's kind of a fucking steal.
Right.
For extra $15 for someone to go and get it and save me like the hour and a half that I would have spent doing all that shit.
Yeah, because if you can record like a podcast or do something else,
Right.
like if a lot of people are working from home now.
Right.
Like,
If you got kids to take care of, like you just don't have
telling
time.
me a mom of like 2, 3, 4 kids wants to drag them to the supermarket
Right.
for an hour, probably an hour and a half.
That was the first thing I thought of when I did it. I was like, wow, because it took me 5 minutes to do it on the computer versus walking through
Right.
the grocery store. And if like mom can do that on her phone,
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally.
Tie it up like
It's so genius. It's so genius.
if you can make a person's life easier, they'll pay you a little bit for it.
For sure, it's the convenience fee.
It's the convenience fee.
And it's say what you want about capitalism, dude. It fucking works. Like that convenience fee thing, like it's a solid business plan. Think about Walgreens, dude. Anything you buy at Walgreens is like a gallon of milk. I don't know how much a gallon of milk is, but like a gallon of milk is like $9 at Walgreens, or it's like $4.50 at the supermarket. But if the Walgreens is literally half the distance, you can just stop there and get it. Or if you're picking up their medicine, like, oh yeah, I'll grab a thing of milk right now. You don't even think about it.
You don't. I'm surprised how a Walgreens is open.
What do you mean? I'm actually curious about that. Like, how much of the Walgreens money is from their pharmacy?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And, the world's run by Big Pharma, more or less.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And so, basically, they're a drugstore.
Yes.
Like, obviously, they're legal because...
So do you think... Wait, okay, keep going.
They're legal because, well, who approved them? The people, the FDA, who's funded by the Big Pharma. Big Pharma funds the FDA. So, like, if we have a product, okay, well, they're not going to get money unless we can sell this product. Okay, well, we might as well approve it. Like, a couple other things that are going on right now that they just decided to approve. Maybe they haven't approved them. If we're going to talk about it, we'll talk about it later.
Okay, keep going.
But anyway, so...
I'm in.
Walgreens is just a drugstore, and they sell what? What the fuck do they even sell? They got expensive, like, bags of chips, soda.
They got, dude, it's
makeup,
everything.
like-
Yeah. They got a toy aisle. It's just like a mini Target.
Maybe
now.
I got to redact my statement. I mean, it's a solid business plan.
It's the convenience fee, dude.
Because Walmart's too big to go into. It's like a Walmart just, like, kind of shrunk up.
Yeah. Speaking of, this is a random thought. Have you been in one of those Amazon stores?
I didn't know they had those.
I didn't either. I found out last year at Christmas time. There's one at the Galleria on your way home. If you want to check it out, there's one in the Galleria. It's an Amazon 5-star store. So everything in it, there's a minimum number of reviews that it has to have, or maybe it's a 4-star. Like at like 4-star store. It like maybe it's 1,000 reviews or 10,000 reviews or 20,000 reviews on Amazon, but everything in the store has 4 or 5 stars and above, and it's just like the top 15 selling things in every category on Amazon. For Christmas shopping, I literally got everything there. It was so fucking easy. And if you need to return anything, you just pull up the app and you give them the thing and it's done.
That's incredible.
Dude,
I'll be stopping by there on the way.
It's crazy. I literally did my entire, outside of like buying someone like a sweatshirt or something, you can do it. If anyone needs help buying Christmas gifts, go to the fucking Amazon store in the Galleria.
Free plug.
It's crazy. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. I wonder what they're going to have. And I went into it, and I was like, holy fuck. I don't know. Amazon. Walgreens, drugs.
Everything.
What were we talking about? You're talking about Walgreens and drugs.
We're talking about Walgreens and drugs.
How did we get on this? I don't know.
Why aren't you drinking your beer? I'm done with mine.
This is my coffee. I woke up like an hour before you got here. I wanted to work out this morning. I told myself I was going to work out last night. And I had
let's go down that route. Okay.
I had like 3 or 4 too many beers last night, and I woke up at 9:30, and I was just like, "There's no way." I didn't even do anything. It's probably
Neither did I. I went and got margaritas.
nice. Where at?
Main Street.
Nice. I fucks with Main Street.
I got a nice.
I'll probably get a margarita today.
The haters will hate, but it's Miami Vice, so it's the half strawberry, half pina colada.
Those are fire.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Just a nice jumbo. And I hadn't really eaten yesterday, so I just slamming the chips and salsa. Luckily, I had that in my stomach before I started my margarita, but in my stomach was just chips, salsa and margarita until my food came
And
out.
a Miami Vice.
Yeah. So
That's what I'd love to open up. Mexican's my favorite food, and hands down.
what's your go-to Mexican food option? Tacos?
Depending on where it is, yeah. Like I went to Taco Buddha the other night up there in Clayton.
I saw that in your story. That looked
Dude,
ridiculous.
Oh my god, it was like
looked ridiculous.
It was like over $5 for a taco.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah. But you saw what it was.
I saw what it was.
And like it was like the street taco kind of a deal where like it comes with like 2 corn things, so you
That's
eat
the way
one.
to go.
Yeah, it is.
If your tacos are those flat corn or flour tortillas,
Yeah.
with white onion or
Yeah.
yellow onion and
Some cilantro.
some cilantro and a little lime sitting there for you to squeeze over it.
Dude,
that's how you know you have an authentic Mexican taco.
It was no bullshit. It was like real food, real like vegetables, real meat. It was fucking
dollar tacos at your local El Maguey or
no.
those are not it.
No hate on El Maguey.
No hate on El
I'll heat
Maguey.
that
No,
place too.
no.
There's a
They have chips and salsa too, so I'm there for it.
Right.
Italian places and Mexican places where you can just munch on some bread or some chips and salsa for free. Well, kind of, you're paying for it in one way or another.
Dude, but the food's so cheap anyways. Always. Outside of
Always.
$5 tacos.
Yeah. But it's worth it just to be able to have free food. I think that's a good business model too.
I agree.
Give the person just something, peanuts at a bar.
Yeah.
Not really. That's probably like third on the totem pole of those 3.
Pretzels at a bar. I've been in a few bars they have goldfish and Cheez-Its instead.
Okay,
That was a home run.
Cheez-Its, that's a home run.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't believe it. It was
Salty and enjoyable.
Yeah. I fuck with that. It is a good business plan. That was something. Oh my god, we got so much to talk about.
Yeah. What was that stem off of? Did you like this one?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I was just trying to finish this. Whatever.
I'll wait for you.
Well, let's go back to the 75 hard thing.
Okay.
That's how we spun off.
Oh
of
yes, that's where it was.
We were talking about
that was the
Instacart.
question. Oh yeah, because that's when I started Instacart.
Yeah. So the timeline from then until now. Wow,
So-
we really sidetracked.
We really sidetracked.
Whatever.
So let's think. I was still at Missouri State when I started it, and I guess COVID had kind of started, like the word was out, but like nothing was necessarily shut down. So I think I was in Springfield for maybe my first 2 to 3 weeks of 75 hard, which, I mean, if you can grit through the first 2 weeks, then, I mean, it's all in your mind. Andy talks about it, how he gets pissed off.
It's not a fitness challenge.
I think he's I don't want to quote him, but I think it bothers him that like people. No, he'll never. No, he follows me. He follows me.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, so he might see this.
Excuse me.
I don't know if he'll watch this far into it. Maybe we can snip this.
Send it to him.
And send it to him. Oh no, he'll see it. But yeah, no. I mean, it bothers me, so I know it bothers him. That like people, it's getting popular as just like a fitness like or like a body like transformation, which 100%. If you do 75 hard. Your body, if you do it right, like your body will look better if 100%. You do 75 hard.
So for people that don't know, it's 75 days straight.
Yeah.
And it's a gallon of water.
Yeah.
2 outdoor workouts or 2 workouts.
2 workouts. One has to be outside, 45 minutes. So if you go like lift weights or something, or go like do whatever you want to do like inside, like you can be doing a little ab workout, leg workout, like
whatever,
and like
a
whatever.
Workout.
You can run on the treadmill inside. 45 minutes.
Play basketball, whatever.
Basketball, that's one. I mean, so it's all about if you think it counts, then it counts.
I count physical activity.
It's the intent. It's the intent behind like what you're doing. It's like
not shooting hoops, but actually playing physically hard basketball for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to consider that, I wouldn't have, just because I don't know.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and so what do we got? Workouts. So one's got to be inside, outside, 45 minutes, rain or shine. So that's the other thing. That's like
snow or anything. Yeah,
that's like the mental side is like
getting yourself outside.
Getting yourself outside, no matter the conditions. Because the point of it is that like in life, the conditions aren't always going to be perfect. Like it's not always going to be like sunny 75. Just like
can't wait for the beautiful day to go do something.
Right. And I think people who are like motivated, like rain or shine, like they're getting up and like
doing something outside.
Yeah.
Making time for it.
So it's all about, back to it.
I know a ton of people who have done it. Their like outdoor workout was a walk at like 10:30 at night.
You can do that.
That was like the only time they had to do it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Just whenever. So gallon of water, the 2 workouts.
You gotta read 10 pages.
Read 10 pages. Take a progress picture, which is like, it's not that hard. Like you take it in the morning or at night, just like take a picture of yourself in the mirror. And it's like, okay, like what does that have to do with it? Like, oh, if I miss that, then like, what does that matter? I'll just like keep going. I'm doing everything else. Right. Mm-hmm. But like the point of it is like, it is easy. Like it's just take a picture.
Just do it.
It's easy. So, okay. If it's easy, okay, make sure you take one every day. Can you do that? Just take one every day.
Right. Consistency
of just like having a list and like doing it. Like, okay, I told myself I'm going to do this.
Wow. I never thought about that. Having a list and just doing it.
Yeah.
Huh.
So if it's the list, but you got to do it, but
that.
You got to like be knowledgeable of like what you're doing instead of like just kind of checking.
Simple task, like that's
simple task.
That's a win on the day.
That's a win on the day. Like, okay, I told myself I would take it like my progress picture.
Right.
You don't kind of look at them and obsess over them. Like you can see where you are, 175 or 2550. But the point is just to remember to do it. Mm-hmm. Okay, the picture.
And then it's like you have to follow a diet of some kind.
Right. That's the part that like.
Just better eating.
So like I didn't eat any like fast food.
And no alcohol.
No, that's that. Yeah.
That's the big one.
I was blanking. Yeah.
That's the killer.
Alcohol. That's what kills a lot of people.
That's what killed me. I went for like 10 days.
It's hard.
And I needed a beer. I had a really rough day. I needed a fucking beer.
Yeah, but that's also like that's a point where like if you wouldn't have, if you would have like stuck to the plan. Yeah. I'm not saying like you're a bad guy now, but like, you would have like, you would have been like, no, like I had the urge to like drink a beer after like 10 days. And I was like, no, like I don't need it. Like I can go without it.
That's the whole point right there.
That's the whole point right there.
It's like it's a mental challenge for you to be consistent and like be better.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm going to lose 30 pounds during this thing.
Yeah. But you can.
And most people do.
And so the point of like the diet is like, you make it towards your goals. So like if my goal was to gain like 10 pounds, like healthy like pounds, like while I did it, someone's could be okay.
You'd be following a bulk.
Yeah, I would just like I would. So the other thing about like,
or it could be as simple as no fast food. For a lot of people, that would be a big change.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've actually like changed my mind about how I look at fast food because once you eat like basically clean like for like 2.5 months, 75 days, like you think about like what you put into your body and like how good you feel just off of like you're eating like actually like good food and not like some processed crap.
Right.
Where like now like I haven't had Taco Bell like McDonald's in like years.
I had McDonald's breakfast yesterday.
I mean, I had Chick-fil-A breakfast. That doesn't count as fast food.
No,
that's like fine dining, but they just like happen to have a little drive-through that you can go through.
We had a debate in a group chat. I agree with the latter, but the first was, is the spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A the best fast food item on the market?
Spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
I think it's the spicy chicken biscuit.
I just had the regular today, but I know what you're saying. But on the market?
It's gotta be. Isn't it good?
It's light. It's good. It's light. That's the lightest one.
Union Jack IPA. Oh, it's got a British flag. Or Fly Jack. Fuck yeah.
Fly Jack? I don't know. It's good.
75
Super light. I like it.
Yeah, so.
Okay, we're going.
You did it. No hiccups?
What were we getting at? No hiccups.
I just want to like.
Oh, that was the point where I was saying. So I was 3 weeks in Springfield, which was like, okay, I gritted that out, and I was able to. We had to move back. Well, I didn't have to. I could have stayed in Springfield through my lease and just like, I don't know, I would have done nothing. Like, I don't know what I could have done. I didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
And so then I went home and I had my last 6 weeks of it, or the last 55 days, 50 days, 60 days, and you couldn't do anything. Mm-hmm. You didn't have the temptation like, hey, your boy's hitting you up. Yeah, you want to go watch the game and watch the game that we couldn't watch. Mm-hmm. There was nothing. Think about it.
Yeah.
It's funny how that's just passed over time. Mm-hmm. We couldn't go anywhere.
No.
There was no sports to watch. I mean, that's why Netflix stock went up like
a bazillion,
200, 300%.
Yeah.
Like everyone was at home. Like you couldn't do anything. So there was no temptations in the outside.
Tiger King. That was only like a year ago.
That was a peak. That was a year. Yeah.
About 2 years ago now.
Yeah, that's the other crazy part is that it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
But circling back, what was the point? What were we going?
You were talking the last 55 days you couldn't do it.
The last 55 days. The last 55 days.
Easy,
yeah.
quote,
yeah.
easy.
That's quote easiest time. Like you could have done it. Like, I mean, I guess I kind of got over on it, so that's why I'm gonna do it again. Mm-hmm. I've started it a couple other times, just because I was in a bad mental space, and I know that like once I get on it, then like I'll start like feeling better. If you can accept the mental challenge, like it could be therapeutic.
So that's why, like, I know a ton of people have done this, but I've never been able to like hear someone's entire experience from 75 Hard, because I'm aware I tried it and I got like fucking 10 days in. I'm a pussy and I couldn't do it, but I want to like know. Like, because everything that I've heard is it's not life-changing, but to, like, some people, it's, like, life-changing. And, like, the whole mental thing, like, I really want to, like, some shit I had written down is, like, you said you wanted to start it and, like, you've been in a bad mental state. So after doing this has clearly, like, made an impact on you and how you, like, internalize, like, your self-awareness almost.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So do you think, like, obviously you looked a lot better afterwards. You felt a lot better afterwards. But do you think that mentally you felt that much better than you did physically? Does that question make sense? Like, as Andy says, as much as he says that he wants it to be a mental thing, did you notice it that much?
Yeah.
Really? How so?
Just like telling myself I'm going to do something. Granted, everyone still does. I'm not like perfect, but like if you're playing a game and like you have your little meter of like. You're 0 to 100, like it went up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like in all assets. I'm not at hundreds at any of the things, maybe not even 90s,
Right. But you're working towards it.
We're young and working towards it. It's like all the numbers went up.
These things tighten
her up. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
And so all of them like went up. Mm-hmm. Just like of being disciplined enough to like know when you have to do something or like you told yourself you're going to do something and doing it. Yeah. Because then like say like in a relationship or like business or work, like if you like say, hey, like I'm gonna go and do this, like I'm gonna work on that, or I'm gonna have this done by then, or like whatever. So then like you make these little decisions to do like 10 things for 2.5 months, and you do them that you said that you were gonna do, and then you apply that. Just like you find new things.
Because that's the whole thing with a habit. It's like 70 days or 60 days to form a new habit, something like that. Well, then
there's some BS that says 21, but that ain't true.
No, absolutely not.
No, I don't know. That's 3 weeks.
But that, I mean, talk about building habits. For me, I already drink a gallon of water a day, and I didn't read, but I was fine with reading, so like that wasn't hard, and I already was like following a diet, and I already worked out, so it was just like adding on one more thing. Mm-hmm. But like if it's just for anyone, so for me, like I didn't read. I did like 3 out of the 6 things semi normally, but I didn't read. And, like, if that one, just reading 10 pages a day, if I got that much better for 75 days straight and I built a habit of reading 10 pages a day for a fucking year, I'd be so much better off than I am right now.
In all aspects of your life.
Right. And that's one thing of those fucking 6 that we talked about. And, like, the booze thing.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, want to talk about, like, weight loss and, like, health. Like, if you cut out booze for fucking 14 days, you're going to feel like the best you felt in years.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks, let alone 75 fucking days.
Yeah. That's like, what, 4 or 5 times as much. Like,
yeah, crazy.
You will feel incredible. You feel amazing. Like, you're feeling how you're meant to, like, feel. Like, mentally, physically, like, nobody can tell you shit. Like,
no.
Because when you do what you're supposed to do, like, what the fuck can someone tell you?
So that's what, I never looked at it like that. Like, how it's a to-do list. And when I did it, I'm not saying I got far, but, like, when I did it, I saw it just more of, like a challenge list. Like, I have to get these things done. But I really like the...
It is a challenge. No, it's a challenge.
It is, but, like...
I'd say challenge is a better word than a to-do list.
I like the perspective of it as a to-do list with, like, the picture thing.
Yeah.
And I like
getting it done.
I like the perspective of viewing that challenge as that and applying it to, like, what your, like, everyday to-do list is. And literally, if it's something as easy as, like what's as easy as taking a picture? It's like, I don't know but, like, something as easy as that, and, like, just always doing that every day, like that. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Like, it's so monotonous.
Yeah. It's just something so dumb and so basic that you're like, it's not that important.
Can you do it?
Yeah, that's the thing. I fucking love that.
That's what they stressed at First Form a lot, was just like, everything does matter.
Right. It's
so
little shit.
Another thing this is another thing. So
Cheers.
Thanks
for coming on, man.
There's too many tangents I can go on.
It doesn't, dude. That's why I want to talk, though.
The problem is when I talk, I can't go in a straight line.
No, I love it. That's how I am.
1 second.
No. I love this. I like this.
So, like, every little thing matters. Mm-hmm. So at First Form, there was no janitors. Like, there was a mess. Like,
someone cleaned
it up because someone caused it.
There were no janitors?
No.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, I think eventually there's a guy, shout out Kevin. I don't know if he'll listen to this, but I'll make him listen to it. He was like, I mean, he kind of like, I guess if there was mopping every day or like something like that, but more or less, if he made a mess, like, or something, like, if you're eating lunch at the table, you're wiping your table off. Oh, this is the hard part. So, like, in the facilities, the facility's incredible. First of all, if you haven't,
I've never been out there, but I've seen the pictures of it.
It's incredible.
We're talking about, let's pull it up. We're talking about the First Form headquarters down in South County.
Built, was it 44 and 270, right?
Yeah.
Right there by Soccer Park. And I forget how many square feet it is.
It's like 250,000 or some shit like that. It's fucking...
I think it's like 180,000.
It's fucking
something like that.
Massive.
But the front part is like, dude, the offices.
And they've got like a fucking racing course.
So that's like the front office area. What is there?
Actually, we should probably just pull up the Instagram, no?
Yeah. I think that...
Which one do you think is better?
No, that's fine. I can go there. Okay, so that's like the front when you walk in. There's like a little front there to your left, and then that's where you got interviewed in. So, that's the locker room. So that's like that's where like the salespeople work. That's like that's like the front of like the building.
Yeah,
it's just like all of that, and then that's the locker room. That go back. That's the guy who we had to play in 3-on-3 basketball. So we were talking before this.
Yeah.
When I worked there,
the tournament,
there was a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and I was on a team with, and I think one guy was like 6'1", I'm like 6 foot, and the other guy was like 5'10". It was Tommy Espensheen's brother, Andrew.
Yeah.
Who's like
the little brother?
No, older. He's
okay.
Because Tommy's the baby, and then there's like he has 2 older brothers.
That's right.
So Andrew's like 4 years older maybe.
Tesby did 75 hard.
He did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I keep in touch with him.
He's a good dude.
We talk.
I like him.
He got ripped.
Shout out
Tom. But anyway, so it was us 3, and that's who we. All right, so we were playing in the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and
this fucking guy.
I got to the championship.
He beat my ass.
I got to the championship against Sal, the president, Andy's brother Sal. Good dude, but
I'm trying to find the basketball court.
Oh, the basketball court is unreal.
Dude, they have a basketball court in their headquarters.
Yeah, so the gym is fantastic. Like it's It's incredible.
I mean,
the equipment, incredible.
That's like probably arguably one of the nicest gyms in America.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
100%.
And just because of like what it stands for,
right?
And the basketball court's just like basically like in the gym. Like,
yeah,
attached
dude,
to
this
it.
is fucking sick.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's so sick. And
It's
like
incredible.
the colors, like if I were to have a company, it would be that. It would be that exact color scheme.
Initially, so like I started working there like 3 weeks after they like everyone like got into that facility.
Oh yeah, because they just opened
it. And in the gym, so go back to the basketball, you can just see it. But the basketball, that was like all gray with the blue stripe. It was like a light gray.
Oh no
and
way.
It didn't look good. It looked just kind of like like.
So then he got it redone.
He got it made black, and that is go to that one right there. It is. No, to the right. Yeah, you got it.
This?
Yeah, that's incredible.
And dude, they've got like that turf field and everything.
Little turf. Oh, dude, yeah. So I mean, working there, like it was a grind. It was so that was like.
What'd you do? What was your
It
position?
was in the warehouse.
Like packing shit and stuff like that.
Packing shit or like
sending shit.
Sending
fulfilling orders?
fulfilling orders. Like you take the the invoice.
Mm-hmm.
So like at First Form, every
Everyone
invoice that goes out
Yeah.
to like in a box to a customer has a handwritten letter on it.
I got another one in the mail from when I bought shit at the store.
Yeah, oh yeah, if you go to Supplement Superstores, which is just Andy's other company.
Yeah.
So Andy started Supplement Superstores in what, like 99, 98.
Wasn't the first one in Springfield?
It was.
Yeah, and he's a Vianney guy.
Yeah. I told him.
But
I told him how I felt about that.
First one was in Springfield in like 99.
99, and then First Form started in 2009 because Supplement Superstores, they were just selling like everyone else's stuff. Then I guess
And so First Form's a supplement company.
First Form is a supplement company.
Supplement Superstore is the retail store. First Form is the supplement company.
Yeah, so he started the supplement company in like 2008, 2009.
With what, protein or pre-workout?
I think it was just like the level 1 and like the Formula 1, like the post workout and the meal replacement. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure like that was it, like vanilla and like whatever, just basic. But
his story's so fucking awesome.
It is, and it's cool that it's from St. Louis.
He gives back so hard too.
And I feel like it's a funny perspective.
If people don't know who we're talking about, it's Andy Frisella.
Yeah.
This shit's based out of Fenton. And he's from South County. Vianney dude went to Mo State, and then this headquarters is down off in South County too.
Yeah.
Look it up on Instagram. Badass company.
Order something.
He's also the guy. Andy's also the guy that came up with 75 Hard.
Yes.
And this dude's a fucking animal. Like, he's like a gorilla of a man.
He went from, I don't know if you ever...
Dude, he went from like 350 pounds to like 260 or something like that. And he's built like a fucking linebacker.
Go to Instagram and look up... He posted it somewhat recently.
He did. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
When I went to... so it was maybe a couple months ago. I was 9/11. They had a 20K ruck, which was like 12 miles.
With like a 40-pound pound.
Yeah, with whatever you like, backpack. I had like a backpack.
Whatever you can do.
Yeah. So I went there and I did it. And I was talking. That's the other thing about Andy is that like he remembers like every he remembers people like.
Really, that's really cool.
Which
your
is
name and your
crazy.
face.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And like, so he just like came up to me and like we started talking. That's the other thing. He's like he's hard as. I mean, he's a tough ass dude, but like, and he sounds like a lot of people don't like him because of like the way he like comes off because he's aggressive.
But he comes off as an asshole.
But he just like cares so much and like realizes that like.
God damn it.
We have an obligation to be the best possible version of ourselves that we can be while we're here. Like, yeah, you can fuck off your life, but like, I bet you'll have some regrets of like, oh, I wish I would have like tried harder. I wish I would like.
For sure.
I could have done anything, but I just like got a at-home job and like didn't really do much.
Yeah.
Ordered.
Was content with everything.
Was content. I mean,
it's okay to be content.
It's okay to be content.
But you got to have goals.
But do you think people tell themselves that they're content when they're really not?
Yeah.
Like
it's
just easier to like do the like the minimal to like get by and like, oh yeah, I'm content, but like you're just saying that because like you're just coping with the fact that you are doing the minimal. Deep down, like you probably did wish that. I mean everyone wishes they had like a better looking body.
Yeah.
Like like just not like you have to be like ripped or anything, but yeah. No.
No, dude, that was from a year ago. So it must have been on his story.
That's still incredible. Yeah, maybe.
Because you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Anyway, so like when he came up to me at the ruck on 9/11, he like pulled out his phone. And he's like, I was talking, and he's like, like, look at this. Like, he hasn't even posted or showed anybody yet. And he's like, dude, just built, like, 350 to, like, 260.
He's a big motherfucker.
I wouldn't want to see him in an alley. Like,
no shot.
I'm
pissed I can't find this thing.
I know what you're talking about. It must have been on his story.
It had to be of.
But
Keep going.
I know why he did it. So, I mean, granted, like, it's not like he lost all 100 pounds, like, in this short period of time. But like, the last challenge they did was, like, intercompany. And he just, like, challenged everybody. Like, I think it was, like, because they do, like, 8-week transformation challenges. Like, basically, like, it's basically, like, all year round.
Yeah.
There's, like, a couple weeks in between, but then they just, like, run another one.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? It's good for the brand.
Why not?
And, but he just bet, like, anybody that had a better set, like, 8-week challenge than him in the building got like 1,000 or like 2,000. Like, I don't know. It may have been 10. It was either 1,000 or 10,000.
That's crazy.
But it was like something crazy. Like, he said anybody that did better than him, he would pay like X amount. And
someone do it.
I don't. He never said it for sure, but like, I think maybe he said like a couple of people did good, but like I don't know if he ever like he paid them. Like, he thought they like beat him. But he definitely, there were some people who did good. He probably did pay him because he's a good guy. But he got ripped.
Dude.
Like, even if his shirt on, like, you would think, okay, it didn't look like
big guy.
Big guy, but like the picture, I mean, dude.
Dude, he's like 260 with an 8-pack and like
pythons.
Arms. Yeah.
Pythons.
He's a big fucking dude now. And it's hilarious because I'm sure you're the same thing. I started listening to his first podcast. Like way back in college on my drives to and from Columbia.
Yeah.
And that was when he was like still over 300 pounds. And he was just he was just a big guy in general.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And now he fucking whatever. 75 hard though. That's this guy. I know, I fucking wish I could.
Yeah. So if you're, to the listeners, if you're, I mean, I feel like anybody at any point you can always do better. Like, even if you are, I mean, who's someone that's high achieving? Anybody. There's someone out.
What do you mean? Like
anybody.
I don't know, Jeff Bezos. Fuck me. What
okay, Jeff Bezos. I don't know. I don't know. Anybody can get better. Everybody can get better. If Patrick Mahomes can get better. This is a terrible point. We'll have to edit this.
No, I see what you're saying.
Anybody.
No matter where you're at.
No matter where you're at, you can always get better.
At something.
That's what I was getting. You can always get better at something. And so I encourage everybody, to try 75 hard. If you tell yourself you're going to do it. So that's the other thing. People think, I got to plan, like, okay, like when I'm going to do it. Every time I've started it, including the time I like finished it completely, I decided the day before.
Really? Like, I'm going to do it tomorrow?
I'm just going to start tomorrow.
That's what I hear from everyone. They're like, I don't want to do it here because there's a holiday, and there's here because there's a holiday.
I started right after Mardi Gras.
Really?
And then, like, we couldn't do anything. So 3 weeks at college, I got through, and then.
I lost my job during COVID. I lost my job Friday the 13th.
R.I.P.
And it's all good. And then Monday was the stay-at-home order, so it was like that.
Oh, that's the day I came home from Friday the 13th. I remember that.
Yeah, that's why I remember it too. And dude, it was so funny, like, leading up to it. I talked about this to someone else, but I was like, I read the news, but I like read news articles on Google every morning to like keep up with what shit's going on. And I kept on hearing about this COVID stuff, and I just like made a comment. I was like, "It's such a joke. This is not gonna be anything." And this kid, like, they was sitting next to me in the old office, was like, "No, dude, it's gonna be for real." I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever. We'll probably be like a 3-week bullshit." He's like, "No, it's gonna be for real." And then fucking like 6 days later, I lost my job. I was like, "Oh shit, this is real." And then I worked at a farm. When you were doing 75 hard, I was fucking pushing dirt.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it. They like talk about some beers.
That's a hard. I worked landscape for.
It was a bitch.
A couple months. I don't know, freshman, sophomore year, summer.
Mm-hmm. That's hard work. Yeah,
it's hard work.
We delivered to nurseries and stuff like that.
I mean, it's hot.
Yeah,
it's hot,
dude.
You're wearing and you gotta wear jeans.
It sucked.
Yeah, you have to wear jeans, dude. You were sweating. You're digging holes, or you're moving like just.
We'd be moving like 600 pounds of just dirt from one barn to another. And we're like, what are we doing, man?
My first day, we get to like this house that they were doing like the whole landscape on. And I don't know if the machine was out or it was too wet to run the machine. But me and my buddy who got me the job, he went to CBC like junior and senior year. Andrew Brakefield. He trained. That's one of my good buddies. I went to grade school. He went to St. Richard.
Yeah.
But he left like third grade and moved to North Carolina because his mom went and got her MD and
then they moved back?
And then they moved back because, I mean, that's where like they grew up.
Huh. Okay. I didn't know that.
And so
excuse me. Shut up.
he left St. Richard like third grade, and then he came back to CBC like I think it was junior year.
Something like that.
I don't know if it was maybe it was junior and senior or just senior.
It was at least senior.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Sorry, Brakefield. I don't remember that.
What was the point?
I lost my job. COVID. Moving dirt. Landscaping. He got you a job.
There it is. Landscaping. So he got me the job. First day on the job. there we're going.
That's hilarious. All right.
First day on the job. The machine's not working or it's too muddy.
Idiot.
First day of the job. Brakefield gets me the job. And we're digging a fucking trench that's like 50 yards, like 2 feet deep.
That's backbreaking.
On my first day, like in the 90-degree heat. And yeah, if you're like, you're not used to it and you haven't been digging holes the last 90, a couple months, like you just get to it and you're just in the dirt. Away. Those beers were we just went back to his house after our shifts, drank some Bud Lights and we watched Trailer Park Boys and passed out.
There you go.
Those are beers well earned. Get back up at 5:30 a.m. Do it again.
We had to be. So I drove from here
for like $12 an hour.
Yeah, dude. I was getting dog shit money.
Which is like compared to what I do at Instacart now. It's like, why would I break my back for $12?
So insane. I had to drive 30 miles one way every day, and I had to be there by 9. And then we were done at 4, and me and my buddy Dave that worked there, like after the day was done, because we literally we were the only 2 dudes. There was like these 2 older guys, but they ran deliveries, and so it was just me and Davis. And like if there was ever like there was ever like a 60-pound tree that needed to be moved, they would just call us and like, yo, we need this moved like 10 yards. And we're like, are you fucking kidding? Like, and then we just bear hug this thing. And then sometimes they'd have these like 3-foot wide plants that we would borderline need a fucking forklift to move. And they're like, we couldn't use a forklift. We didn't know how to drive it. And they're like, can you just move this? We're like, I fucking guess. But whenever the day was over, there would just always be a 30 in the fridge. And me and him would have at least 2 beers just sitting on like in the fucking barn. It was the worst shit ever, dude. Talk about some beers earned. If you really want to feel good about your day and good about drinking a beer, go fucking dig holes all day. Go fucking plant for 9 hours. Move mulch for 9 hours. Dig a trench for 9 hours.
Circle back to 75 hard. Like, you do stuff that's hard, and you earn the right to, like, feel good.
Yeah.
Or, like, you're
100%.
just too... You're, like, so, like, from the mental side, you're stressed out. Like, do hard shit, like... And, like, keep yourself occupied and, like, doing stuff that you know that's getting you better. And then you'll feel better about yourself. And then you'll feel like, okay, like, if I can do this, then, like, I can do it again. I
got it done today. I can get it done tomorrow.
Right.
There's a book, actually, called...
he's got a book on it.
Eat That Frog.
Never heard of it.
And it's like a 60-page book. It's like... It's self-help book, but it's like a really, like, you could read it in, like, an hour kind of a thing. And the whole premise of the book is eat that frog. The first thing you should do every day is eat a frog, a.k.a. if you eat a frog first thing in the morning, your day's only going to get better from there. And so the whole point of the book was you wake up in the morning and do the worst thing, like a.k.a. working out, going outside. If it's fucking 30 degrees, going outside and walking. If that's the first thing you do in the day, your day's probably going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
Because that's the hardest shit you're probably going to do all day. Or if it's working out, getting up and doing laundry, like whatever the fuck, that one task you don't want to do. I don't know. Now we're going to the self-help route, but whatever. But it's a good book. It was. I read it like after work one day or some shit. Someone just like tossed it to me. I was like, oh, that's kind of a good point. And I never work out before work. I try to. I'd say I probably do like once a week that I'm actually able to do it, and I feel so much better whenever I do.
Can't go back to it. Yeah, if you get your first work, I've done this. Ideally, like my ideal routine. I'm not like 100% to it right now, but like
you have some sort of routine.
Yeah, some sort of routine. And like ideally, if you can get up, I mean, people are gonna think that's crazy, but whatever. You get up at like 4. I set my alarm for 4:20 just because it was funny, and then I would try to be I would get to the gym by 5.
Yeah.
And then like you get your workout done like 5:45, and then like you're back home at like 6, having like a
good breakfast.
I've had a good breakfast.
You're not squeezing some bullshit
and like a smoothie, and like you've already worked out and had a good ass breakfast, and it's like 6:30.
Get your day rolling.
You're feeling a lot better than like waking up at like 9 o'clock and like you haven't done shit.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like the alarm goes off and you're like, okay, I got to get up. It's 4:30. Like it's dark. Like it's cold. Like I don't want to get up right now. But like if you just get up out of bed.
Literally, like when you
get yourself to the gym.
Like no, physically stand up out of bed.
Physically stand up. That's why put your phone like
away. I put mine away from my bed.
Away from your bed, so you like literally have to get up. And if you have to get up to shut your alarm off, you're up. So why wouldn't you just?
And then just go to the sink, splash some water in your face.
Flick the light on, splash some water on your face, get your shorts on, go to the gym. Like
it's the whole thing.
Add that. I love sitting in the sauna in the morning too after a workout.
Oh yeah, we can go. I wish my gym had a sauna so bad.
I did 30 minutes 3 days ago.
That shit feels so good.
I don't know how hot it was, but maybe like 120. I don't know. It's not as hot as like.
Do you prefer the sauna over the steam room?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like because the sauna's dry, the steam's wet.
I can't breathe in the steam room.
Well, yeah, and then it's just like all the particles of like
other people,
and it's just like, what if he rips one and like it's just the fart steam's just
I'm good
rolling around, and then you're, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it's. I feel like it's not as healthy.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
That's fair. Dry heat's good for you.
But a nice sauna
opens up the pores. That's another thing. Clogs all your pores up if you sit in the steam room.
You just sweat. And so like 30 minutes, I haven't done 30 minutes like in a while.
It's a long time in a sauna.
The last 10 minutes were hard. The first 10 minutes went by, then like my phone overheated, so my music cut off about halfway through. My music cut off, so I was just in there like with some women's college basketball game on. So if you want to add to the torture, like I was going through it these last 15 minutes. Like
probably sound like an hour.
It was like LSU. It was a good game, I think, technically, but it was like LSU and someone the other day, and so yeah, the last 15 minutes were just hard. The last 10 were like that's I did it for the mental test. Yeah. I told myself I was getting in the sauna for 30 minutes is my point, and I'm like, okay, like I came to the sauna to do it, and so I'm like.
Gotta do it.
Am I gonna go out? Like I want to do something that I told myself I was gonna do to like feel better.
Right.
And just last 10 minutes were just miserable, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna get out. I'm like, I was checking my phone like every minute.
Gosh,
and it was just like a minute. I'm like, why isn't the clock like moving? Like I was starting to get like.
It's like waiting for lunch in grade school.
That's a great reference. Absolutely. Luncheon? No. I'm
on to the Union Jack.
The
one?
The recess. No, I'm going slow on this one. You didn't smoke like I did. And I forget the point. Going back to lunch and recess.
I don't know. We were talking about eat that frog in the sauna.
Oh, the sauna. Oh, yeah. So basically, like the last 5 minutes of being in the sauna were just like a hard mental battle of just like I was like in pain.
Do you ever do ice baths?
I guess I could.
Do you ever do them in high school, like after sports or anything?
I
never.
did. I've done. Yeah. Do after like soccer, where
really?
you run like miles.
Yeah.
Like,
probably need it.
Yeah. Like after like first like day, like yeah.
I've always wanted to. I've done saunas. I've done steam rooms. I've never done 30 minutes, but I always see like pictures and like these new travel shows where like dudes will go up to like fucking Iceland and jump in like an ice lake.
Have you ever heard of Wim Hof?
Look
him up on Instagram.
How do you spell that?
WIMHOF. He's huge on like being out in the cold. Yeah, him. He's huge on just like being out in the cold.
I love
and, like,
that. Oh wait, I did see some shit of him the other day.
I reposted him a little bit.
That's probably where I saw it.
I reposted him.
Did you repost like a story of his or something the other day?
Maybe, yeah.
Because there's some old guy on story the other day.
No, yeah.
Is this about a cold shower?
He's like Icelandic.
Yeah,
or whatever. And then he like hosts people like, and he basically just like, look, the dude's on the mountain. The dude's on the mountain. Like,
did he have a show?
I don't know about that.
There was some dude like this with a show that taught people how to like breathe.
Bear Grylls.
No, it was like, he taught them how to like breathe in like really cold water.
I don't know if he had a show.
I don't know. Maybe he was on an episode of a show.
But his whole thing is like your mental state. Let's go down that route.
Okay. Actually, that thing I posted on my story the other day of if you have topics and suggestions, a few of them were mental health.
Okay, yeah. That's kind of what I've been talking about. But
Yeah. If you like really want to like, if that's, that's the basis of what we've been talking about. We just haven't said that directly.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Beating around it. So Wim Hof is.
I like this dude. He seems like a cool guy.
He's out in the cold, and some shorts are like ice baths. So that's like where ice baths. I do cold showers, maybe not every day, but like I'll take a regular shower, but then like I'll turn it on just like.
That's so funny. I did the exact same thing.
Like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like all as cold as it can go.
For like 30 seconds.
No, like a minute or two.
Really?
Because I feel like 30 seconds is a decent amount of time.
It's cold. So when it's cold?
It's cold. Like,
it seems like
but like you literally like this. I tell myself, okay, it feels like a nice like warm ocean, and then like when you tell yourself that, you don't feel as cold.
Right.
If you're like, oh my, it's cold, it's cold. Okay, then you're just gonna like your body's like you're telling yourself you're cold, cold, and so you're just gonna like feel colder and colder. Yeah. But if you're like, this feels like a nice
little waterfall,
nice little like
fresh waterfall
Gulf of Mexico, like I'm in Destin, and like it's not gonna be completely like 80 degrees all of a sudden, but like you're not gonna be hurting as much. You're gonna feel better, and so his whole thing is like using the cold. Like his main thing was breath work, and then using the cold to just like challenge your mind to like not like pay attention to it.
I like that.
Because it's just like you're feeling that it's like cold or you're feeling uncomfortable, but what are you gonna tell your mind that like it is?
Right. I'm following. I'll
show you a couple guys. You follow Lewis Howes?
No,
he's from St. Louis.
Or H-O-U-S.
L.
Or Louis, like St. Louis.
Third one down. No, you had it. No, you had it. Oh, there he is. Third one down. House. He's from St. Louis. I've DM'd him. He responded.
1.8. Wow.
He's another good guy to follow. He has a lot of good interviews.
Who is this guy? What's his deal?
I'm not sure how I stumbled upon him.
Former pro athlete, interviewing the world's greatest minds.
He has
500 million plus downloads. Fucking A.
He has a lot of. Well, he said Andy Frisell. I mean, he has a lot of Dwayne Wade. There he was a couple of days ago. He had Dwayne Wade. Like he gets like some good people. Some people you haven't heard of because they're just like
holy shit, Dwayne Wade.
They're just people who are specific.
Yeah.
Like doctorates of mental health or whatever it may be.
That's the kind of shit that I love. Though.
What's his name? Like Damon John. He's in the cold right there on the left. Lewis Howes went out to Wim Hof's thing.
Really?
You ever heard of Jesse Itzler?
Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
Dude, great. So follow Lewis.
I'll follow this guy.
So I guess for the listeners,
Itzler. That name sounds so familiar.
What's my point?
Was this guy? I think this guy was on Rogan.
So his wife is Sarah Blakely, who owns.
Oh, was that Goggins? Yeah, I do know who this guy is. He lived with Goggins for a bit.
Is that what that book's about?
And like,
have you read Goggins' book?
I haven't. I haven't read it.
I almost texted you to ask you if you had a good book because we could swap, but
I've got a bunch. Actually, I've got some really good ones. If you want to take one with you,
I'll take a look at it. I got David.
Goggins. It's actually in my backpack. I take it to work every day. I just haven't read it.
There you go. So back to what I was saying.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
Jesse Itzler and cold baths. Cold baths.
Oh, cold baths. Yeah, he's a big proponent of those too. And saunas. He'll do like 45 minutes in a sauna. But at like 180. And I was doing it at like 120.
Oh my God.
And he said in one of his like podcasts or just like in one of his like something he had posted where like if he goes into the sauna and there's people already in there, he cannot leave until they are gone.
Really?
Like, how am I going to leave before these people who are already in here?
Wow. And that's so if they're in there for an hour, he'll stay there for an
hour.
Well,
I mean, you got to doubt that. I think he said like one time he like tapped on somebody, but like more or less like,
that's insane.
Which you're not going to run into someone that's going in there for like too long that often.
I think the most I would ever do was like 10 minutes.
I do it now.
All the time? Like waiting for people to leave?
Yeah. if there's people like, it's just like a mental thing.
No, I like that.
I like picking up on like little things. Like someone's in the sauna before me. Like I will not leave.
Going back to it, that's a win for the day.
That's a win for the day.
For sure.
I'm a competitive person.
Absolutely.
That's the thing I hate about like not playing sports anymore.
Agreed.
Is like you can play beer league softball, but like then you're like douchebag if you're like competitive about it. I mean, here's a little competitiveness.
You want to win.
You want to win.
But it's not like playing.
But, like, I want to, like, win, like, to win versus, like, just drink these beers and have a good time.
I've thought about
which is what it is about.
I played in a few men's league lacrosse games, and those were taken really seriously. Some guys would drink beers. But
That's because it's physical and you can hurt people.
Yeah, but
Softball is like softball's So that's another thing. Like, you drinking before lacrosse?
I never did. Some people did.
So you could drink before softball or like during softball.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's if you never been in a softball league, you got to go into a softball league. Just for the fun. Co-ed, all guys, whatever.
I would drink before indoor soccer.
I only played it I guess I played it a little bit in high school, but
we had a few teams over.
Because I was competitive. I'm not going to be drunk before. Because I was like, I played soccer.
Right. So you were exactly.
You were just a football guy.
I was just
a big guy out here.
I was just a number on the roster.
In case there's a fight at this 11 o'clock indoor soccer game, like we got a big guy.
Literally, one of the soccer kids needed a break. I'd go out there and stand for 2 minutes, and they'd come back on.
Yeah.
I didn't play.
Was there ever a fight in one of your games?
Not in our games. I actually heard about one that happened a few weeks ago, though. Apparently, they're way more common than I thought. There's never one in our games, though.
Dude,
I heard they get crazy.
Think about indoor soccer. Like, it's like hockey.
You're bodying
inside.
People against the boards.
You can hit people against the boards. I mean, it's a penalty, but
you can do it.
You can do it. If you're like kind of getting the ball like in shoulder to shoulder, like if you're like, it's kind of on your intent. But like, that's one thing I was good at in soccer is like playing within the rules. Like in soccer, you can wipe someone the fuck out. Like
if you do it right.
You can do it right. I did. Yeah. It's
ball first.
Or simultaneously.
Yeah.
But like. If the ball's there and you both are going to it, like just go through it and you can knock them over. Like
that's how lacrosse was. There were illegal hits, but if you knew when and how, you could
rock somebody.
You could light that kid up.
That's just like hockey. Mm-hmm. That's why. What's your favorite sport to watch, regardless of whether you played it or not?
Football.
If you're watching on TV, on football.
Football. It's not that I don't like to watch basketball. I don't
at
follow
any point.
it
Okay, so
because there's too many,
including playoffs. I just like
actually
any type of sport in like a playoff like fashion.
I really enjoy watching high level European soccer, like Champions League games and stuff like that.
I don't as often as I should.
I don't either,
but
I love
watching them. It's an art.
Yeah,
and people who hate soccer just because it's like it's like 2-1, 1-0 like. There's not much going on, but if you understand soccer,
dude,
then
those games are crazy. Dortmund and Bayern play today.
0-0. My dad was not like a big soccer guy. He always said it was like cross country with the ball and you're just running around. But if you understand like the beauty of like soccer and just like it's just like hockey, it's like the same amount of scoring. Mm-hmm. It's just like like hockey, and there's like good things that can happen. Like granted, there's not a goal, but like you're still watching play happen. Mm-hmm. And there's things going on within the game.
I love soccer. I stopped playing soccer, dude, when I was like second grade, something like that. Like I was slow, I was big, wasn't my thing.
Goalie.
Yeah, I just bombed as far as I could.
Center back. You were a center back.
Sure, I don't even remember, dude. I stopped playing before we even got to the big goals. We played on the mini ones. But I love my favorite thing to watch would be for sure. I don't want to say the Super Bowl. I want to say like AFC and NFC championships because those are usually shootouts.
It's usually good
like
notable quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly. And like the Super Bowl can be whatever. It could be just the elite defense versus a good quarterback. But usually the NFC and AFC championships are like star-studded teams against each other.
You want to talk about a bad bet?
Let's hear it. That's my dad's favorite shit on ESPN are those bad bets.
Bad bets, yeah. So
that happened to me on Thanksgiving with the Bills. They didn't cover. They needed another field goal for my parlay to hit.
Freshman year at Creighton, the Super Bowl.
Was that the Eagles one?
That was the undefeated Panthers against the Peyton Manning Denver Broncos.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm like...
Oh, yeah, that was like 44-10
This guy, Cam Newton, is...
MVP of the league.
He probably won MVP that year. They were undefeated. They were undefeated.
He was MVP 2015.
Yeah.
They were fucking cold.
It was, yeah. Well, the game was... 16, but the 15-16 season. And I'm like, Panthers like money line. I think I just took the money line.
Super Bowl 50, yeah.
And I'm sure it was like a pick 'em maybe or somewhere around it. I think it was like 350 to win 300 or something. I'm like, they're gonna win.
24-10.
That's when I started my sports addiction. So my buddies from California.
Panthers were favored by 5.5.
My buddies from
Is that what you thought was a lock?
Just the Panthers money line. Oh,
It says right
it's
here.
15-1. Is that the regular season or is that?
Yeah, and the Broncos are 12-4.
Oh, so I guess they weren't undefeated, but okay, on 15-1. But like,
Dude,
I'm like, okay.
One loss. You shitting me?
So yeah,
One loss. You shitting me with Cam Newton?
I was just like locked. Like
2015 Cam Newton was next level shit.
But I'm 90% sure that was Peyton Manning's last game.
I think it was.
And so that was probably what made it the worst bet I could ever.
It's like betting against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, dude. Just don't do that.
No.
Peyton Manning's last game. It was his last game.
It was his last game.
That's incredible.
I sat in my room and sweated that thing out, and it was just ugly.
God damn. I love betting, dude. I don't love betting.
I hate it. I quit.
I'll do like 5, like the other day.
I had an addiction for sure.
A lot of people do. It's easy to.
It's
so easy to. The rush is insane.
Yeah.
Even off of winning $25, it is insane.
Yeah, when you first start off.
Yeah. Actually, my buddy bet $100. I'm a big Browns fan, and he's a big Ravens fan. Mm-hmm. And he bet a lot of money on the Ravens -3 against the Browns. And it hit because Browns are fucking dog shit.
That was this Monday, right?
Or Sunday?
Sunday Night Football.
One of them. Football. Yeah. And he put like $5 or $10 on Mark Andrews' first touchdown scored, which didn't happen until the third quarter. And so he was just on fucking cloud 9 during this game.
I forgot about that.
But
yeah, that was a terrible game, wasn't it?
It was an awful game. But I love sports betting. I'll like the other day, I'll do like $10 parlays on like 5 games. Like I'll bet like $10 a week.
Like a bookie or over the river?
A bookie. And it'll be like 10 to win 60 and like whatever. Yeah. But it's only $10, so I'm like whatever.
I can't do that.
That's the only thing I do. And
no, but I can't do that.
Why? Because you'll just get.
It's just not enough. Like what? 10 to win 60, just like you're just gonna do one bet. Like,
yeah, that's all I do. And then I might take a player prop. I love player props.
My mom's never gonna see this, but
no, we're
an
hour in. She's not gonna listen to
the
this.
Saints Bucks game.
Yeah.
The NFC champion or whatever it was this last year.
Saints Bucks.
Is the conference championship?
Yeah, with Drew Brees and Tom Brady.
I think so.
That was playoffs. I think.
No, because then there was a picture of them playing toss after the game.
Was that a playoff game?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it was Drew Brees' last game.
And
he
I was just like,
That's right.
I'm like, this is. You can maybe look it up, but I'm like, this is just gonna be a scoring affair. None of these defenses are, great. Maybe I'm wrong. But
so what's that? 2020 NFC Championship?
Yeah. And so I'm like, I just took player prop after player prop.
Bucks Packers. Oh, so it was the game before that.
Yeah.
2020. Well, let's just do Saints Bucks. Yeah, keep going.
Anyway, and so I was just hammering the player props, like Gronk to score, Kamara to score, Michael Thomas to score, Fournette to score.
Yeah, everything. Give it to me.
And like, it wasn't like $10 like on all of them. Like, I'll win 10 to win like 40. It was like 50 to win like
400.
150. Like 75. Like Leonard Fournette. I don't like who scored that game. So I don't think. Oh, go back to the first. No,
scoring summary. Here you go. First quarter.
Field goal.
Evans.
I don't think I took Mike Evans, or maybe I took Mike Evans.
Oh wait,
I may have. No, this is it.
This is it. Yeah.
This is it.
Why was Jameis Winston playing?
I don't know.
Drew Brees. There we go.
Okay.
Maybe it was just.
That was the one play where Jameis Winston came in and threw that bomb.
Oh, you're right.
That was like the one play.
You're right. I forgot about that.
And so obviously I didn't pick Traquan Smith to score a touchdown. I may have taken Mike Evans, but I was
Traquan Smith had 2.
But I probably had like 8 player props for like $300, $400, $500 like total. And so I hit like Mike Evans. So that covered like a pinch of it, like not really. And then Traquan Smith had 2 touchdowns. Didn't take him, so I think I probably took Fournette, so I got like a little bit back. I probably went like 2 for 8, and then we got a field goal and a Tom Brady rushing touchdown. I probably went like 2 for 8 on like all bets that were like 50 to like 150, and probably lost like
a few $100.
6. I think it was like it was like 6, somewhere from like $6 to like $1,000.
Oh my god!
It was. I'm like, I can't, like,
you can't keep doing this.
I can't, because it was one of those things where it was like, I'm not going to lose like all of these, like, because when
You're in the mindset.
when you bet, you're like, okay, well, this one's gonna lose. Like you're like, these are all winners.
Yeah,
these are all winners. I'm investing this much. I'm investing like 300, but I'm gonna have like 1,500 at the end of the night.
Right.
You're like, it's a lock. Like,
and some of them are for sure hitting, so it's gonna cover.
Some of them are for sure hitting. Like, I'll be fine either way. But like, on this particular day, that did not happen. Like, just like for one of them, and it was a big 0. And it was like the end of the football season. I think I'd already tapped myself out of the casinos. You play blackjack? You ever go to the casino?
Sometimes. Actually, last year I went to the casino and I only played blackjack and I was hammered. I didn't know what I was doing. Oh, yeah. And it paid for my Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
I walked out like a few hundred on top. It was lit. I had no clue what I was doing. I played like 6 hands and that was it. And it was like $25 each hand and I hit every single hand.
Were you at Ameristar?
St. Chuck?
Yeah.
At Ameristar?
Yeah. Right on the other side of the river by Main Street?
Yeah.
Not the one by the amphitheater?
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, Ameristar is expensive. I played Baccarat. So that's the game that they played in James Bond. That's the game that's over by the Chinese restaurants.
Baccarat.
If you ever go to Ameristar and you go to the Chinese restaurant,
how do you spell that?
Baccarat. Yeah, that ain't it. That's
that.
There.
That is with Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah. So that's like the easiest like.
No, they play.
That's not it. I don't know what that's going on. It's a different looking table, but it's basically just like 2 hands, and then there's like 2 cards. There it is right there.
That.
Yeah. And so like you bet on the banker or the player, and there's just like you get the first 2 cards, and like face cards are 10, or technically 0, and like if you have a 9 and a 5, you have a 4, and so it's like closest to 9 is like the winner, and so like. There's like a couple intricacies of like what your first 2 cards are, and like if it gets another card. If it's like a 2, then you get another card, or if it's like above a 5, then you don't get another card. Mm-hmm. And so you can get like a 3rd card on like, based on your cards, you can get a 3rd card.
Yeah.
And so you just bet on either one of those. So that's what I always play. That's what all the Chinese people play, and they're smart. So I believe that
they know their numbers.
They know their numbers, like they know the statistics. Like they're not dumb.
Okay, here we go.
But. Casinos are probably
the player and the banker. Yeah, there you go.
It's
I've never heard of this game.
No, yeah, they played it in James Bond.
Sure, I love the atmosphere of casinos, dude. Like if I can go in a casino,
drunk.
Yeah.
But if you're like an addict, and you're just like going there.
But see, I'm not a bettor.
To go there, That's the thing is like if I'm in it, I'm in it. Like if I'm doing it, I'm doing it.
Sure, you're going all in.
Yeah,
I feel that.
I guess what is it that addictive personality, I guess.
I've got that too. Just not for betting.
But I mean, you can have like, that's the other thing is like we're addictive.
I'm addicted to
creatures.
A lot of other shit. Yeah,
we're addictive creatures. So like, it's about
you just gotta pick poison.
Like a good addiction.
Right.
Like a gym addiction. That's not like a bad addiction. Oh, I like to go out for a walk every day. That's not like a bad addiction. Like
I have to fucking walk today.
I like to eat. I like to eat healthy. Like
walk.
Oh, like you're stressed.
You're addicted to salads. Oh no.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Probably live.
Everyone's got something. I actually hit a player prop on the Bucks Monday night game a few weeks ago. Everyone says this, but I should have put this on it. I only put $5 on it, and it was Godwin first touchdown, and it hit like within 2 minutes of the game starting, and I was fucking electric.
But 5 to win, $20.
It was like 35, yeah, something like that. It was. I think it was plus 700.
So I don't get much out of that.
Or 750. That's all I did. The other day I put futures bets on either the Packers to win the Super Bowl or the Cardinals to win the Super Bowl. And I had free play left, so I put 5 on each. And like one's like 5 to win 36, and the other one's like 5 to win 40. And like if they don't hit, it was free play. So I think that one of those will hit. I don't think there's a team in the AFC that can compete with either of those teams right now. You want to talk football?
Let's talk football.
I'm a Browns fan. Browns fucking suck right now. I don't know what's going on. But I think that the Packers, if they don't win the Super Bowl, it's got to be the Cardinals. And I think that the Packers right now, shout out all my Packers fans, shout out Dom. They are rolling teams. They put on a show against the Packers. They put on a show against the Rams, and they don't have Zadarius Smith.
Don't know who that is.
He's their Pro Bowl or All Pro pass edge rusher, and then they don't have David Bakhtiari, who's arguably the number 1, I don't want to say number 2 tackle in the league. And they're also missing Jair Alexander, who's an all-pro corner. and there's 8-1, 9-1, or something like that. And Rodgers has a broken toe too, and Aaron Jones hasn't been playing. Dude, I think they're deadly, and their defense is full reals. We don't have to talk football.
I've got Devontae Adams on my fantasy team. I'm well aware of the Packers situation.
Dude, they're fucking cold.
Bro, I lost to
Devontae's the best receiver in recent years.
I lost to the guy I played that week. I was undefeated like 7 weeks through.
Oh, shit.
So we can talk about our fantasy teams. And
I'm 2-10 in one league. Fucking bunk.
I only do one because like
I got 3.
Yeah,
that's one of my addictions.
But I've got Devontae Adams, and like I lost to the guy in last place who had like 1 win or like 0 wins because Devontae Adams was on the COVID list. Like,
and that's 30 points gone right there.
30 points gone. Yeah. So let me go pull up your best team.
My best team.
I got
none of my teams are great.
I drafted 9th in a 10-man league.
So I'm in an 8-man, a 10-man, and a 12-man.
Okay.
So you drafted 9th in a 10-man league?
I drafted 9th in a 10-man, and
this is my 10-man.
My 9th pick is the number 1 running back, Jonathan Taylor.
That's sick.
He got because there's all the people you get picked before him,
and no one knew. No one knew the Colts
This is like a sophomore year.
Second year, yeah.
And so he was the most projected like points like flex available. So I'm like, okay, I'll just take Jonathan Taylor
because people are taking Zeke and Kamara and Dalvin Cook and CMC and Henry, and they're all injured.
They're all gone. Yeah. Saquon. I don't know if Saquon probably went top 10. I'm sure.
I actually got him in the second round in my 8-man.
And so then my buddy did 9-10, and then I got
the second pick on the second round.
I got the second pick in the second round. And who did I get? Devontae. I think I got Devontae Adams at 12.
Yeah, that would make sense. Or vice versa. I'd believe either one.
Okay, here's my starting lineup. So Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, third round.
He's
people always. Sorry to interrupt, but people that have listened to this. I've talked about fantasy football and a few of them, and they're like, "Why do you keep talking about that?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't give a fuck. I love fantasy football."
Then skip over this part.
Yeah, just fast forward. 15 minutes.
Fast forward.
Sorry, I fucking love this shit. All my teams are ass. My friends, you know that, but whatever. Keep going.
Pat Mahomes at starter. He's had some bad games. Had some good games.
I think he's still top 3 at quarterback though.
He's 5th. He's 5th.
This hurts his one.
He had 36 against Vegas. That was massive 2 weeks ago.
But he has had games where he had 9.
7. Yeah. I lost, I think, one of those weeks.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, RB1.
East.
I got Leonard Fournette in
probably
my
very
my
late.
RB2. He's, let me see.
6th round or some shit like that.
92nd.
Jesus Christ. So 9th round, yeah. Fuck me.
Number 1 receiver, Cooper Kupp. I'm like,
so your team is sick.
This isn't racist. I don't believe so. Matt Stafford coming into LA, white guy. Cooper Kupp, the only receiver,
white guy.
They're just gonna probably hang out more and
they eat breakfast together.
They're gonna eat breakfast together, eat lunch together. Cooper's gonna show them around town. They're gonna develop a chemistry before anybody else. And I was correct. He isn't killing it.
There's that information that came out a week into the season that him and Matt Stafford eat breakfast together, and everyone was like, "Well, that would have been nice to know," because a lot of people took Woods over Kupp. Woods is a great fucking receiver.
I'm just saying.
No, I mean,
I took a gamble. They ate breakfast together. So
and that paid
off. Devontae Adams is on the bench. So this week, Devontae Adams is on the bench.
So you have
got
Leonard Fournette, Patrick Mahomes, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, and Cooper Kupp.
Devontae. So what's Devontae? Devontae's 4, and Cooper Kupp's 1.
Yeah. And that right there is winning you leagues, let alone Jonathan Taylor.
And then I got Gronk as my tight end, which he was just murdering it the first 4 weeks.
Before he got hurt.
And then he got hurt. But he's back now. So when he got hurt, I streamed Dawson Knox, the Buffalo tight end, and he just fulfilled all of the needs possible.
Dude.
But then he got hurt.
He did. He broke his finger.
Broke his finger, then he still played and threw a touchdown with a broken finger.
First game back, he scores 2 touchdowns.
First game back, he scores 2 touchdowns. I still got him sitting there.
I love fantasy football.
My other pick I'm not a fan of, but I think I took him 29th. So it was my 3rd pick.
Who?
David Montgomery.
He
was the only one kind of there.
I took him in 2 leagues because I thought the Bears were going to be way better than they are. And he was their lead back. He's their only back. I thought that was a home run, dude.
But the Bears are just absolute dog trash.
So big fat hawk.
Sorry to my buddy Colin, but
I got
he's not even
$2,000
from. I don't know what his thing is with Chicago because he has friends that are up there, but maybe because the Rams left. But he just like picked the Bears and they just suck. But he's loyal.
Hey, dude.
I'm not like a massive fan of like the Rams, but like I kind of like. I don't know about you, but like I watched them growing up every Sunday, and they sucked.
Yeah.
And they sucked.
Outside of the Super Bowl, when we were like, what,
3-2
like,
when they won. Didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Probably did, unfortunately.
Unless you watched the DVD, you don't remember that game.
And so we won like 5 games. We won 6 games.
Steven
7
Jackson.
Games. We got.
Goat.
I have his autograph.
Goat.
My parents went out to dinner one time and I got his autograph. But like,
I fucked with the Jackson.
He was like the leading franchise rusher, but it's because we ran him every goddamn
We're giving
play.
him 40 carries a game.
It was miserable. Like you knew 1st and 10 that Steven Jackson was running up the center for a gain of 0.
Good, dude.
Good?
Steven Jackson was
Think
good.
He was good?
I did. The games that I watched him,
I thought it was frustrating to watch him run. I don't feel like he had like that secondary like
speed.
He didn't have edge speed.
But dude, he would run people the fuck over. He was like one of the true bullbacks.
Like a Frank Gore.
Yeah.
Shout out Frank Gore.
Shout out Frank Gore.
He's fighting.
I saw that.
Who's he fighting?
The basketball player, right? Or is it one of those
Nate
YouTubers?
Robinson. No, Nate Robinson. No, Nate Robinson fought Jake Paul. It's
no.
It's Mike Bibby. That's who it is.
When is that? I love watching fights.
I think it's Mike Bibby.
Dude, I could talk sports.
Darren Williams. That's who it is. Not Mike Bibby.
I fucking love this. Ex-NFL star Frank Gore to fight ex-NBA star.
Oh, it's the Jake Paul undercard. That's next. Is that next week?
Is it? I thought that was after the New Year.
Oh, is it? It's like maybe like January 15th.
Let's find out. You see any dates? Deron Williams is 37. Gore's 38. Bro, why are you guys fighting each other?
For money.
Come on.
Why do you think Mike Tyson came out? Dude, this is all for money. Fuck, the world's about money, but
yeah, everything is.
Like,
I don't know. I'm not seeing a date.
I don't see it either.
Isn't Jake Paul fighting Mike fucking Tyson?
No, he's fighting Tyson Fury's like younger brother, like the heavyweight Tyson Fury, big old. Yeah, was he Irishman or whatever? I don't know whatever he is.
Tyson
Russian.
Fury. I hope he gets his name.
Tommy. So it's his brother Tommy
Fury. And
Tyson
Jake
Fury's
Paul.
the big heavyweight who fought Deontay Wilder. They just did their trilogy.
That's right.
And so yeah, that's who he's fighting.
Jake Paul reveals Tyson Fury's mocking voice notes.
That actually probably might be his toughest bout.
I hope Jake Paul gets knocked the fuck out.
I'm gonna go with the unpopular opinion on this one. I want to see him do well.
I like his brother a lot.
I like him too. I mean,
why you spoil this guy? Yeah, I'm not gonna argue it or fight it, but
because he's doing it.
He's doing it, dude. Actually,
he's smart.
I've heard really good interviews with him and his brother individually, and their whole like reasoning and backstory and like I guess you could call it plan of attack is so fucking to the T. Like it's perfect. You could not ask how they've done it and how they're doing it, and the way they're going about it is just unlike anyone else out there right now. And I mean, I can hate all I want. They're getting their fucking.
You respect them.
I can't not.
You respect what they're doing.
I can't.
That's kind of maybe how I feel. Like I don't necessarily like them.
I don't want to say I can't. You have to respect.
You have to respect.
You have
them.
to, dude. Like
otherwise, you're just like jealous that like okay, they got popular off some Vine.
Yeah.
Okay, just because they were smart enough, like
and then took it to
do it.
Fucking fighting these people.
He fought. Like imagine being like me and you.
They're our age.
Yeah, we make some Vine videos back in the day consistently, and then like we train to be boxers. Then we call out Floyd Mayweather and fight the greatest boxer of all time.
One of the best athletes of all time.
Yeah, we're living in the craziest time.
I'm so about
ever.
I'm so here for it. I can't stand him.
Yeah,
I can't stand, and like I can't speak that because I've never met him, and he might be a great individual. Right. I can't speak for that, but like these like antics he does on Instagram, I'm not here personally. Everyone's got their own thing, personally.
Oh, no. That's what I was saying. I don't.
But they're getting their fucking bag. How old? Dude, I think he's younger than us.
Maybe.
Because I think Logan's our age.
But, like...
Logan's the older one,
So they're different. They're different, right?
They are. They're not... Yeah.
You got to be different to
24. So he was born 2 weeks after me.
He's 4 months older than me.
He's from Cleveland, of fucking course.
I think...
And Logan Paul's probably like 26. 1995, yeah. So he's
2 years older than me. That's
year and a half older than me. He's my sister's age.
my sister. Yeah, these are sisters'
There you go,
age.
there you
And
go.
fought Floyd fucking Mayweather.
Total views on YouTube, 5.8 billion. And then he has another 634 million on the official Logan Paul and 400 million on his podcast.
You know how much money you make?
And he's 26.
Does it say how many YouTube subscribers he has? Because like you
Subscribers,
make
23 plus 5, 28.
make-
He's got 30 million total.
you make a lot of like money on YouTube. Like once you have X amount of subscribers,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
crazy. And like so, like every video you put out, I mean, it's forever out there. So like you always
even
just,
from the first one, you're still making
your
bank
first
on that
one.
first
You're
one.
making it back on the first one, second
Yeah.
one, third one. Like it's like real estate that like pays
You always have.
You always have, but it's like okay, it's easier said than done. But like, what are you gonna make videos of?
You got to stay consistent.
Consistently,
Going back to that shit.
consistently of a topic that like,
And staying on top of the game because they easily could have fallen off so hard.
oh yeah,
They could have been off the face of the earth after one fight or one YouTube video, but they're still on top of the game.
still on top of the game.
Actually,
They could have like buckled and like,
yeah, they could have just been like, this
we got a
isn't
couple
it.
million.
Yeah.
But now they're like, how can we make more?
And
I'd like them.
I'm all for it. I'm so for it. Like, I don't care if it's something that I care about or not. If you're going for it, I fucking love it.
You see that one video? I think it was at Jake's fight, and like so Logan was obviously just there, and like some guy just like walks up to him and was like, "Dude, I quit my job. Can I work for you?" And he was like,
What the fuck are you doing?
He's like,
did see
he's
that.
like, no, like what? What do you no?
I did, and like the after video was like,
And he was like crying.
yeah, he's
and
like
it was,
crying in his car and shit.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, I think Logan countered it like a couple of days later, like the next day, and said something and like to like because he was getting ripped for it, I guess, because like dude, like just because he quits his job, like
Yeah, he was like, I don't owe you anything.
right,
Like,
like,
who
I don't
are
know,
you?
Yeah, like just
Yeah,
because.
I saw that, I couldn't believe it. Like, I wanted to feel bad for the guy, but I couldn't. Because I was like, one, you just kind of, he just like showed up at an event, snuck in, and he was like, do I know you? Do you need something? He's like, no, I just want to talk to you. He's like, what the fuck do you want? He's like, I quit my job. I want to work for you. And he's like, okay. What do you want me to do with this guy? I don't know you.
Right.
I'm not just going to put you on my team.
Yeah, buddy, hop on. Gary V might.
Gary Vee might.
I think he did one time.
What was something about all this? Oh, do you know who Andrew Schultz is, the comedian? He's just a comedian. He's a really good comedian, and he really took advantage of the whole COVID situation. I don't know if he was already planning on doing it or if he started it like right as COVID started happening, but he built like a for real studio somewhere. I don't want to say it's in his house, but this thing's like legit as balls, has like a whole team of producers and everything, and like really attacked COVID from the comedy standpoint and like really capitalized on the at-home video watching and shit like that and like staying on top of news. And the other day he was talking about, this was a recent clip, he was talking about Mr. Beast. You know who Mr. Beast is?
He built the Squid Games thing.
Yeah, and I've never watched one of Mr. Beast's videos ever.
I always get his videos on Snapchat, just like through ads.
Same.
I watched him a little bit, like when he was like a couple of years ago.
But like that's how like
It's clickbait shit. Like,
But they were talking about like on any given video he posts now, he gets like 30, 40, 50, 60 million views. And that Squid Game video he put out, he was like the winner got like $500,000 or some shit, and he spent $3.5 million on that one video.
on the set, yeah.
On one fucking video. And like you want to talk about this dude having 30 million subscribers and the money
Google
he's
it.
making?
You can look up how much people make per like view. Like, I think it changes. Yeah, look up how much he. Yeah, look up him.
He earned $24 million from his YouTube channel in 2020, and that does not include merchandise sales and sponsorships.
So which is funny is when they make these like the big thing like going viral is like you have catchy like titles to your videos like
The clickbait shit.
$10,000 like giveaway because
Yeah.
so and so did this like jumped off a cliff for 10,000 and like they can like do that or first of all it's just his buddies so it's I don't know if he's really giving them the money but like giving my buddy 10 grand to jump off this cliff and then
Right.
like people are like oh let me watch this and then he like gives it.
And then people think like, why can't he pay me $10,000 to jump off that cliff?
And then they just watch it, and then they watch the next one, like, oh, he's going to win some money. And then, but in reality, it's just his buddies doing it, and probably he's not actually giving to him. And if it is like a stranger where like they actually do give them money, then like the odds are they're making like 10, they're making,
Sorry.
you're good?
Yeah.
odds are they're making like tenfold on whatever they're giving away. They're giving away like $5,000 to a stranger. Like,
Right.
They're probably making tenfold.
So Mr. Beast, he has. So actually, I saw a graphic.
Did you watch this?
No, I didn't.
Neither have I.
It's 25 minutes long. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm
I
not
can't
into
commit to
that. We got started though.
So his main channel has 83.4 million subscribers, and this video was posted November 24th, a week ago. Like, what's that? The day before Thanksgiving. Yeah. So 10 days ago, and it has 147 million views.
See how much money you can make for 150 million views on YouTube.
How much do you get paid per view on YouTube? It's probably like what, $1 to 1,000. 10 cents to 30 cents per view, but averages out at 18 cents per view. All right.
Calculator.
Yeah. So what did we just say? 147 million views.
Yeah. You might have to turn. Oh, you got it.
Times
20 cents.
0.18. Yeah, because he's probably above average. $30 million.
Right.
And sure, he probably didn't actually earn $30 million.
No taxes, so 15.
He spent 3.5 and he
Made
$10 million off of one fucking video. And that's like that. I saw this graphic I saw the other day. I love talking about this shit.
Think about it. We said 20 cents. He might even be getting 30.
Yeah.
So that's
the actual rates an advertiser pays.
That's 45 million.
I bet for his video, 147 million views in 10 days. I bet people are paying him $1 million for a 1-minute ad.
Yeah, we can just say like 50 grand. 50 million he's probably making off that one video.
Man. But I love
it. And now forever he will make.
Yeah, everyone that ever watches that is just going to keep going and keep going. And I saw this graphic I saw the other day was for like, I don't know if it was like the past 6 months or the year 2021 or maybe it was like the past 30 days or something. But the 10 fastest growing YouTube channels for whatever time span it was, 4 of them were Mr. Beast. And it was Mr. Beast, like this account, like just Mr. Beast. Mm-hmm. And then like the 4th highest growing one was Mr. Beast Mexico. And like the 7th highest one was like Mr. Beast Brazil. And the other one was like, and it was
just like his YouTube channel translated.
Yeah, literally, and like in all of it's in Spanish, all of it's in like fucking.
He's got to get something.
Whatever. Yeah, and like these other channels.
Wait, is that him or like someone buying?
No, it's him. They're his channels.
So I mean, it looks like.
Here you go. Beast like Philanthropy has 6.7. Mr. Beast Gaming is 24 million. Beast Reacts 13.3. Mr. Beast Shorts 10.8. Mr. Beast 2 4.6.
His main's 83 million.
And his main's 83 million. And then he has these other channels in different languages that are gaining in like the fastest growing. They gained like 600,000 subscribers in like 3 months.
So if he made
dude.
If he made 50 million off one in English, he probably made
who fucking knows
15, 20 million. He probably made so he probably made like 100 million off this goddamn video.
I can't wait to
He's not stupid.
No. That's what I'm like going back to this Jake Paul shit. Like
not stupid.
You can hate like I don't care if
these guys that you're still hearing about, they're smart in what they're doing.
They're taking advantage of everything.
What do you think about like Bam Margera? Well, I mean maybe because Bam Margera was a little bit older, but I don't know if he lost it.
He did, but at the time he was taking full advantage of
R.I.P.
everything.
Ryan Dunn. That was a heartbreaker. That was a heartbreaker.
That was. Oh my god, that was sad.
R.I.P. Paul Walker while we're there.
Yeah. Eric Roner, if you know that name, he died skydiving. He was from the show Nitro Circus. But like this shit, like he could have. So
Epstein didn't kill himself.
No, he didn't. Have you been following that?
A little bit.
I follow the thing on Twitter. It's really interesting. So his first here we fucking go, dude. His first ever video was 9 years ago. Worst Minecraft solid trap ever. 2.5 minutes, and it has 8.9 million views.
Which is like a 15th of what he made. So he probably made like 3 million off that.
And he's still making money off of that.
Like 2-3 million he made off.
And like these are all just fucking Minecraft videos. And now there's Halo. Now there's Call of Duty. And then
so that's just what he did before.
He was just making YouTube videos, and then it
just about some random shit.
Look, 7 years ago, it has 117,000 views, and it says 1,500 subs. And dude, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72, 78,
we'll go back.
84, 90, 96, 102, 108, 114, 120, 120. Dude, 150 videos in, and he had 1,500 subscribers.
So was that 10 subscribers per video?
Talk about consistency. 9
so
years.
So that's 100 videos right there. Go back to see where it says on the right. There, 100 video.
Where are you seeing that?
Where it says 100. Go up on the far right.
100th video special, 176,000 views, 4.5 minutes.
2 years in.
2 years in.
176,000. Just on some.
So that's a video a week.
Video of the week.
Video a week. Video per week.
2 years.
9 years later.
Well, that's probably his goal.
And dude, that's why like I talked about with Andy the other day. This whole age of content thing. It's like, I don't care what it is and like what your avenue is. I could give a fuck what it is. Like this Mr. B shit isn't for me, and the Jake Paul shit isn't for me. I don't care, but there's no reason not to do something. Look at this motherfucker. He's arguably the highest earning individual on social media, hands down.
Right. Yeah. Maybe.
Outside of like Kylie and Kendall Jenner. It's fucking crazy, man. I don't know.
I'm not a millionaire yet because I will be speaking into existence.
Yeah.
But if you
gotta believe in it.
Well, I mean, some people who say that they don't want to like have money, but like if you want to, you can.
Anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it. Like
if you're resourceful and you go about it in the right way,
you can do anything you put your mind to. So like
YouTube, money, calculator. Yeah. Keep going, though. Daily video views. Well, that's at least that. Average engagement, yeah. So, this is not.
So, it's not. They're outside of that. Oh, yeah. I guess what I was getting to is, like, if you want money, like, you're either, like, you're just, like, too lazy. Like, everything, like, we have the easiest time in the world to, like, get wealthy. Mm-hmm. If you want to, and if you're willing to do what you need to do in order to get there. Otherwise, then you're lazy.
Yeah, it's all on you.
People don't like being told how it is, but that's what I like to do. Like you have to tell it how it is, and people don't like the truth. Like
people don't like to hear that.
Like
they don't want to take responsibility for it.
No, that's the other thing. Is just with discipline it's just personal responsibility. That's exactly. I mean, that's kind of what it is. One and the same. Your discipline is your self, responsibility.
Right, 100%.
And so, if you want, you just got to find out what you enjoy doing. Because if you don't enjoy it, then there's not a point to it. But if you can find something you enjoy, then if you want to, if you put your mind to it, you can do whatever it is that you want to do.
And you're never gonna know until you fucking try.
Yeah.
Because I tried to start a YouTube channel during COVID, and I created all the accounts and everything.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What you want?
I've already had these two, so yeah, sure. Is it good?
Yeah, I like it. I'm almost done. It was gonna be a cooking channel, and my girlfriend even helped me film.
That's funny.
I know, right?
Well, no, go ahead.
My girlfriend helped me film an entire video. It took like an hour. It was a dank ass Philly cheesesteak and garlic cheese bread with homemade air fryer fries, and it was bomb. It was so good. But I was like, I'd love to do, because I watched so many cooking videos. I was like, I'd love to do this. This would be so much fun, because I love cooking, and why not do YouTube? And throughout the filming process, I was like, I fucking hate this. I hate it. I don't like this film. I don't like this. It wasn't natural cooking. You had to pause everything and then continue another way. And maybe it's just the size of my kitchen, my layout, whatever. I don't know. But I was just doing it, and I was like, I can't fucking stand this. And then doing this, it's 1,000-fold. So much more fun, so much better.
You didn't enjoy the cooking. Or you enjoy cooking, but you don't enjoy
I didn't for that.
The need to display your cooking on the internet as you
because it wasn't cooking
in this way.
I would be sauteing something, and then she'd have to be like, all right, pause. I have to go over here and get it from this angle. And then she'd get 30 seconds, and she'd be like, all right, pause. I have to set the camera up over here, and then you can keep going. And then I'd move from the counter to the table, from the table back to the counter, from the counter to the other side of the counter, and we were just switching all over the place, and just. But I thought that was my little avenue, and I didn't know until I actually fucking tried it.
It's not okay to be wrong.
Right. You're not going to learn unless you do fail at that.
Right.
I could have thought for 10, 20 years that as soon as I start that YouTube cooking channel.
But if you would have done it for 10 years,
right,
he did,
right.
Odds are you would have gotten better at it.
Yeah, for sure.
You would have made more money. You would have been able to hire not your girlfriend. You know, it would have been
Someone for
probably
real.
easier.
I get all of my recipes from YouTube. I get a lot of everything from YouTube. How to fix a toilet, how to install a ceiling
So that's what
fan.
I'm saying. You can learn, like, the information.
It's there. That's something. Okay.
You've seen the stat where it's like the data that we produce, like, because we're just producing data, like the internet, like
all of it.
All of it.
At all
so
times
like,
of the day.
There's abundant amount of just like information of whatever you wanted to learn about.
It's there.
Everyone's just choosing to like not learn.
You know how much
something.
shit we have on this thing in our pocket?
Well, so I feel like we were a funny generation. People born in around 95 to 2000 ish. Maybe like I think to say our age. You know,
The internet era.
The internet era. So like in middle school, I don't know about you, but you had to get home to your house. You only had one computer in the house, and this is how I grew up, at least. Like, you have one computer in the house, and you got to hope that your dad doesn't have some work stuff to be doing on it, or your sister doesn't want to complain that she wants to be on it.
Everyone can't be watching
my mom
TV.
wants to do something on it. Mm-hmm. And so it's like you have that one computer. You got to get home, get on your AIM account, right? Mm-hmm. You had one of those?
Yeah.
Right. That's the only way you could talk to your
AIM
friends.
chat?
AIM chat.
Yeah.
You're getting on the AIM chat, and you're like, oh, like, you guys want to meet at the park?
Are we going to the mall this Friday?
Right.
Same shit.
So, like, it adds, like, a little in-between step. Like, our parents, like, they had to talk at school. So, like, hey, guys, like, 4 o'clock, an hour after school.
Ride your bike over.
Let's ride our bike over to here, and
Right.
we'll go from there. Okay. And you had to do that. We were, like, the little in-between step. Like, okay, we can, like, get on this little internet thing. We can communicate with, like, our friends. Like, hey, you want to meet here? Okay. Well, you could do group chats with them. Nah.
Maybe. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Facebook was group chats.
Facebook was group chats, but boom.
We were there for the beginning of Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, we were like...
That's what I'm saying. We were like we're like the turning point
Right.
of like this new technology.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's the Industrial Revolution, but I would call what we're going through right now the technological revolution.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is that the word?
Yeah.
Like we were like the middle. Like we kind of grew up with not really, like our parents were like, you know, oh, the internet.
No,
like,
'cause
they
we
had,
still
they had
had-
telephone. Like they had telephones.
We're 20 years into this, and you're still helping your parents with internet shit.
Yeah.
But we, at our stage in our life, we grew up with it, and we were in it.
Yeah. Like, right. We grew up with like it. Yeah.
Where are you going?
No, it's just fascinating that like, I kind of wish I grew, well.
No, I know what you're saying.
I kind of wish I grew up maybe right after the Depression, like maybe our parents' generation.
I'm following.
And just because.
That was like the generation of like hard, grueling work.
Because, yeah, well, just hard work and, you know, I'm sure.
I'm not downplaying anyone's work, but like
Right.
their livings were like vacuum sealed.
You couldn't just deliver groceries and make
Right.
a good amount of money a week.
Right. You
Probably
can't.
blows people's mind. That's why like my family kind of like shits on me for it. I mean, I hate like telling people it because it's like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, what are you doing right now? I'm like, I'm delivering groceries. But it's like,
Doesn't matter.
I'm not gonna say the number.
You're
but,
doing
like,
something.
I'm not gonna say the number, but like I make good money,
Better money than some.
better money than some, and like I drive around in my car, listen to good music.
Podcast, whatever.
I can like go to the park and like go for a walk like I did the other day. Like
You can take your time when you
go
wanna
go
work out.
hiking, go get some lunch,
Right.
like chill. And I was saying this to somebody the other day. It was just like people who are like claustrophobic, like, you know, don't like small areas, confined spaces. So that's kind of like I feel like how I am with like with a job.
and,
It's like
and closing the
you're
cubicle
like someone like is owning you, and you have to be there
on their time,
on their time to make them money.
waiting for them to pay you.
You cannot leave. You're like so like Instacart, like it's not for everybody if you're not willing to be disciplined about it. So like luckily, like I'm not perfectly disciplined, but I like to consider myself pretty disciplined. And so like I work it like 8 to 5, 8 to 6. I'll work like 8 to 10, 12-hour days on it. And like not everybody's willing to do that. They might wake up at like 10 o'clock, do a couple. You can make like $100 in like 4 hours or something like that. But you could think that like that's good enough. But if you're disciplined enough to like do it,
get
Monday.
whatever.
I do it Monday through Friday, like a full-time job, 8 to 10 hours. But then it's just a matter of if I'm feeling, what's the word? Feeling
Motivated.
Yeah, well, not motivated. Yeah, if I'm feeling crazy, just like to go work on a little Saturday, Sunday. I did one this morning before I came here.
Feel a little crazy.
Yeah, it was like, but it was just from like Costco, like $45. Go in the store for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, why not?
Drive it closer, like back to where I was like already like my house. So like,
Might as well. No reason
for,
not to.
for like an hour.
No reason not to.
Got myself, went to Chick-fil-A this morning, got a nice chicken biscuit,
There you go.
hash browns.
So this is something I also kind of want to talk about. Do you think, because I've noticed / picked up on your like drive to be an entrepreneur, and like we already talked about you wanting to open up a restaurant. Has that always been a thing, or do you think that's been a thing that like you came to realize during this 75 hard and first form experience? Does that question make sense?
Yeah.
Because since I was like 10, I've always wanted to open up a business. I don't know what it is, and I still don't know what it's going to be. But I know like who I am and what I like to do and what we were just talking about and like the state of some of these businesses today. I would love to be part of the solution to like the problems of the workforce today. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like, wait, you're talking about like you want to have a consulting company, or you're just
No. Like whatever company, if I ever do it, because I don't know.
Oh, you want to do something for the greater good.
Right. And like I'm not saying solve world hunger, but like let's say the company's fucking selling phone cases. Like I like as an example, like I don't know,
Right.
but like the company that doesn't confine you to your time. And like the company that doesn't have 8 to 5, and like the company that like has fucking maternal leave, like whatever it is, like I want to be part of like the turning, like going back to the turning point, like the internet stage, and like all this, and like working from home and all that kind of stuff, like part of the companies that are part of the solution of where you're no longer working to live.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. But
internally. So I'm interested in like where this comes from for
where it
you.
started for me. I don't know. I guess my parents are both hardworking, and so like I think I've always had a good work ethic, just like from young. Like,
and you played sports.
I played sports.
Part of the discipline.
I played part of it, and then I don't know. I was always
competitive factor. Want to be better.
I don't know. My dad like did a lot of stuff up at like my grade school, so like I always like was like the scorekeeper for basketball. So like I made money doing that. Anytime it snowed, I was outside from like 8 a.m. to like 5 that night. You make like $200, $300, $400.
Yeah,
like,
you can make
especially as a young kid, people feel sorry for you. You're like 12 years old. When I was like 12.
You were pumped about it. You were pumped for that $20 in your pocket.
Oh, dude, they felt bad. It was like 30, 40.
Yeah,
like, I made like $500.
The occasional old lady toss you a hundo.
Yeah. Pack of suckers, you know.
And like I could never do it. I say I can't. I could.
Talk about back-breaking work.
Yeah, dude.
I was 12 years old, but my back was breaking. That's why I have back pain today.
I was always like going back to the landscaping things. I was always so jealous of the kids that had their own like landscaping, like mowing business.
That's another thing I did.
But they had like fucking 15 yards under them on any given week. They'd be making like $700 a week. I'm like,
how
what
old?
the fuck?
Like in high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever they had cars.
I started when I was probably like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
12.
I know some kids that like just mowed their parents' yard like as their chore.
Well, no,
and then they mowed their neighbors, and then they mowed their other neighbors.
Yeah,
and before
that's
it,
probably what I had more or less.
and then like you did like across the street, and then you did another one up the street, and then another one up the street. And like my little brother right now, he's a junior in high school. Shout out Joe.
Shout out to him.
His brother.
Your brother?
Yeah, my little brother. But his friend owns one of these like landscaping things, and he's paying my little brother like $20 an hour for just like 3 or 4 hours after the school day. And like my little brother's making so much money as a high schooler, like way more than I was ever pulling in.
Oh yeah.
But same shit, like mowing lawn stuff. I was flipping sneakers in high school. I was getting up at like 7 in the morning and hopping on Nike. I slept at the Galleria one night.
Black Friday? Or
No.
just one of the drops.
Yeah, for just this pair
That's
of
dangerous.
LeBrons.
You said the Galleria?
I slept there.
What are you like, in the middle school or high school?
I was driving. I drove
16,
myself
17.
there, yeah, and I slept there. I slept outside of a Foot Locker in
At
the
the
Galleria.
Galleria.
In the Galleria.
Where there's like guaranteed a shooting a month.
There was like 30 or 40 people in line with me, all waiting for these sneakers.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah, but that's how I made my money in high school.
That's not safe.
It wasn't safe.
But I respect anybody.
Mom, Dad, I don't know if you ever knew that.
You slept outside
I
the
don't know.
Galleria.
I don't know if they ever knew that.
I feel like,
But Mom, Dad, that's what I did.
Such a skeptical like parent. I mean, I guess like you don't think about it because you're the kid, but like when you have a kid, I'm like, you're not fucking sitting in the Galleria.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No way.
Absolutely not. Like
That's what I didn't tell him.
when you like have you have to think of the. I think there's a funny thing about perspective. Is like you don't know until like your perspective changes, like the way you look at something. you look at something maybe one way, but then that's all you know for them. But then you become a parent or like, you know, whatever it may be, and like your perspective changes.
You turn 25, you have a life experience, and you're like, wow.
Like
that's.
I have a kid now, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do everything I can. Like, okay, and that's why my parents were so overprotective. Like,
That's totally fair.
Their life or like my life is like in their hands.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be the parent that lets their kid die. Like, I don't know. Like, sorry anybody that's ever happened to, but like.
No, but like it's
it's a serious like.
It's sad to hear about helicopter parenting, but at the same time, neither of us have kids. But like,
I didn't have that.
No, but I'm saying I think it's hard.
You understand where they're coming from.
Yeah,
they just care so much.
It's your little spawn.
It's one of my cousins, one of my like dad. Yeah. Anyway, one of my cousins' parent. Yeah. Anyway, you know what I mean. Not that she's gonna watch this. I think. This might go viral, dude. I don't know. It's my first ever podcast.
It's my
fourth ever. Yeah. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
But
it's fun, isn't it?
Just yeah. It's just like helicopter pop. Yeah. Probably shouldn't have smoked before though. Whatever. I was gonna wait for like an intermission, but yeah. No, it's just like she was like crazy, like helicopter. Like we literally, like it was like a thing where like we called her like the helicopter mom. But like she honestly just did care like so much about just making sure they, you know, were on top of their grades or like they were this or that or like not wear your helmet when you're riding your bike.
Right.
Or like my parents were like, okay, you're not gonna ride your helmet when you ride your bike, fall off, hit your head, and learn a lesson. Which I think is a good way. Did you ever have a curfew?
Yeah.
I never had a curfew.
I did in middle school. If I was coming home.
I never was really out.
Well, I guess I can't say middle, like early, like freshman year before I could drive.
Yeah.
If I was going out and if I wasn't like sleeping at my buddy's house, but if I was like going to like a party or a girl's house or whatever, I had to be home before like midnight.
Yeah.
But as soon as I could drive, it was just kind of.
Right. Don't fucking come home at 3 a.m.
Right. Bingo.
Because then if you're coming home at 3 a.m., which means you're fucked up and you're coming home.
That was. I feel like it would be. Again, we're not parents, but like I feel like it's probably harder to put that trust into the kid and not be. I feel like the easy thing is probably being a helicopter parent.
Yeah, maybe not even a helicopter, just
overprotective.
A healthy, find like a middle of like a healthy, like,
yeah,
hey bud, be home by like 1, you know,
right.
2, or you know, if you're drinking, just sleep there. I guess just having a good relationship with them to where like,
for sure,
or you know, nowadays you can just like call an Uber home.
It's 2:00 and we're 2 hours in. I don't have a hard stop.
It's 2 hours in already?
Yeah, it's 2:00. Okay, so I want to circle back. Cool. I'm done.
Yeah, if you got like... Yeah,
I've got nothing going on. Do you have anything going on?
No.
Okay, cool. So this age of the internet and this age of content thing that I've talked to a few people about, and like how you were saying that you can learn anything on the internet if you want to, and you can.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Because I from what I've picked up on through just literally your stories and like shit like that, and like you working at First Form and like what they post about, like what are your thoughts on schooling going forward and how schooling is going to pan out and like college and high school and virtual learning and all that, and like degrees and getting jobs because of degrees and all that?
Okay.
Because I valued my college experience because of the relationships and the life lessons I earned, not necessarily the actual schoolwork I got out of it.
100%. I think.
And I would not trade that for the world.
No, I think.
But I think pretty soon the college is going to be unnecessary. Mm-hmm. So what do you?
Well, so.
How do you?
I like statistics.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I like numbers. So.
I believe in statistics.
Yeah, I mean they're a thing, and so. I don't think the college will go away just because life's about experiences.
For sure.
I don't think we're just gonna be like, oh yeah, no more.
We're not going to lose these billion-dollar industries.
Right. So they will still be a thing, but I think it'll just be more common for like kids to maybe like not go to college if they want to, but it's like such a thing where it's such a thing to like just go to college for the experience. Mm-hmm. So and it's a tough like thing. I feel like it's gonna have to take someone that's like super already determined to like, I don't want to go to college. I'll just like work for the next couple of years, live at home, and then like work on like this business that I want to start or like whatever it may be. Because like this is the big argument that I have with like my parents is just like back in the day, like yes, you got your college degree, like.
It was a big deal.
That's a big deal. Your ROI, like on like
Yeah.
your tuition and like the schooling is like you got this paper, like you can go get this job, and hey, you can have white picket fence, two and a half kids,
two golden retrievers,
two golden retrievers, and like beautiful. But like, I don't know, I'm a different thinker, and I like to think, well, that's just going like with like the flow. That's just what everyone's doing. Like that's just a common.
Because my whole like the thing that like I bring this up, and like we were talking about our COVID experiences. It drove me insane that these colleges were still charging $50K a year
online. Colleges are just
and like this whole work from home thing.
Scams.
Yeah, like they're charging $600 for a textbook.
Scams.
I said this to someone else. Like, if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're going to be working for a large financial institution, if you're going to be handling money, if you're going to be fucking solving crises, yeah, you probably need 4 years of study. But like, what I do, and like my last sales job, I could have been in the same position without a college degree. At my last job, there was literally a kid that graduated high school that was hired in my same position, and like that's like my grime, I guess, with this whole college shit is like, and I don't know, I don't want to say if like maybe gap years should become more popular.
Just like a 1 year after high school.
Just go work or go fucking, I don't know, do something. And like, cause like you're 18, you graduate high school, and then like,
go ahead.
In 4 months, like you're going to college, and you're essentially asked what you want to do for the rest of your life. And like me at 18 versus me now, I'm a totally different fucking person.
6 years ago.
Yeah, and I'm only 24. Like
imagine 18 and 12.
Exactly. Like you have no fucking clue what you're doing at 18. And then to ask, like, I'm blessed enough, like to ask these kids to take out student loans of $40,000 a year at 18 to go and do something they have no idea if they even want to do is insane.
And you can't take out like a $10,000 like personal business loan.
Right, dude. Yeah, exactly.
You can go like $100K into debt to the school debt that's like trillions of dollars.
Right.
But you can't take out like a little small business loan for you to like start your own little business.
And like going back to that real estate shit we were talking about, like having to have a 2-year employment history to get.
Yeah, what's self-employment? I don't know if that's like if you have like a job.
But like even if it's income, like if you've had a steady income.
Like I can pay off the mortgage of like if I bought a house, but I can't.
You can't get qualified
just because that's the rules.
But if you wanted to go pull out $200K to get a master's in art history, they wouldn't blink an eye.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't blink an eye. I don't know.
Because they don't want to see you. That's the other thing is like the school system's built to build employees.
Right. 100p.
Anyone that's a business owner, like, I mean, I'd say the minority, like masters, like these people teaching like masters business, blah, blah, blah. But what have they done?
Exactly.
They're not like built, like they haven't built a company. They went to school and they got their masters in business. And then they're like, oh, let me go to whatever you got to do to teach business. Like, and then you're just the business teacher because you went, like, you know how to teach it. Like, okay, but you don't actually know, like, you know.
That's why I love this whole technological revolution, if you want to call it that. This shit that's going on.
We're rolling with it.
Is like this, like when I listened to Andy's podcast back in the day, I was like, I would have listened to that for 9 hours every single day for a semester straight rather than going to class, because it was like real life shit. And he started a company that was obviously more successful now, but when I was listening to it, like clearly very successful. And like he was talking about like real shit that you could apply to, like talk about studying hard, whatever. Anything that he talked about in the podcast was like real shit you could apply then and there. And like these professors were talking about like fucking FIFO and LIFO on shampoo products. I'm like, I could give a fuck about this.
It's like learning calculus in high school.
And like I had to take like Roman history, like Roman culture history. I was like, what am I doing here?
Think about those classes are costing you like $8,000-9,000, like $1,000.
Yeah, like as cheap classes, like.
But imagine like people who like don't like. So imagine if a parent spent $40,000. I mean, that's just like we'll say, just a good amount of money, like on just like say your son wants to take like a drop shipping course,
right?
For like $997. Right, that's how much they all cost.
$1,000.
But like, oh, okay, well you just paid $1,000 for me to take modern history or like Catholicism in college or like weightlifting in college. You just paid $900 for me to take weightlifting in college.
Weightlifting, yeah.
You can't like
or a sculpting class.
Give me $1,000 to like try to do this drop shipping that I want to do. Like,
and even if you don't do drop shipping, like the business experience, like running a small
so if
business.
If you're talking about like spending $100,000 on college, to answer your first question, if you're gonna spend $100,000 on college versus like Imagine if I had like just $100,000 like loan to fuck with to like make money. I know I would turn it into $1 million. Like I would.
Easily.
I would.
Do you think that's from your college experience though?
No.
Or
So
like,
that was the question I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
When did you get into, or maybe like more so obsessed with the like idea of like personal development?
Shit. Talk about mental health. I was in a really bad state like early on in college. Like
Me too.
sophomore year probably. I got put on academic probation. Yeah, I was bad time. And like I don't know what it was. Like I knew like going back to the thing, like I knew from so young that I wanted to own something. I just never knew what.
Right.
And like most young kids, they're looking for that fucking drop shipping thing, like the quick buck. And like I was always looking into that.
I dabbled, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to set up one, Amazon, FBA, name it, whatever.
Bachur or Navu or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude hits the Instagram ads hard.
And then there's like somehow I stumbled on. Well, I always followed Andy, and I started following Andy back in high school because of his cars. And then I found out he owned.
Cars, yeah.
And then I found out he owned First Form, and then I found his podcast, and then I started listening to his podcast when I started driving to and from Columbia, and that is what really.
Podcast in the cars.
Yeah, hour and a half.
Such a good way to pass time. You could fuck off with. That's the other thing is like never stop learning. I think it's a.
That's my whole thing with this shit.
I think that's a core value at First Form is never stop learning. Actually,
I love that.
If it's not, then it is.
And like I don't care what it is. I could give a fuck about what you're learning about as long as you're learning about something.
Yeah.
It could be building doors, growing weed, starting a business, making the best lemonade. I don't give a shit. As long as you're continuously learning about something, I love that.
Try to learn something. That's why that 10 pages a day, like, yeah, it's on 75 hard, but like.
It doesn't matter what book, you're probably going to learn something from 10 pages.
I mean, ideally, it's personal development, not
right.
fictional.
Yeah. Isn't that like phase 1 or phase 2 or something? It has to be a personal development book?
No, they're all supposed to be personal.
I didn't think the first one was. Okay.
No, yeah, sure. They're all supposed to be. Because you're not learning anything off of reading some Harry Potter book.
Right.
Not at all.
You might learn a new fake spell. But.
You might learn some BS, but yeah, the point is like with if you're reading a personal development book, you're going to learn something like that you can use.
Yeah.
You're learning something you can use every day. So that's where I think it's important. And so I didn't get into reading until like I didn't read maybe a book in grade school, high school. What's it called? Spark Notes? Yeah, sparknotes.com.
High school dude lived.
I got in trouble for what's it called? Like copying and pasting a little summary or like one time, like a paragraph or something. Might as well bring it out.
Last one we gotta try.
I got in trouble one time. I don't know. I thought it was like I always waited the night before because I didn't read the fucking book, and then I'm just like, let me go to Spark Notes.
I'm gonna wing the shit out of
copy
this.
paste. I'm just gonna go to some synonyms. Sure enough, the dude caught me, but I don't know.
What are some of your favorite quote personal development
books? Okay, so yeah, going back, I'll get to it, but
yeah, keep going.
I didn't read basically in like grade school, high school, and then I think maybe I had a hard freshman year of college, just a lot going on. And so then like when I got back that summer, I just like I read like a book or two like that summer. Like I had never like read but like a book or two like in the last 10 years.
Right.
But I'd read like a book or two like that summer, and then I just like got it. I probably read, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 books the last like 5 years. Maybe like a couple books a year now.
Fuck me.
And
all personal development, or have you branched out at all?
Yeah, basically. I mean, personal development or like something of business. Of
nonfiction of some sort.
Yeah, it's all something where I can like learn something from.
I like biographies a lot.
Did you read Green Lights?
Yeah, I love that.
The great thing I learned or loved about Green Lights was that like because you know the author, Matthew McConaughey. If you don't know Matthew McConaughey, you got to check it out.
Yeah, shout out Green Lights.
Shout out Green Lights. But you read it in his voice, which is just funny to me.
I heard that listening to the audiobook was next level.
I hate the idea of listening to an audiobook.
I can't either, but he reads it.
Right.
So maybe that's one I could get behind. I can't listen to audiobooks.
So when you read, so you didn't read it in his voice.
No, I did. Like internally, I did.
Exactly.
I'm agreeing.
Isn't that sick?
Yeah, it was so awesome.
That's a funny thing about like.
Just keep living.
What is it that you're hearing?
That buzzing noise?
No, I'm saying.
Oh.
When you're reading in Matthew McConaughey's voice.
Yeah.
You're not speaking.
Right.
You're reading, but you're hearing his voice
And his accent and all.
when you're reading it. But there's no, it's a book and you're reading it, you're looking at it, but you're hearing it in his voice in your head. So if you want to dive real quick there,
Keep going.
just like the idea of like, what is that? What, like if you were to say like a word, but you don't say it, just like reading, just like you're not saying it, but you're hearing it in your mind.
Yeah.
What is that? What do you believe that is? Your subconscious? What do you think makes you hear that?
Like if I read that word,
Do you believe like the sub? Do you like meditate or visualize?
I visualize.
Do you know about like the subconscious mind?
If that's fucking around, all of these tighten stuff.
That's good. Yeah.
So whatever you need to do.
Do you believe in like the subconscious and like
For sure.
so like affirmations and like visualizations and so like when you visualize them, that's a pretty deep level. I think that's probably a step.
Do you have a vision board?
No,
I've got one in my work.
I need to develop one.
Should. I spent it was really good quality time with my mom.
That's
She's really
cute.
big. She's really
Went
big.
to Walgreens, bought a little board, got some glue sticks.
She's also big into magazines, so she had probably 1,000 magazines dating back 20 years that we just sorted through, literally. And it was like 2 nights in a row when I lived at home, and we built vision boards, and it was crazy. It was funny how wildly different they were. Like hers was all about like.
Oh, she built one too.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. She didn't just help me.
I thought she was just helping you build one. You did it together. That's cool.
Well, I mean, in a roundabout way, she did, but it was really cool to like see, because obviously we're at different stages of our lives, and she's my mom, and it was interesting to see what her visions were for like, I mean, call it 2 years, 5 years, 10 years,
Right.
30 days, doesn't matter.
That's kind of what you put on there is 2, 3, or
Yeah.
2, 5, 10, forever.
Yeah, and it was funny to see like what I put on there versus like what she was putting on there, and I don't know. I think it's like it was a really good like mind exercise, if you will, and it's. I don't use the word refreshing, but it's fun to see that at work every day and visualize that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, personally.
No.
Experience.
Honestly, I can admit that I'm slacking that I don't have one. You know, I should have one.
Do you visualize?
Yeah.
I'm
not as consistent with it as I should. That's another thing is like, I go in and out of like good mental like states.
Sure.
And so like, granted, it's just like a matter of like choices and decisions and like, blah blah blah. But, I'm doing the best I can be. But when I am, you know, you're doing your visualizations, your affirmations, your gratitude.
Gratitude, that's a big one.
Yeah, I've gotten like I'm gone like maybe like 4 or 5 days straight where like I've just gone on a walk and you just say like I'm grateful for like
I speak out loud.
So that's what I'm talking about, the subconscious. The words you speak are what your subconscious hears, what it takes in. And so like that database, that's like basically like your data drive and like
I like that.
that's your information. So like if you're saying like
That's what you're recycling.
if you're like I'm a piece of shit, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a piece of shit,
You're
then
gonna
like
think
your
you're a piece of
subconscious is just like, okay, you're a piece of shit. And you're gonna feel that way. If you're like, I'm abundant, I'm a leader,
Yeah.
I am a millionaire, I am blah blah blah, then your subconscious is like, okay, you're a leader, you're a millionaire,
I like that.
you're this, you're abundant,
Yeah.
you're aware,
Then you start believing
and you
it.
start believing it. And so if you go like 3 weeks, 75 days, whatever it may be, of just like, well, granted, you make it a daily. It should be. I'm not doing it now, but like, ideally, if you do that, like you're living optimally, and you're rewiring your brain just to like be like successful or whatever like may be, like whatever you're telling yourself out loud, whenever you like do your affirmations, whether it be in your bed or like on a walk, whatever you tell
You're
yourself,
brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
Whatever
you tell yourself, you will be. So that's where I'm stuck right now, I'd say, in life, is that like we can do anything we want to, but I'm having a hard time like deciding like what I want to do. I know I want to like get into real estate, because like I know that's a good business model and all that, and like
it's the one thing we can't make more of.
people got to live somewhere.
Bingo.
People got to live somewhere.
Water, shelter, food.
It's a big thing. It's not like, an Amazon product. Granted, he did that right, but I'm saying, a drop shipping store is like, okay, people might not like, spend money because like
It's a fun hoodie to buy.
Right.
Fidget spinners are awesome.
right,
But everyone needs somewhere to live.
got to live somewhere, and so
Right.
like that's what I know. Like I want to do like as a business model to create, because ideally I just want to have the freedom to not really have to be working.
Time freedom.
Time freedom.
Agreed.
That's one of because if you're an employee, you work until you're 65, and people tell me like
You're not going to get rich from a salary.
people tell me like
Sorry, wealthy.
yeah, people tell me like, well, you just get a job and you invest in the whatever, and then like you have like $1 million at 65. The fuck do I want with $1 million at 65? I want to have it by the time I'm 30.
Do you know how little?
That pisses me off.
Dude, don't even.
Dude, just like
start.
my family, there's like get a job. You can just save
401k,
up
baby.
401k, and like dude, you have like 1.5 at like 65. That'll be great. That's 40 years from now. What do I want to like I'm dying. You're dying every day, but fuck, like 65 with $1 million, like,
and like,
why not? So why not shoot for like I want to be a millionaire by 30? That's my goal. I think it'll be before then.
I agree, and you're not going to get there without saying that,
Right?
Like if you don't tell yourself that, it's never going to happen.
Right. This is a funny thing about like law of attraction.
Yeah.
Speaking things into existence, right?
Big.
It's like what you tell yourself you will become. So like I posted this one time like a couple years ago, and it was just like, so say you wake up and you're hungry, you're like, okay, I'm gonna make some scrambled eggs with toast with some jelly on it, and
sounds really good.
Okay, so like in your mind, you think, okay, this is what I want. And then you go and make it. Mm-hmm. That is a very small scale of the law of attraction of like life.
Right.
You thought about it, and then it's a simple basic level. It's like, okay, well, it's not hard. Yeah, I thought about it, I went and made it. Okay, but like that's the point. It's like you want to be a millionaire. Okay, like I thought about it, large scale, and then I did.
You take the small actions of making the eggs.
Take the small actions
to get there.
Yeah. So like
you're not going to have eggs, toast, and jelly if you don't make the eggs.
Exactly. You have to if you didn't do it, then you wouldn't have it. But you you cooked the egg, you toasted the bread, you put the jelly. Granted, it's basic, it's simple, but you did
the most basic sense.
You thought about what you wanted, you did it, and now you have it.
Right.
That's a small little 15-minute law of attraction.
So selfishly, like this podcast, this has been like an idea running that I've been coming up with for like 2 years, 18 months.
I mean, I've thought about it too. Yeah,
everyone has.
Not that I'm still. I don't know. I might.
I could use this shit.
Optimally, I should. I will.
No.
I'm gonna have a podcast.
No reason not to.
I'm speaking into existence. I'm having one.
And like
12/4/21, I'm having a podcast.
There you go. And like I kept on saying it. And I was like, I'll do it one day. I'll do it one day. I'll do it one day. And then just one day, I fucking.
And you're fucking dead. No, literally. That's like.
Well, one day I just ordered all this shit. And I was
think about being like old, and I mean, you hear like these people. You see those pictures on Instagram, like old people, and they're like, don't have any regret. Like you're gonna grow old. Did you do the stuff you wanted to do?
That's the thing.
Or did you not?
Mm-hmm. I've got this theory about like life and like what's next and all that.
Are you religious?
I went to Catholic school.
Forced Catholic. Okay, I was too. I don't fuck with Catholicism anymore.
I think I'm with you.
I believe in like in a higher like being of a power of like
there's
something out there. I'm not going to tie it to all religions are based on like kind of basically a community. Like okay, the people in India
community belief.
Yeah, it's like a community belief thing, and it's good to have a faith. But like,
I think faith in religion is a good thing in whole. It's really good.
I think a faith. I don't know about religion. I think religion's a funny.
I think like
thing.
Name the religion outside of like fucking terrorist bombings and like whatever the Nazis were. Like that's bad.
Is that religious?
I don't know. It could in a way, but like I think that most religions at their core have good values, and to live off those values is good.
That's what I've thought about.
But I don't necessarily like the higher being thing. I'm not gonna tie everything to one she up there.
Right.
Yeah, that's my. I don't want to say beef, but that's my shtick with it. But my thing is like so, and like where I'm going with this, my Davis and like how he takes it. So my like the creator of Pokemon, I hate to toss around the word reincarnation because that's a big word. And Jesus was a real dude. I'm not going to argue any of that. But like I think that like the creator of Pokemon in like simple examples and like J.K. Rowling in their past life, that was them. And that's what they experienced. And they're not creative now. They're just having those memories now. And I think when we pass and go to the next one, it's something along those lines. And I don't want to toss around the word reincarnation because, like, then we talk about, like, the multiverse and shit like that.
The metaverse? Just the old other, like, solar system? Or the other, like...
Galaxies and shit, yeah. We can talk about metaverse, too. But multiverse. And, like, I say that, and it's like you get another shot, but Davis has a tight end where he's like, I can't do that one, and I can't like that one. And I don't want to speak for him, but he's like, I don't want to believe in that one because... if it's not the case, and I totally agree with him, if that's not the case, and this one's it, you have to take advantage of every single day. And, like, if that's what I believe, and, like, the next go-round, I have some other opportunity somewhere else, I can't live expecting that because then I'm wasting this one. Does that make sense?
So Davis doesn't believe in, like, any sort of religion you're saying?
No, he's a faith-based guy. I don't want to say he's a religious-based guy. That's a big difference.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
And
he just has a faith in a higher being, but he's not necessarily banking on the fact that we have a second life or something like that.
Or heaven or anything.
Right.
Like, I don't want to speak for him, but it's
right.
like once you die, you die.
Right.
And that's it.
That's what I kind of think.
And, like,
which is kind of dark, but it's like...
it makes perfect sense.
I like to be realistic.
Statistics. We have no proof of anything, and we're never going to have it, and we're not going to know until we get there.
You're not going to know until you get there.
And that's the whole thing. Like, if you want to believe what I just said, I'm not saying it's like I'm dying on that hill, but it's fun to think about. But, like, if that's not the case, in this one that we're here today, this is real, we're talking, this is real, you have to do everything in your power to get everything you want. Because you're not just going to...
Shouldn't you either way?
Yes, I agree. 100%. Because you got to get the best out of it, of what you can.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you're going to live a shitty life now? Because you're like, oh, what's that going on?
Yeah, right, exactly. Fuck that. I don't know, man. I'm kind of rambling now, but...
no, you're good.
I don't know. What were we talking about?
You were talking about your...
how do we get into religion?
You were talking about your view on, like, what you think. Like, we were talking about, like, subconscious mind, and you're talking about, like, what you think and, like, what happens after.
I don't know what I was saying, but subconscious mind, I think that it's...
You're kind of going into, like, just,
and, like, speaking it into existence...
your higher power. You're talking about reincarnation.
Speaking it into existence and, like, the law of attraction...
oh, that's what I was talking about, the breakfast.
And, like, so I think, like, this higher power, I think that everyone and all of it is tied together. Like, from dust we came and in dust we shall go, that biblical saying kind of a thing. I think I kind of believe in that one, and that we all are somewhat... connected up there, and like you speak into existence, you put it out there, something's hearing that, something's getting that, and it's coming back to you. But it's not going to happen without you putting in the effort.
You ever seen, I think it was on Netflix, Ascending...
that sounds super cheesy, but sorry.
No, you ever seen, probably not because it's a weird movie, Ascending Jupiter.
Oh, with...
I don't know who's with.
The handsome guy.
I don't know, give it a Google.
I know you're talking about.
My buddy told me to like watch it.
I've never seen it.
It's just all
Channing Tatum, yeah, and Mila Kunis.
He's in there.
Yeah, I knew he was the handsome guy.
So it's a sci-fi, 2015.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's just all about like, I could be.
Let's find out.
I could be misreading this, but it's basically like we are like their farm, and like okay, like these humans are like ready for harvest because they are. It's like these beings, like aliens almost. Like
yeah.
I don't know. There's got to be like another dude.
I believe in that.
We're on this fucking thing.
That's what I'm saying.
The Earth's an ant. Are you kidding me? Like
we're
nothing.
Sorry, people. We're nothing. And that's what I'm saying. Like there is so much fucking more out there than this little goddamn rock.
And at what point is there like, oh well, this is it? Like there's like the galaxy, but then there's like this is like we're
cutting it off here. Sorry, people.
So infinite, which is like the infinite intelligence. That's where we can circle back. Is subconscious is like if you can tap into the infinite. That's what it's called, the infinite intelligence. Infinite.
What do you mean by that?
That's kind of like your subconscious mind. Is like you can tap into like when you speak what you want and like you send out like the good high vibrations of like just abundance. Yeah. Then like you receive that, and that's like the infinite intelligence of like you can forever learn and you can forever like take in.
Yeah.
I forget which book I read it in. I've read like 4 or 5 books this year. So I read David Goggins' book.
Oh, that's how we got on all this. I asked you about your 5.
I said I'll get back to it.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
And so
I don't mean to interrupt.
I read David Goggins' book. You Can't Break Me, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, something like that.
And that was just phenomenal. He talks about his life story growing up.
I've only heard incredible things.
I think it's Can't Hurt Me.
Can't Hurt Me, yeah.
phenomenal book. Highly suggest it.
So I read Master Your Mind and Defy the Odds.
Great book, and it just talks about him as like a SEAL and like the things they went through.
His story's fucking crazy.
And so like that's another like.
Oh, he's got another one.
That's another book that I like read. I read it in his voice, which was sick.
I fuck with him a lot.
And so he was cool. I read that book this year. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
I love that book.
That's a phenomenal book.
That's one of my favorites.
That's probably that's top 5 for sure.
It's so true.
I read Green Lights this year. That wasn't. I mean,
that was just a good.
That's
book.
biography, somewhat personal development. You can learn like some like personal development
I had some takeaways
from. You can have some.
I liked his viewpoints.
He's got some takeaways in it for sure, and then it's just 6. It's Matthew McConaughey. So that's. I read those 3.
Talk about a story.
Think and Grow Rich. That's like the old ass book
halfway through that.
By
not Carnegie. Oh, that's a good one too.
No, that's I read that one. I read that one last year. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
I love that book.
I read that one last year.
Think and Grow Rich. God damn it, that's gonna drive me crazy.
I've read Jordan Belfort's The Art of Selling.
Napoleon Hill. That's right.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, old ass book, 1937.
Yeah, I didn't get an old one. I got a nice little paperback.
I got like the 11th or 12th.
I got a sick looking one.
Yeah, what else?
I'm trying to think what else I did.
I actually asked a buddy recently on Instagram about he posts books all the time. Sorry, go ahead.
Jocko Willink.
Oh, you read that?
I read that. What?
I have one of them. I have one of them.
What's it called?
It's the one like business principles and shit.
No, it's Extreme Ownership.
Yeah.
Phenomenal book. I read that one this year too.
I actually got that recommendation from.
They had that one. So like at first
from Andy.
At first form,
They probably give you that.
there's a library, and there's like
this one.
probably about like 15. Yeah,
I've got that.
There's probably about 15 to 20 books where they just like have like in the library. So they have like 15 different books, and then they probably have like 20, 30 copies of each book, and like you can like take it and put it back or like whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
Or like if you keep it like
of like books of like this.
So that's what like I got like 3 of the books. So they had Extreme Ownership just in there. So I got that.
You just nabbed it and took it home.
I still had it. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know. I didn't say where we could or I don't know. I did. I got that one.
But that's where you read it from.
That's what I read it from. And there was a couple ones. There's a couple more in there that I.
This book's intense. Extreme Ownership.
Great.
This book's
it just talks about like they were SEALs.
Yeah, and he gives like war stories.
And so it's basically like war stories mixed in with like.
And he was like a tactical leader.
Life lessons.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that I think this. So I put this in my top 5 for sure. Extreme Ownership, because that's self-discipline. Mm-hmm. So it's like taking ownership of like everything.
Talk about an animal.
Another great point. Oh, dude, an animal. You talk about a great point is just like anything that happens, whether it was because of you or it wasn't your fault. It's your responsibility to do what's next, to take ownership of it.
I love that.
So it talks about like ownership in like business of like.
I didn't finish it. I need to.
You didn't like it, or
I just did. I was reading it one summer, and then like I went on a trip and didn't bring it with me, and then I came back and like I don't know. I just never. I don't know. I literally read like half of it in like 4 days.
Do you stay with one book at a time?
Yeah,
I can't do that.
I do.
I mean, like that's why like I've probably read like 5, 6 somewhere books this year, but like I was kind of like always in them at like the same time and like got to them like together at the end.
Yeah. I was a big reader in grade school and middle school. I'd read like a book a week, kind of a thing. I was reading Harry Potter's in like 3rd grade, kind of a deal.
That's where I stuffed my money. I didn't read them, but I had like 1 through 6.
You literally
that's where like my love for like.
That's where I stuffed my money.
That's where my love for money started in the beginning.
So the Harry Potter books?
I had like 1 through 6, and I would just like stuff them with money. So like cutting like since I was like 11 or 12. Cutting grass, shoveling snow, scorekeeping,
cash money, baby.
Cash money, like cutting my grandma, whatever I was getting cash for. I did little stuff like stuff in my books.
My
mom's like, you can't have a couple $1,000s in your Harry Potter books. Someone's gonna steal it.
Why not,
Mom? Who the fuck's gonna be in my room at any given point?
Looking through my Harry Potter books.
Ever, nonetheless, like, I'm gonna just be in the Harry Potter books for his money. Thanks,
Let alone all 6 of them.
Let alone all 6 of them. I've always been good about saving money. People call me cheap. Some people call me frugal.
I like the word frugal. There's a huge.
I learned about that word a little bit ago, and I'm sticking with it.
There's a huge difference.
Like I'm not gonna. What's the most you've ever spent like on a night out?
Like dinner, or like at a bar.
At a bar.
Hundreds.
Like a couple hundred, like 2, 3,
Yeah, easy.
like more than once.
Yeah, easy. Actually, there was a time earlier this year, I've told this story a lot, that I went to, I was on a bender for like 2 months straight, where I went out every single weekend, at least.
Oh, that's the weekend. I thought you were about to say.
No.
I thought about to say 60 days straight.
At least once a week I was going out, and like most weekends I was going out Friday and Saturday to downtown. And there was
3 a.m.
Yeah, and there was a few times.
I hate going downtown because then you're up till 4 a.m. minimum.
There was one weekend where between Friday night and Saturday night I spent $460 at patios.
I ain't never done that. Most I ever spent is literally like within the last year. It was like $140.
It's still a good chunk of change.
Went to Helen Fitzgerald's.
Yep, that's easy. Down on Limburg.
Down on Limburg.
Oh my God, excuse me, sorry.
Just like 6 or 7 of us, or something like that.
I mean, you buy one round of shots.
Well, yeah. So
That's
I was
$40.
winning my sports bets that day,
Yo.
and so I'm like, this is
Tie it all back.
tie it all back. And so I'm like, I love car bombs. We're at Helen Fitzgerald's. I got us like 2 or 3 rounds of like car bombs.
I love car bombs.
And it was like one of the days Cardinals and Blues were on, which was sick. It was the day the Blues beat like the Wild like 9 to 1, like 9. No. It was like we beat the Wild like 9-1, or something like that. Some crazy thing. No, maybe.
Whatever, keep going.
I don't know. Anyway, so that was like the most I've ever spent, like on a night out, or not even a night out. It was kind of like a day. It was like 3 to 7.
That's
3 to
where
8.
it gets you, to the day drinking.
The day drinking, and so it was just like 140, and that's like the most I've ever spent. So because I'm not. Maybe it's a bad thing. Maybe it's like.
It's not a bad thing.
Well, no, it's just like
careful with money. You know the value of a dollar.
I know the value of a dollar, so it's like y'all might be my friends. Like I might kind of fuck with you, but like I'm not gonna spend like $40, $50, hundreds of dollars to like rip shots at you guys. So like you're not gonna remember, let alone like appreciate it. Right. Maybe you drunkenly appreciate it for like a second, but like you're not gonna care about. You're not gonna like think differently of me like the next day. Like if I didn't buy you like 2 shots, like the next day at the bar last night or the night you don't even remember.
That's kind of like selfishly. That's like not a reason, but like it's a factor of this podcast. Is like if I were to see you out at a bar, we would talk and we'd catch up. But like this, like what was this beer? Like $20, something like that.
Yeah, 13, 14.
Yeah, and this conversation is 1,000-fold whatever we'd have at a bar. And we're actually having a real conversation. Sure, we're still drinking, but we don't have to spend $100 just to talk to each other. Right. And it's still a genuine-ass conversation.
Yeah.
Which I fuck with a lot. And I feel like most people don't get the opportunity to have these conversations.
No, that's why I want to start a podcast.
It's fun, dude. It's so much fun. If you whatever you want to come back on, obviously I'm more than welcome. It's so much fun, dude.
We can structure it a little bit better next time.
We can have more.
I'll sit here until 4 or 5. Like, we'll keep going.
It's good, dude. I love it.
But, no. I don't
know.
Okay,
so you asked me that question, and, like, I just outed myself, but I spent those nights. But before that, the most money I'd ever spent was, like, maybe $100.
Yeah.
Because I've always been the broke college kid.
Right. So that's the thing is, like, I
worked at bars, and I got discounts at bars. Like, I was never dropping bands on bottle service or anything like that.
I never did that because it's like, I don't.
I'm good.
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
I love to have a good time, and I love to go out. But, like, I'm, like, literally even, like, last week for Thanksgiving, like, I had a bunch of friends in town, and, like, it was, like, Friday night, and it was after the whole week of Thanksgiving, and they're like, or Saturday night, whatever. And they're like, we're going out downtown. I was like,
That guy went out Saturday.
I'm not doing. I was like,
I went to patio Saturday.
I fucking love that place.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go out though, that's where I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go to a club and spend $20 on vodka water. I'm going somewhere that is like enjoyable in their space and I can talk to people.
So you don't like patios?
I love patios.
Oh, you do?
I'm not. I hate
during
like
the summertime maybe.
I hate like Wheelhouse and shit like that.
I hate it. I hate that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's not. You're just going out and getting fucked up and yelling at each other. It's not conversations. Yeah.
The thing I like about patios, I hope they don't listen to this. So they sell cans.
I don't know why they would. Yeah, keep going.
They might.
Who knows? One day.
A couple years later, I might get on TV for this, but
we're gonna get canceled.
We're gonna get canceled for. It's technically like stealing, I guess, but it's not stealing. It's unlawful, I guess. Since they sell cans, might as well just go to the gas station, buy a little 12er.
And walk in.
You and your buddies all have like 3 cans to start off the night.
Might as well.
Might as well.
Yeah.
$12, like $4. You know, save yourself like your first like $12 to $16.
$20.
$20.
With
Well,
tip,
because beers are $4, you give her $5, obviously.
Yeah.
So your first like 3-4 beers, you're saving $15-$20 off the rip.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm.
That's how
with
cheap
that.
I am.
No, dude. I mean, I'll take.
We've done that like the last like couple of times we went there. Just get like a little 12 or like selects or something.
Everywhere I go, I bring shooters.
Right.
Might as well.
Fuck.
And like this.
Patios has no cover. I love that.
It's so money. It's so money.
It's all like 18 to 20-year-old
I mean,
slew kids.
you want to say cheap, frugal? I don't give a fuck. I still sneak snacks into the movie.
I ain't been to a movie.
I love movies.
decade.
I love. I went to one by myself a few weeks ago.
By yourself.
Yeah, $5 Tuesday.
What movie is that?
Venom. It sucked.
No. What movie is that? It's with Seth Rogen.
He goes to a movie by himself.
Who? Well, no, it's not Seth Rogen, but it's the movie Seth Rogen's in, where he has the baby, like accidentally
Knocked up.
and so then it's like, the chick's sister, and then it's like, who's that actor?
Dude, I haven't seen that movie in so long. Let's find out.
And so then he was like, I went to the movie by myself just because I wanted to get away from like everybody, like
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. He was like, where were you at that one night when you said you were going to the concert? I went to the movie by myself. Why didn't you invite me? I just wanted to be like completely by myself. So that was you the other day.
You know, I literally sat in the corner by myself with a bucket of popcorn.
Sorry, I'm going to give a half pound of butter on this popcorn. And
Yeah.
I'm going to sit here and watch this movie.
It was
probably
incredible.
after like a bowl.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I love movies though. I love going to the movies. And like that's okay. There's frugality.
Who?
Like being frugal.
Oh.
There's like, but I will.
On myself, like I'll invest in myself.
And like
I'll give myself a. When did you learn? I don't know if it's a learn or like a lesson, but like, when did you maybe think of it like to go out to eat by yourself and not be like weird about it? Like, oh, look, I need to like have a buddy go like to eat with me.
I see what you're saying.
Not like McDonald's, like going to the drive-through, but like go to like
A nice
a
restaurant.
nicer like restaurant, not even like
A sit
nice,
down.
like a sit down like by yourself.
I don't know. I always went to Lion's Choice by myself in high school.
That doesn't count.
I know.
I'm talking about like Olive Garden or like
Yeah, so
somewhere where someone's waiting on you.
Actually-
you're sitting there by yourself.
I want to say when I moved out 2 years ago.
So not in college. You wouldn't do it in college.
No, I never did in college.
There was about,
Why do you ask?
because I was just gonna say like there was a point where I don't know if like I always felt like
I
I'd
have a
have
point
someone
about
to go
this.
with me, but it was
Yeah.
just like, fuck, like it's like a level of like growth of like just not giving a fuck, because it's like a stigma of like, oh, I'm not going out to eat by myself. Like
I agree. I know a lot of people have that. And like when I told people I
Yeah.
went and saw the movie, they're like, "Why the fuck would you do that?" I was like,
Right.
"I wanted to see the movie."
I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed my time alone. I enjoyed a nice meal by myself.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I can be extroverted, but I think I'm inherently introverted.
That's fair. That's
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
You're fine with yourself.
I'm fine.
I agree.
I
agree.
love some time to myself, and I feel like most people that are extroverts. Well, I mean, you can be like an extroverted businessman. Like Elon Musk is an introvert.
For sure.
You know, like a lot of very successful people are. And Andy is an introvert.
I gotta write this down. I like what we're talking about. When
You're good.
When I do these,
Right now, it's
yeah,
good.
so I can have
Little clips.
yes, 242.
That's what I was going to tell you. That's a big thing. Is little clips. Cut this part out, but yeah.
I didn't start doing it until I was by myself because I'm sorry to interrupt. When I moved out, I intentionally did not ask my friends to move in with me.
Here?
Yes. This is my first apartment. I lived at home. I graduated in May of 19. I lived at home, and I moved in here the weekend after New Year's 2020. And when I was looking for apartments, people were like, "Do you want a roommate?" My parents were like, "Why are you gonna live alone?" And like my whole thing was, and like my girlfriend, she was like, "Do you want to find a place together?" I was like, "I think I need to live on my own."
But she doesn't live here anymore.
No, she moved to Quincy in July, so I lived here for a year.
So it would have been like 6 months if she had lived with you.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, she moved in like about a
She
year.
did move in.
She moved in about a year ago, and then she was here until June, and then she moved to Quincy.
Yeah, she was here for 6 months.
But that year, quote 11 months, like that was when I like really started doing stuff on my own. Like I'd go get drinks by myself at just like wine bars up the road.
that's a little
I'd go to like an Italian place up the road by myself. I'd
You're
go
an
to lunch.
alcoholic. That's not okay. I'm just kidding.
Like I started doing that and
No,
like
but
sitting
like
down.
if that makes you happy. Like if you're like, that's another big thing that probably the last like, I probably learned to like not really truly give a fuck about like, I don't know, like my junior year maybe.
You have to stop.
Like my third
year.
Subtle
Subtle art of not get. You can't give.
I didn't read that. I read that like this year, but like I wish
I read it like I read it like a year or two ago. Yeah.
But like realizing, okay, like I'm hungry. I want Italian food. I'm gonna go to this place.
If no one wants to get it, I'm gonna go get it.
Like, well, I mean, sometimes I'd ask, but otherwise I might ask like my roommate. So remember you met from St. Richard, the two black twins that are on my basketball team?
Yeah.
Isaac and his brother Isaiah, twins.
I do remember them.
It's like Isaac was my roommate.
It's funny that I remember that.
So I went to Creighton for a year. Isaac went to Missouri S&T for like a year and a half or 2 years. And then I guess his third year, he came to Missouri State. And we lived together like our last 3 years.
Okay.
Third, fourth, and fifth year.
Okay.
But like maybe I'll ask him. But like other than that, it's like, okay, I want Italian food. I'm gonna go there. I'd bring like my little notebook with me. I got a little notebook about this big and like
pocket size.
Have like a little brainstorming session with myself.
No, I love that.
Whatever idea like I might be having at the moment.
So 2 things off of that. If I want to do anything, so I'll go on the first point. You have to stop giving a fuck because it's like I hate tying it all. Like selfishly, I hate tying it all back to this podcast. But like you can't wait on anybody to do something. And if you're gonna wait, like even if it's going out to dinner, like fucking, thank you. even if it's going to like fucking Red Robin and you haven't been to Red Robin in 10 years and you really want Red Robin,
I want some bottomless fucking French fries.
Go buy like you can't wait on your buddies. Just go do it. And like that was my biggest thing. It was like, and so the next point I had was I made it a point. It was some podcast. It was 3 no's. Actually, it was my first sales job. It was 3 no's. And it was like when I was selling shit, it was like
friends and influence people make something.
It was you ask a question and like you don't end the call, and go for the these were good you don't end the call until you get 3 no's. And I started to apply that to shit that I wanted to do. And like going back to college, like I would ask like roommates. I would ask 3 people, and if someone wouldn't go in with me and those 3 people, then I'd do it. If I got 3 no's, then I was doing it by myself. And that's like how I've done like living here. Like if I want to go watch a game or like go get this fucking food,
watching Font soccer
or what? Yeah, exactly. Go to a CBC high school football game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Whatever. Like if I get 3 no's, I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'm going by myself. I asked 3 people.
Like you want to do it, you're gonna ask people to do it with you, but like if these 3 people say no, it's like, oh, well, I'm not going to do this thing I want to do now because I have to do it myself.
Right, but you can't wait for those people.
It's the power of like, no, I want to do this, so
I'm gonna do it.
I want to go watch this football game, so I'm going to go watch this football game because it's going to make me happy.
Yeah, and it's just like...
I love that, like, I came
and you've learned so much about yourself.
I love that I came to that, like, perspective of, like, I love being by myself.
I do too. You got to enjoy your own company. If you can't enjoy your own company, you're not going to enjoy no one else's company.
Because then, like, that means you're just not happy. Like, yeah, you got to be able to sit good with your own thoughts.
Exactly. And like, if you go out and like you sit in there, you're like, what do I do? How do I talk? Then you start thinking. You're like,
I hate going out.
You come up with your own thoughts. You start writing stuff down.
Yeah.
That's when like the creativity really sparks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hate going out.
I like seeing people.
That's like.
I don't like going out.
You took the words out of my mouth. I like seeing people.
If people are in town, I'm going to go out with you. But I'm not going to go out tonight.
You go to patios, you're going to see people.
Right. But I'm not just going to go out just to go out.
Yeah.
I need a reason to.
I might go out.
I think I'm going out tonight.
I've been probably. I've been like worse about it.
4 beers deep and it's 2:45.
I've been worse about it. IPAs too, so it's like double.
Yeah.
I've been worse about it lately, but like I guess maybe because it was somewhat of the pandemic, but like just like I don't even care. I was just on my grind, like making my money, and I'm like I don't even. It's like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock on a Friday. I'm doing it some Instacart still, or like on a Saturday night. And I'm like,
fuck it.
It's like it was. I like every time I pulled to Costco at like 6 o'clock, like on a Friday or Saturday. And it's like, okay, like 2 years ago, I'm just already probably like drinking some Bud Lights, getting ready to go out like in college. And it's just like the perspective change of like, I'm not in college anymore. It's like, I don't need, like, what am I doing getting drunk?
Right.
I start drinking at like 5 or 6,
right.
like every Friday, Saturday. Like,
and that's when it takes its toll on you. And it's crazy how going back to college, like, I mean, let's call it when you're 21.
That's terrible. Don't try this.
Think while it's still legal. I love that shirt.
I was waiting for you to say something.
I just now noticed.
We're 2 hours, 47 minutes in, and I've been waiting for Jack to mention. Oh, fucking A, I just broke it.
248. No, you didn't. It's just a little clip thing.
Just a little clip. What's
Snap. Yeah. The other way. 248.
So we're 248 in, and Jack just noticed my shirt.
Think while it's still legal.
Think while it's still legal.
I fucking love that.
I've been waiting to dive into this topic for the last 2 hours and 45 minutes.
You wanna keep going?
Are you vaccinated? We're going. What do you mean, are we going?
Oh, okay, I'm good to keep going. I gotta pee, though.
Oh, okay. We're talking about, okay, we know where we're at.
Yeah, and I can cut this. You gotta pee?
I can take a piss.
Sorry, you can go up here. No, I want to talk about that. That was one of the things that I written down. It's fucking hilarious. I just now noticed that. All right, almost 3 hours in, I just now noticed your shirt. Think while it's still legal.
That means you're not very well aware of your surroundings. I'm a little disappointed. So, are you vaccinated?
Vaccinated?
Not that I care.
I don't care either. I am vaccinated strictly for I believe in vaccinations. I don't believe in these mandates. I believe the vaccinations work, like flu shot.
Yeah, I don't.
Smallpox,
I don't
chickenpox.
think we can compare any of those to this.
That's what I'm saying. I believe in medicine and vaccinations, and I got this one. I don't want to say it's because of this, but internally I was like, I don't want to wear a mask, and I don't want to have to deal with not being able to travel or going to like sports events. And when I heard that it was like you're either vaccinated or you don't get in, I'm a healthy guy. I take care of my body. I work out. I eat right. I get vitamins. I was like, I'm probably going to be fine. So I did it. Are you?
You said you didn't?
I did. I got it.
But you just said how you're young and you're healthy and you don't.
But like all the like side effects, I don't do research. Side effects. I was like, none of that's going to affect me, but I'm going to get it so that I can just go about my life. I don't want to be told no that I can't go in somewhere because I didn't do it. But I respect people that aren't for that exact reason. I don't believe in these fucking mandates. I think it's such fucking bullshit. I have a T-shirt that says "vaccinated and ready to commit tax fraud."
So
I should have wore that.
Do you believe that this just came to be out of random? Like some fucking
the disease,
in China and the blah 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 blah.
I think that it came from the lab. I don't want to say that the lab made it, but the lab was a COVID lab. They were testing and actively doing stuff with COVID.
You know who funded that lab in China?
Did we?
Huh?
Did we? Was it the CDC?
Fauci.
Yeah. So like that stuff, I don't want to say.
He gave money to the lab, to which said COVID-19 strain was leaked.
So I.
You know China's like the motherfucker of Earth, right?
Yeah. I don't want to say that it was intentionally leaked. I don't want to say that, but it's 100%. I 100% believe that it's from there, and that it started there. And I don't want to say I believe, but I'm hard pressed not to believe that it didn't get leaked, come out, carried by somebody, whatever, and that all this shit that's going on, this media shit, this Pfizer shit, this healthcare shit, I'm hard pressed not to believe that they didn't take full advantage and just run with it.
I think they created it so that they could do what they're doing.
Okay, keep going.
I mean, Fauci.
I love this shit. I've heard Fauci's kind of an asshole. And then he's like always wanted to be famous.
Imagine you were in a fraternity.
Yeah. I'm not saying Fauci's a doctor. He's a smart guy.
Right.
He knows his shit. I'm not.
Something, but he's getting paid to say things.
Right.
And if
Did you see that shit about Biden the other day?
the one where wasn't wearing a mask in the store? Or?
Well, like, right, which one? He
No, literally.
it was like a press conference or a fucking hearing. I don't know the terms. But he was talking, and he was like, I see Fauci more than my own wife. And, like, who's president? Fauci. And he just was like, ha, but no, seriously. And I was like, wait a minute. You don't just say that. So keep going.
So, yeah, if he paid, I forget, so if he funded the lab that.
And because he's been head of the
virology or
FAIA, like it's like the Institute of Vaccinations and like Disease Studies or something
like that.
Since like the mid '80s,
which is weird. So that's what I was getting at too. That's what I was saying about fraternities is like, So think about fraternities, small scale, but think about the government. It's kind of like the good old boys club.
100%. That's exactly what it is.
And in a fraternity, like if you're the president or like you have like the decision rules, you do whatever the fuck you want.
Yep.
And that's more or less what the government
is doing. It's 100%
doing.
what it is. A bunch of old whites.
As long as we take care of our good old boys in the club, then, like, who gives a fuck about all these people that aren't in the fraternity?
As long as we have these powerhouse billionaires still funding us.
Like, think about taxes. Like, that's just like them, like, we're just giving them money just because.
And then they just printed $4 trillion in, like, 8 months or something like that.
We never even touched crypto. But anyway.
Episode 2.
Well, I mean, depends when you want to cut off. But, so if Fauci paid.
I could also cut this into 2 episodes.
I don't know.
Keep going.
So if Fauci paid the lab in China for like funding of like.
I love these conversations.
COVID research.
Yeah. Because that's what it was. It was a COVID lab.
How smart is it not to just like, oh yeah, it was this bat in China. That way, we're gonna blame the bat in China. Like, no, it gives like the human brain like
the scapegoat.
It's a scapegoat.
The bat bit somebody. It was bat soup.
I'll admit, I was scared for the first I live with my mom and my grandma, and so like I was scared.
100%.
I was like very worried for like the first weeks or months. Or
it's an unknown disease. That's
a month 1 or 2 or 3 of just like okay, like I like wouldn't breathe around my grandma. I'd be like hold my breath and like. Bye, and then just like walk
That's what I'm saying about the vaccinations. Like for people like that, you should probably get it.
Right.
Because it's not a spreading thing. It's an internal immunization thing. It's your body fighting against it.
It's the first ever vaccine to be like having like it's mRNA, which is like your DNA, and so it literally changes your DNA. You've heard like the people who like get vaccinated and they have the myocarditis, like the heart inflammation.
Yeah.
Like
dude, the vaccine fucked me up. It fucked me up way harder than actual COVID.
So, like, that's like the weird thing. It literally, like, kind of saddens me is, like, at this point, we are 2 years in.
Yeah, 2 years and 3 months. In 3 months, it'll be 2 years.
Right. But, I mean, I'm saying, like, the
virus COVID started about 2 years ago.
That's my point. Is like, the virus itself was about 2 years old.
Right.
If it was that deadly, if it was that serious, if it was that killer, shouldn't everybody that's not vaccinated just be dead by now?
If they were studying that shit and they would have known it was this deadly, they probably would have been working on vaccines.
But I'm saying if it was that serious, like the way they're pushing it, like how serious, like that you need to. Mm-hmm. You can get $6 Schnucks rewards points for getting vaccinated. You get a free donut. You get vaccinated. You can win a lottery if you get vaccinated.
Dude.
Like what? Like the million. So people are like, it's all. I'll post on my story like, it's all about money, and like people are like, what do you mean it's free? Like, what do you mean it's about money? I'm like,
government paid for it.
Bill Gates is making billions of dollars off of like the Pfizer vaccine.
Did you see that stat the other day? It's J&J, Pfizer, and Moderna that have the vaccines, right? Those are the three. So I think it's Moderna that they're.
That one. That's terrible.
I'll drink it.
It's so bad. It's the highest alcohol, but I don't even know what it is. It's terrible. I don't enjoy it at all.
I think I like this one the most.
I liked
This one
I
was-
liked all of them, honestly. I liked all
too.
three of those.
For a light beer,
this
this
is the
was
light
good.
one.
Yeah.
That was like Bud Light. It was like a 4.
Yeah, this was good. I liked them all. This one I don't need to have again.
That was a 4. This is literally less than Bud Light, but I really enjoyed it. They're both good.
Dude, there was this statistic that Moderna, or don't quote me. One of the three, their quarterly earnings for when the vaccine came out was like $834 million,
Quarter.
something like that.
Right.
Or maybe it was the yearly earnings from 2020. I don't know.
So it's free to get the vaccine, right?
Don't quote me on any of
But
this.
the government pays Pfizer.
They're 800. So if it's $834 million, 800 again, don't quote me, but like 830 of that 834 were from vaccine payments from the government.
Right.
And like you hear that, and
Think about the millions that they're spending on like the marketing. I mean, they say like, yeah, it's your flu shot, but like they're not
pushing it.
like that's just like your local Schnucks or Walgreens.
I haven't gotten my flu shot in fucking 10 years, and I have not heard one thing come after me.
Flu shot.
I got it for sports for fucking.
Yeah, maybe in high school.
Well, what are those things
I don't know
called?
if we had to.
I got whatever shots you had to get
my uncle's a doctor.
for
so
physicals.
My uncle just signed
Yeah,
off on it.
whatever you needed for
I got
physical.
one freshman year, and he just did it the rest of the years.
And like that was that, and like I never acted because like
Sue me.
so going back to the fucking donut thing, this fucking thing, and like it's all come out that like the people that are doing fine are the people that take
Eating
care,
healthy and
Yes.
exercising.
Taking vitamins, taking care of their fucking shit, and then you go and get a vaccine. You're given a free goddamn Krispy Kreme donut.
And you don't know what's in the vaccine.
Are you
don't
shitting
know,
me?
You don't know anything about what's in there.
Are you fucking shitting me?
I don't like eating McDonald's hamburgers because I'm kind of skeptical of what's in that meat.
Dude, I could
But
not
like, I don't want
believe
some
that.
random thing being injected into my blood that I do not know
And
what
something
is in
that-
there.
something
All
that-
you know is that it is safe and effective, and that is what you need to do to save your friends and your family, and it's just the right thing to do. So get vaccinated.
And something that I find funny.
You saw.
No, yeah, go ahead.
How can I?
yeah.
Oh, is this that? Oh,
There you go. So now you can type there. Something that I find funny is, and like I can't because I'm an idiot, so I can't speak medically, but I think it is hilarious that all the people that are being forced to let go because of these vaccines are nurses.
who were already in,
Yeah.
like, already on like the front lines
There are- yeah.
for a year before the vaccine came out, and they were fine.
I want to
They lived.
let the record show we are both pro nurse. Nurses, you should get paid way more than you do.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude,
But it is
travel
insane.
nurses are not even travel nurses.
Nice.
I know some travel nurses, and I know a nurse that like,
My stepsister's a travel nurse.
but I know a girl who's a nurse that like just works at Mercy, stays here, but like overtime shifts, and you get like $100 an hour. You're making $1,200 like a 12-hour like overtime shift.
But they got to deal with this shit.
I don't know where the video is.
And like all their thank you was like a pizza party.
And I think the thing that like, so my uncle's like he's a hospitalist, so he's like the guy that walks around.
I like
the
how you
hospital.
really work in this thing. No one's ever done that. Everyone just kind of leaves it where it is. I like that you're adjusting it to where you need it to be.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out a comfortable spot. But my
you
uncle's
do
a
you.
hospitalist, so he like walks around the hospital, and he's like the guy who like, oh, like how you doing today? Okay, and move on to the next room.
You can use this if you want.
And so he's like super.
Yeah, it's there you go.
Okay, so
This is the left screen. This is the right screen.
so he's like super, just like you should get vaccinated just because it's like. Let me see if this is it. Because like. Is it paused? So point being is that like. I kind of feel bad because like healthcare work. So like death is, I've had some multiple DM arguments with people who are like, just get vaccinated and we'll get back to normal. But like that's not the case at all.
Your
Yeah.
fucking shirt.
Well, it's still like this isn't. So that's getting back to like why it was just all manufactured. That's why I don't think it just like randomly happened is because like Fauci's funding this lab in China, who China is like basically big brother of Earth, and so it just happened to happen in an election.
They own everything.
It happened to happen in an election year where they didn't want Donald Trump to like be in there. It's like, okay, we have to make him look as bad as possible. Like, well, Okay, no. So I'll go.
And wasn't
I'll go this route. So they had to manufacture. Like they're smart. They're these people that are like doing.
These are billion-dollar industries.
Like the Rothschilds. You heard of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So most people don't know who the Rothschilds are.
Look that one up.
Look that one up. But
you don't talk about dark state.
Yeah, but they're smart. They're calculated, and they know like okay, like we need to produce something.
These aren't just Joe Schmoes.
These aren't just Joe Schmoes.
These are the elites.
They are scumbags, but they are the elites of the world. And they know, okay, we need to create something that'll somehow create a crisis to where we can have mail-in voting for this upcoming election. Okay, we have this virus. We can release.
We need polarizing events.
They're smart. They knew what they were doing. So that's why I think it is all manufactured, and it's all like it's very calculated what is all going on. It's not by random. It's not. They probably had this virus for a little bit, but like. They're just waiting till they needed to kind of.
This could have been a 2016 thing.
And I think it's kind of like almost like with a technological revolution of like, okay, people are getting to like a certain point where like we can't really the government loves control. They love, and like with the internet.
I'm pro freedom. I am so pro freedom.
That's all it's about.
And that's like the cornerstone.
That's what they're taking us away.
That's the cornerstone of our country. I don't care what you unless you're killing people. I don't care, and like unless you're like a pedophile or like scheming money. I don't care what your beliefs are, but that's like the whole thing. Like, if you want to get vaccinated, get fucking vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated. You shouldn't be forced to have to do this shit. You shouldn't, like, I don't want to say I was ashamed, but like, I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this just so I can maybe go to a Cardinals game. You know?
You don't have to get it for Cardinals games.
But like, when I got it, like, that was the thought process. Yeah. I was like, I can't believe this is what I'm believing right now.
But like that's just a shitty.
I know.
I don't know if I feel bad for you.
I know,
like,
but that's
that way. But it's like
I don't want to say I'm ashamed, but it's like almost to that level where it's like I can't believe this is like
you succumb to like
almost
like you got played.
Yeah, I'm done, dude. I'm done. I'm done with the masks. I'm done with the vaccine.
I haven't worn one in like.
I don't either. I'm not getting boosters.
You go to Schnucks and like it says, it's required. You walk in there. Zero people say anything to you.
I don't.
What I love since I've been working in the grocery stores the last like 2 years, basically since it started, like when it for like last summer, like the Karens that were just like, dude.
I've yet to have an experience like that.
People loved
They love the instigation.
No, they loved the authority of just like I can tell you like
I
have a right to like tell you to put your mask on. Like it's for our safety. Like put your mask on. I reffed basketball at my grade school.
Dude,
did you ever play at St. Richard? You probably did. Small ass gym. Probably. It's like small.
Where is it?
No, we probably played at St. Monica because that was our home gym. It's Lindbergh and Schutz.
That's
like,
St. Monica?
Like Lindbergh and Olive. You know where that AMC 12 is?
Yeah.
Like
is that St. Monica?
No, St. Richard.
Which one are you saying that I would have played at?
St. Monica. That's at 270 and Olive.
Okay, so for sure.
But because we played in middle school, so it would have been there.
For sure.
Because we moved to there, so that's like a bigger gym.
Okay, keep going. I don't know. You asked me about basketball and reffing basketball. And masks, going to Schnucks.
Oh, masks. So I reffed basketball this past year.
Yeah.
And so we had to wear masks while we reffed this year. And we had these little beepers that like were our whistles. Like so it wasn't
so you didn't have to do a fucking
so we didn't have to blow a whistle. It was just like a little button that like produced like a whistle noise. And so anyway, like first game of the year.
Was this like
this is 2021.
Like February, January.
So this will be first week of CYC is like the second week of January 2021. So like almost a year after like COVID has been a thing. First game of the year is like some girls' game, and like these girls are playing out there, like 5th grade girls, and they're playing out there and like they're wearing their masks or whatever, and like it falls like below their chin, or like some girls were just like would wear it like on their chin,
so they could breathe through their nose,
so they could fucking breathe. Like you're
exercise.
And so anyway,
I felt so, dude. Every time I'm sorry to interrupt. I get
frustrated.
I've seen like just Instagram videos of like high school basketball highlights of some top 100 kid, and
Bronny's
they like the kids are just like wearing masks. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah, bro. Bronny in his league, Bronny James Jr. Like his little highlight.
Yeah.
The other night, like he's playing, he's just got his mask like down here, like.
And you want to go to this Biden shit and like how he's like wearing a mask on the sidewalk, and then he walks up to like a group of people to like answer questions. He just takes it off. I'm like,
right.
What are we supposed to do here, man? I don't know. But something else.
Where's I going?
I don't know about mass reffing.
Oh, reffing. And this mom just
Karen.
Karen.
Yeah.
Like, just at a 5th grade girls basketball game. And, like, the girl, like, was wearing her mask, like, below her chin because she didn't want to wear it, obviously. And this mom was like, I'm, like, back, like, my back, like, I'm, like, right there, like, up against the bleachers. And she's, like, right behind me. And she's, like...
Chirping.
And she's just, like, yelling at this, like, girl on the, like, the other team. Like, not her, like, kids team, but, like, the other team, like...
Another 10-year-old
Like, another, like, 10-year-old girl, like, put your mask on, put your mask on, put your mask on. And she's like, ref, tell her to put her mask on. And, like, I was going to wait till, like, you know, like, a stoppage and play to, like, hey, like, put your mask on. But she's just, like, irate.
Jesus,
like,
fuck, dude.
Like, put your mask on, put your
and
mask on.
that was her little power trip.
I turn around, I'm like, you got to stop watching CNN. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, you got to stop watching the news. Like,
you got to chill.
You got to chill.
These are 10-year-old girls playing
And,
sport.
bro, like, that was, like, so it was, like, a St. Richard mom. Mm-hmm. So, like, I had that, like, 5 more times that year, like, when her kid played. Like, she was just, like, that mom in the stands.
Jesus, fuck.
And it happened a couple other times, like, different teams of, like, parents just, like, for the, like, she was, like, crying. She's like, for the safety of my kid, can you please tell her to put her mask on? It's like, these kids, well, granted, I would say, like, 0 to, like, I mean, babies, but, like, 5 to, like, 25, you're, like, so solid in health. Like,
the
it's
statistics,
ridiculous.
again.
You're getting a vaccine if you don't know what it's about, but, like, 99 point a lot percentage, like, you're going to be fine. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got your vaccine, but, like, if it's that serious, as they say it is, why am I not dead? And if I'm, like, if it's not that serious, then why should you have even gotten it if, like, it really isn't that serious?
And so if it's not that serious, something that's so hard.
It's all about control and money.
Something that's so heartbreaking is that during this whole fucking time, my girlfriend's grandma, like right before, like literally.
Oh, that's another good point I can make.
Like literally right before COVID happened, like point. Let's say like around about this time, before COVID started, they moved her. She sold her condo and moved home from the lake. She lived at the lake full time, and she moved home and she lived with my girlfriend and her mom. That kind of a deal for like 2 months while she was on the waiting line for this retirement community. And then she moved into the retirement community and then COVID happened. And she was not allowed to leave her room. The only time she was allowed to leave her room was when after they placed her food for the day on the ground, and they would, same shit, they'd have a buzzer, they'd beep her, and that's when she was allowed to open her door and take the food. And this 80-year-old woman wasn't allowed to converse or talk to anyone for like 7 weeks or 11 weeks or something like that. Couldn't leave her fucking room. You're taking that away from somebody?
So, like, it's so sad when you think about it.
It's horrible, dude. It
and
made me
like,
want to cry.
And so I think that's where I was getting to is, like, the two sides. Like, we're 2 years in, like...
And she's as healthy as an ox.
People either...
Sure, she's 85, but she's healthy as an ox.
My grandma's 88, 87. She's healthy as an ox. Cut the grass yesterday for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, she goes on walks, whatever.
It's December. You don't need to cut your grass. But, just like it's been 2 years and there's two sides. It's like you either get that like this is all like a big old thing to like push communism and like overreach and like they're talking about like okay so like yeah you can get a fake card and like you can still do what you want but like okay now they're talking about like okay, there's gonna be like a database and like you can't fake it and like it's always just gonna be like a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And it's funny. So like I got into it with this one girl and. In the DMs, and she happened to be Jewish because I posted. So I reposted this thing one time where it was like, slavery was legal, segregation was like legal, the Holocaust was legal. She's like, how are you gonna compare this to the Holocaust? Like there was like 5 or 6 million like Jews that like were rounded up and killed, and it's like. I wasn't really like comparing it. Like
you can't.
It's not like
it's not a comparison.
It's not a comparison. It's just like yeah, I'm sorry like that happened, but it's like my point wasn't like okay, this is just like this is as bad or like the point
at that time and what they were doing. The people were like the government's saying this, so we're gonna take this
right.
And like
the point being is that like it was legal. Mm-hmm. It wasn't. She got in like a big old thing and like she made me like about.
Obviously, we know today that that shit's bad.
It's bad. But like my point wasn't like okay, this is just it. Like 6 million people haven't been rounded up and killed, but it was just like. Point being is like it was legal what they did. Mm-hmm. What's happening now is legal, and now we're finding out like if you're going along with what's happening, then like you like basically might as well have complied back then.
Have you been seeing this shit about these like volunteer quarantine camps
in Australia?
There's another one somewhere else, and they've got like barbed wire fence. Oh, dude, the shit that's going on.
I seen it a couple months ago.
Is fucking crazy.
This is my
That's
point.
a fucking
and I told her, I'm like, okay, well, we're not there yet.
Wow.
It's just like, but she's but like, no, I can't use that as a pun. But she was a big COVID advocate since it like started. Just like, you can't leave the house, like blah blah blah, like talking. Like, it's my old roommate.
You're gonna take our humanity away. Like that was my whole thing. It's like, you can't lock me up in this fucking home.
That's the point. We're reaching a point of like. Did you see the Bill Gates clip of his TED Talk?
Like 10 years ago or something like that.
Where he was like, he's on the.
I know
he's
exactly.
He's on the board.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The board of population control.
Yeah.
And he said in a TED Talk, well,
he was talking about some pandemic that was coming.
If we do a good job with healthcare and vaccines, we can lower the population by 10 to 15%. What? What?
Excuse me?
And okay, so he was talking about, like, I think he was saying like we're about 6 billion right now, and like we're projected to be about 8 to 9 million by blah blah blah. But if we do a good job with healthcare and vaccines, we can cut that number by 10 to 15%. What?
It's 30 million people of the U.S.
Oh, well, you have the U.S., but you're talking about 6 billion people, 10%, 600 million people.
Oh, well, it's probably 700 million now.
We're talking about, so, let me produce something where we could do a good job with healthcare and vaccines, and therefore we have people forced. I wouldn't say scared. I'm a little bit, I'm anxious about what is to be in the next couple of years.
I totally agree with you, because this whole shit, dude, it's like as corny and as cliche as it is, say like, where does it end? But like at the same time,
when we stand up,
when
we say no more.
Yeah, and I don't know
But it's just like the point of like the two sides. You either think that you're on like, I'm gonna say the left, or like you got vaccinated, or like,
I don't give a shit if you're on the left and right.
No, I don't care about that either. But it's just like people either think like, okay, this is still serious, just like put your mask on. Like people still think this. People drive in their cars by themselves. People still
with their fucking mask.
At this point, if anybody's wearing a mask, vaccinated or not vaccinated, you're just like, you're being played still. Like you still like.
And like, okay, that was what I was gonna say. It's like,
it's personal choice. Like I feel safe with my mask on. I mean, I guess that's fine, but it's like you're being played.
And then like
they don't work.
Like to like right now, all this shit they're coming out with like whether it's a mandate or a booster, or you're gonna need 6 boosters or 2 boosters, whatever.
Infinite.
And like it started out like last year, it was like, well,
2 weeks to slow the spread.
Now you have to wear 2 masks. And then like 3 months later it came out, I was like, well, that was fucking nonsense. And the whole shit about staying 6 feet apart from everybody.
You saw that report where it was bullshit?
There was never anything.
No, like a couple months ago I saw something where it's like, it was just made up.
It was just like a number that we just agreed upon. And it was like, what the fuck are we doing here, people?
Bro, they shut down like parks. Like you couldn't go walk out. Think about like the contraction, like just how well it works. Like,
bro, have you been to the zoo recently?
No.
You have to have a reservation at the zoo, and they have like a check-in point outside of the zoo. A zoo is outdoors.
What are they checking?
Like you have to have a check-in thing online with like who's going and when you're going.
Or something like that,
you don't have to have a vaccination.
That's what I was getting into. I don't support the Blues anymore.
Because of the vaccination. I went to a game.
I don't support it.
I went to a game a few weeks ago, and I had to prove my vaccination
That's
thing.
my point. But so like,
or it's a negative test. But the whole negative test thing.
But it's the principle.
Yes, I agree.
I don't support it. I on the ESPN app, I've taken them off my favorites. I don't follow them anymore.
So one thing,
I'll like if they're on and the boys are watching them. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna like look at the like not watch the game, but like
I love sports. You love
I don't fuck
competition.
with them anymore.
But one thing, so like going back to China, like they're the big brother of everything, and something that they've had just as a society for the past.
We're their bitch. We're trillions of dollars in debt to them.
But everyone is their bitch. Like by 2050, this is the world of China. Sorry, people. But it's like, I don't know if it's the past 20 years or 50 years or 100 years or whatever, but it's just been a societal thing where if you're sick, like let alone COVID, if you have the flu, if you have a fever, if you have a cough, if you're sneezing, whatever, like you stay home.
Yeah.
And if you have to go to the store and like you've got a fever and you're coughing a bunch, you just put a mask on just for the sake of other people. And it's not that other people had to wear a mask. It's just so that you don't spread whatever the fuck you got going on then and there. And I totally I'm not saying wear a mask if you're fucking got allergies. And I don't.
No one ever before wore masks. I think in China they wore masks because the air was just so bad.
That's another thing. But like,
always done
it's
that.
like, okay, sure, do that, but we don't have to fucking. If you're healthy and like we are not. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but like we're not the majority of the people that are dying, getting sick. Why is this all on us?
I don't know the statistic, but
I don't know, Dick. I'm such an idiot.
I don't know I don't know the number, but it was just like everyone that's dying was either like had like some COVID or obesity, like they were just like already like had diabetes, or like they were already like
all the underlying conditions.
They were already. Bro, I mean, I don't know if it was true, but like it was like a rumor, but like you die in a car accident, but like
if it was COVID.
It was COVID.
If
like,
you had a COVID, you died from COVID.
So that's the other thing is like the testing.
Oh, the hospitals were getting paid for COVID deaths.
That's the other fucked up part.
Yeah.
That's why this is all just a fucking game with the elites. It sounds so conspiracy because like who wants to believe it? Who wants to believe it?
The U.S. like as a system is kind of broken right now.
Right.
It's
a man with dementia is our president.
Something's gonna happen.
A stolen election and a man with dementia is our president.
Something's gonna happen real soon, and it's going back years.
That's what I'm saying. I'm anxious about like the next couple of years for sure.
And like going into crypto and like the U.S. dollar.
We hadn't got into crypto yet.
And like it's again cliche, but there's like a whole thing with like the average age of an empire is like 250 years.
We're pushing
and
250 right now.
We're arguably an empire.
We're because it was 1776.
Yeah.
Where it's literally 250 years.
It's like 15 years that like technically our empire will crumble, and it'll.
No, 25, 76 to 26, 24, or 20,
sure. I don't know the year. Like it could be 200 years, 220, 270. I don't know the year, but like it's like. It's about the age of our country where like empires crumble, and we're
pushing it. Let's see what this one. Go back. Oh, volume. My bad. I got you.
Hang on. I love having these conversations though, because people don't hear this kind of stuff, and this is like as genuine as it gets, and like this is just like people talking.
Right. So that's like another thing is
like we're not proving points or like convincing people. Like this is just us.
This is us
talking about shit.
This is how we feel. But that's the other thing is like they don't the amount of like censorship. Like so, I've noticed on my stories.
You follow Tim Kennedy?
No.
MMA guy, whatever. Sorry.
So if you post like when I repost something from like Small, you see I repost
the fucking
Ian Smith.
Yeah, it like says, do you want to see this post or whatever?
Well, it says like that, but it also like anytime like I post like repost something from like somebody like Ian Smith who like talks about like something that's bullshit about COVID, then like my like views on like my stories goes down like
that's crazy.
Tremendously like
they'll put your story at the back of 100.
Like if I get like 500 views like a story or something like that, like I repost something, I might get like 100 or like 75.
That's crazy.
Because I noticed it because like I reposted something like the other day,
and it just
and now like I'm getting like 100 views like on my stories instead of like 500 or 600 or like whatever it may be.
You wanna watch this?
Yeah.
So please get vaccinated as soon as possible to America.
It's just such a clown act. It blows my mind.
Get vaccinated. Get vaccinated.
Uh-oh, it's still going. Oh, we're printing it now.
There we go. But it's for like
he's just there. I mean,
it
sounds conspiracy adjacent because it's just like, well, that's such a crazy thing for you to think that they just like produced a virus that was a global pandemic during an election year and arguably the greatest country in the world so that they could have a certain person in
it sounds ridiculous.
It sounds ridiculous, like a certain person in the presidency who really, he's just a puppet. He's not making jack shit of decisions. He's not there.
Every president is. Every president's a little puppet.
Yeah.
Well, okay, keep going. I've got something to say.
Yeah. But like every I'd say him more than ever. I mean, granted, I wasn't alive back then, but like He's just 80? He is just doing what he is being told to say. He's not making decisions about shit.
I don't care. Okay, so my point is, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you've been in politics for 60 years. You should, and like even if like Trump is to rerun, no one like there needs to be an age limit because it's like scientifically proven that after like you hit your peak of like development at like 24 with like the hippocampus and all that, and there's like a scientifically proven point where you have a decline. And, like, we can't have people say what you want about this guy or Trump. I don't care. But we have to have a point where, like, we can't have people that are 85 being president.
No.
Would you want your grandparents being president?
That's what they were saying was, like,
No, I love you, Grandma. I love you, Grandma. But, like, dude.
Running for president, like, it's...
Have you seen those before and after pictures of Obama in his 8 years?
No.
He, like, started presidency at, like, I don't know, whatever. Like, let's say 50.
47.
Let's say 50, and he ended at 58 because he did 2 terms. He went in, like, let's say he was 50. He went in looking like he was 40, and he came out looking like he was 75. Yeah. And, like, we don't need to put that on someone like this.
We need, like, Sean McVay.
We need, like, yeah, exactly. It was like a get-back.
We need, like, the youngest president, like, ever. It's probably going to be, like,
we need like
not say sadly, but like
I don't believe in the 2-party system. Obviously,
the only thing left is like, we need like a woman. Like that's like the next thing. We had a black guy, and now it's like, okay, we just need a young woman.
Yeah, and like I don't do. I could give a fuck.
That's the other thing is that like I believe whoever this president. Well, granted, this is like everything's been cool. Like I don't know however many years, but like now the government's like intentionally like is kind of like more so fucking with our daily lives. But before that, like Trump, while Trump was president, people were bitching about him, like, oh, he tweeted me and he said this, he said that. But more or less, you could wake up and live the life you wanted to live when he was president.
He was pro-freedom.
Now, that's not really the case. We can't. There's more to it than just like...
I think you would agree, as cliche as it is, we are probably fiscally conservative, socially liberal, where... we need government in place, but we need them to be as hands-off as possible.
Absolutely.
Because that's, like, again, like the whole...
Keep law and order, but...
Yeah,
you
like,
don't need
law
to be
and order, dude. Like, we need a judicial system, and, like, we need rights and wrongs, and we need laws. But, like, we can't... I don't know. I'm an idiot. I don't know anything.
No, I mean... Yeah, we can skip to crypto for a second, though. Let's go on that tangent. It's, do you own any?
This is 3.5 hours.
Great.
I'm probably going to split this into 2.
That's great.
And just do episode 1, episode 2.
Sure.
But I'll put them out back to back. But 4 hours, that's like I don't even know if I can post that for real.
No, that's fine.
Which I don't. I mean, do you care?
No, I care.
It's more content for your boy.
Do you own any?
Yeah, I can tell you what I own. I don't own much. Like in total, I've spent.
What app do you use?
Coinbase. Binance.
Binance. Okay, what do you got?
So in total, I've put in like $150. Yeah, like I've not put in anything, and I'm at 200 because it's just more so like I want to watch it kind of a thing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I'm at.
I'm sorry.
So I'm at $203, and I'm down 8% in the last 4 hours. And at one point, it was at like $350.
Where's all your money at?
I can tell you.
I don't care how much you have, but like, what is it? Like in a savings account, or what do you like? Where is it?
Well, I was kind of speaking of the real estate thing earlier. I have to save money to buy something.
So you just have money in your savings?
In a few different things, yeah.
More like a lesser savings.
The big chunk is in a savings, yeah, to buy real estate. I need
down payment,
right?
Huh.
It's in a Eventually, my money's going to be in
real estate,
right?
What do you got?
So I have 0.01 of Ethereum. I have $56 in Ethereum. I have 37.5 Cardano. I have 0.17 of Solana. I have 1.4 Chainlink, and I have 9.99 IOTA, and I have 0.06 Litecoin. I don't own any Bitcoin.
Have you heard the phrase? Scared money don't make money.
Scared money don't make money, baby. I want to put more into it. I just don't know what I'm doing.
So okay.
It's not that I'm scared of it.
So I can preface this with this is not financial advice.
No, none of this will be.
So,
but I love hearing about this because I've texted a few different people. Like, if I'm going to buy something, hey, what is this?
Word to the listeners: this is not financial advice. That's the funny thing is like I am so heavily invested in crypto. That's why I kind of like laugh when you said 150.
You don't have to give me numbers, but like, let's say, like, if you have $100,000, what percentage of that fund is in crypto for you? I'm not saying you're worth $100,000, but for the sake of numbers, like, is 50% of your money in crypto? 20%, 10%, 2%? Because that's like, for me, that's like 0.01%. I don't actually know numbers, but that's like, it's nothing. It's just, I put $50 in, then I put $50 in another time. I put $50 in another time.
Maybe like,
unless you want to give me numbers.
like
I don't want to
like 65, 75% maybe.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
About probably like maybe like 75%.
And what's it all in?
I got a lot of XRP.
Ethereum? No, that's not
XRP.
Ethereum. And why?
It's the one crypto that's in a lawsuit with the SEC right now.
Fuck me. What's it at?
So that's another thing is like last.
Oh, I did own a shitload of Dogecoin. I sold it all. Though.
I sold it off.
I made good money on that.
I made it. Yeah,
that was fun.
I like doubled it, but then I was like,
it was fun.
It's been sitting at like a quarter.
Yeah.
For a while, but last night, so the market kind of goes where Bitcoin, or as far as like crypto goes, the market goes where Bitcoin goes. So if bearish and bullish.
Yeah.
Bearish is going down, bullish is going up. So like last night, Bitcoin went bearish and it went down to like 43,000.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. And so like everything else went down, was going down like 15, 20% last night. And so I posted on my story, I don't know if you saw it.
What is that, 10% for Bitcoin? Ish?
Yeah. Yeah. It says, yeah, about 10%. It's back up to 48 now, but it went down like 43 last night.
That's so insane.
But like, I had a third of one back like a couple of years ago, which is kind of annoying because it'd be like 16,000.
Back in high school, we bought our fake IDs with Bitcoin. We bought like 3 or 4 Bitcoin and bought fakes with it.
You could have a couple $100,000.
Yeah, that's fun to think about.
It's fun. Then you just kick yourself in the nuts.
Yeah.
But like everything's like still for sale right now. Like it's not like weird that like we're here with you today, but like if I were to tell you to put like, I mean, I'd tell you to put a decent amount, but like 10,000, 15,000, whatever you're willing to like put towards like crypto, just put like 3,000 and like maybe like Ethereum.
Let's say percentages. So 10 to 30% into.
Oh, 30 percentages. I mean, I don't know.
Well, you just said 10,000 and 3,000.
Okay,
so
like
30%.
So like 30%. So I'd go like, well, let's go like, if you got 10,000. I'll give you my top 5.
Yeah.
So my top 5. I mean,
and I want to go more general after this.
Who?
I want to go more general. So give me your top 5, and then I've got a more general question.
Okay, so I think Bitcoin's like a good. I guess I can throw it in my top 5 just because I think it's a good like store of value. Like your savings account's making you 0.0 like 1 like 0.1 like putting money in a savings account is absolutely worthless. Like
I'm totally with you. The only reason I do is because I need a down payment.
No, yeah, I understand, but like, you're better off like having it. I guess because like you don't know where Bitcoin's going to be, but like, my advice to you, right now we are in like the end of a bear market. Like this new year is about to be like a bull market for like a couple months. Like, I think you're going to see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x or whatever it may be like. In like a lot of cryptos.
So give me your top 5.
Like a top 10.
Not even for this year. Just not like general. What you were just saying. Like give me your
long-term general. I think Bitcoin will go.
I think Bitcoin is just like
it's just gonna.
I think it's just like the Apple or Amazon, where it's there and it's been the OG, and like it's always going to be based skeptical.
And used. That's why like I'd hate to like this isn't financial advice, but it's like I'd have like Bitcoin as like a savings account of just like having your money in as long as you don't like plan on touching it like in the next like. If you're okay with like riding out, like that's the other thing that like scares people is like the amount of money I have like in crypto, and like last night the market went down 20%, and that's like a couple decent amount of money.
It's a lot of money.
Decent amount
for
of
a
money.
lot of people. It's a lot of money.
It's like a decent amount of money. Like it goes down 20%. It's like damn, like, but it's like okay, like it's gonna be back up. Like, what am I gonna? Because if you sell, you lose.
Right.
You never sell, you never lose.
That's why I haven't sold anything I bought. The only thing I sold is Dogecoin.
That's the other thing about. I don't think a lot of people understand like just like.
Well, it's the whole thing with like the stock market. It's like
people don't know.
You don't put money in to sell it in 4 months.
Yeah, exactly. But people just like not willing to learn about like a skill It's like the stock market is like it's like kind of a skill. I mean, it's a knowledge.
But
Like,
it's a skill.
I don't think people understand like maybe like short if you're like day trading, but like this like
It's
how
a knowledge that you're applying a skill to.
people don't know like understand like how it works.
Right. No.
Like okay, like
Same thing with crypto.
like if I buy,
Wait, so is crypto the next stock market?
so that's the other thing I'm like kind of confused about is like the Wall Street market. Like if the dollar goes to shit, like is the
Right.
is like
Is the whole stock market going to crash?
is like US or is like MGM like is that going to be like is the market going to be in Bitcoin like the company's worth like X amount of Bitcoin?
Sorry, 333 crypto.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, keep going.
But like that's my thought is like if I've pulled out of like probably 50% of my Wall Street stocks, just like general, companies of just like
I've got a small brokerage account.
I pulled like 50%. I use TD Ameritrade, free plug. But I pulled like 50% of my money out of there just because I'm like, well, I don't really know where. I don't know because that's like stock market's kind of like the government, so I don't really like trust what's going on there. The crypto is like decentralized.
I agree. That's why I want to put more money into it.
Yeah.
But I can't sacrifice
But so the thing is like
future.
financial advice, but it's like
Yeah.
I mean, so it would suck for you to like. I tell you right now to buy Bitcoin, and if like you're not going to buy a house for the next like 6 months, like next summer maybe or next fall,
Buy Bitcoin.
buy Bitcoin or any of like.
All right, so give me the
any
top
of my
five right
okay.
now.
Top 5 right now.
Doesn't have to be in order.
XRP's in there. XRP's the one I'm.
So I've heard that. I've heard Bitcoin.
most heavily invested in. That's the one that's in the lawsuit with the SEC.
I've heard Ethereum.
Ethereum's the one that's like.
As far as like really good ones.
Ethereum's like.
Because that's where like NFTs and
That's
shit
what
are built
NFTs are
off.
based in right now. Which is. That's kind of a mind-boggling thing. Just like
That's a whole different
digital
conversation.
That's a whole different conversation. So, I mean, you could as like safe like okay, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sol, SOL. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Solana, yeah, I just bought some of that. I put fucking $15 into it.
XRP, XLM.
What's that?
I'm not really sure. It's like stellar lumens, but it's like a certain. It's like IS 20002. Like certified, which means that it's like as far as like Bitcoin, like if I were to send you Bitcoin, it takes like a 30
Small
minutes.
percentage, yeah.
Well, no, like not a percentage, but like the time, like the transaction speed. Think about like if I give you cash, like here you have the cash,
Right.
But we're not doing that anymore. It's like it's over the phone, so it's
Right,
like
Venmo.
Venmo's pretty quick, but that's I guess that's kind of different, but.
But for general
It's like if I like have like Bitcoin.
That's what you're talking about, sending money.
If I want to send you a Bitcoin or a percentage like $300 in Bitcoin, it's going to take like 30 minutes or something for you to like get it or whatever it may be. But like with XLM, it's got like this certain
some sort of property to it.
like smart contract like certification to where like
following.
where the banks accept it's whatever, and so like you can like quickly like I can just quickly like send you it like the money. Or quickly like send you like XLM or like so XRP is like another one that's like quick where you can like I can like have this and like I send it to you. So that's like a thing where it might be like kind of like that's the other thing is like with businesses like for all these cryptos, they're gonna have to accept Bitcoin, Ethereum. Like how does that work? And if it's like it's volatile, like okay whatever like real market price, like here hurry up like you exchange like 0.00 for like a hamburger, like which is kind of crazy, but
I literally saw a tweet about that the other day. It's like the frustrating thing about cryptocurrency is like I pay 0.001% of a Bitcoin a day for a cheeseburger, and like in a week it could be 20 cents or it could be $400 for a cheeseburger.
yeah, but it's just
So my general question for cryptocurrency,
okay.
and
I'll throw ADA in there too.
ADA,
Yeah, so
I have
Bitcoin,
some of that.
Ethereum, Solana, XLM, XRP, and ADA. So that's 6. It's just my top 6.
crypto.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of things about it, and like, do you think, or I mean, neither of us know anything, but like, how do you feel and how do you think about like what like exactly that? Like, I don't care which crypto, but like crypto in general of like being a currency / being the currency / like the stock market thing we just talked about. Because I've heard like, so like you want to talk like 2040, like theories of the self-driving car that you pulled up in a Tesla, and like Tesla's self-driving thing, and at some point there's a good chance that all the cars on the road are self-driving, and the Tesla just pulls up to the Valvoline and pays from its internal thing, crypto, to get its like.
There isn't oil changes.
But you know what I'm saying? Like its little maintenance inspection thing.
Sure.
From the car to pay for that. Do you think that that's where it's going to be going? Is to where it's just like a general
Where
like
you just
exchange?
send your car out?
No, but like, do you think it's
an
gonna?
oil change?
Do you think it's gonna be like a literal dollar thing where like the U.S. uses Bitcoin and like Mexico uses Bitcoin and Russia uses fucking Ethereum, or do you think that it's just gonna be like an exchange of currency, where if you give me, I don't know, does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying. So I think, granted, like right now, it's like we have our dollar. So like in America, we exchange with businesses or people like our dollar. But it's weird.
Yeah. So do you think it's gonna be like a world encompassing thing?
Well, yeah, because I think it's like a decentralized. Like the government has no control over like crypto. So
And
I
that's
think
why the government hates it.
that's why they hate it, because they have control. And so it's kind of like a thing where it's crazy to like think about because it's different and it's new, but also you just kind of have to accept the fact that like we might have like 10 or really like what any coin you want to have, like maybe like 10 for sure, like solid ones where like businesses just accept like 10 different types of currency rather than like we just accept the US dollar, where it's like if you got any like these 10 cryptos, like we accept those. You just like click a button on your phone and then boom, like you pay with your XRP, like
Yeah, I'm following.
like whatever. And
So do you think
it
this
won't be
is-
like the dollar will, I think, to just be done.
Do you think this is a 5-year thing or a 20-year thing?
just like 8 cryptos, like was that
In
what I
general.
said?
Like how we're talking like savings accounts and like percentages of your total.
I mean, it's already kind of happening
Asset
now.
base.
Like El Salvador, just,
Like I'm talking like where in like
no
whether,
one will have savings accounts of dollars.
like yeah. Do you think like savings accounts, whether it's 5 years or 20 years, do you think savings accounts will be in like you own 10% of Apple and then 10% of Microsoft and 10% of fucking Schnucks and 10% of fucking J&J, 10% of whatever? Or do you like at what point do you think it's going to be more so like people have, I don't want to say a Roth IRA, but like their brokerage account, rather it being a brokerage account in the index funds, being a brokerage account in
Crypto.
yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean,
Do you think it's ever going to get to that point?
obviously, statistically, yeah.
I know.
mean,
This
the
is what-
time period, I
this is
don't
what I'm
know.
interested to hear about.
The time period, I don't know. You know, you don't know. We don't
Because
we don't know.
technology is exponential. It could be next month.
It could, yeah. You never know when they're gonna make it be what it is or what it can be. But and there's always gonna be people that are like, oh well, I'm gonna hold on to my dollars, maybe like dollars and the saving.
It's funny how cash.
I feel
is no
like people
longer
are gonna
king.
be. I hate to say it, but like personally, I feel like if you don't get involved with crypto, then you're kind of gonna be like asked out. I feel like. Because your dollar's not going to be worth anything, and if you didn't convert it in time, sure you can, you know, if you have whatever money you have, you can convert it into crypto, and you can, you know, write it.
Yeah.
And you kind of have what it's worth in crypto now, but like if you would have just like gotten ahead of
Okay,
the
so that's
game,
another point. Like, do you, like let's say like okay for
it's like oh god,
for sake of numbers, like let's say 5 years, the U.S. dollar drops to worth a tenth of a penny, and everyone's using Bitcoin. Do you think that the people that had $1 million, $1.5 million, and they turn 65, are they just kicking the bucket? Like they don't have any other option? How do you think that goes about?
like they're 60 now and 65 in 5 years, you're saying?
Like let's say in 5 years, like the average brokerage account is a crypto account instead of a Fidelity fund.
Yeah,
And people are using Bitcoin as much as they are using,
more so than the dollar.
and like the people that have $1.5 million in their retirement account in 5 years at 65, do you think they just kind of ate shit and like they just now have to deal with buying in that super late? Wow. Could you fucking imagine?
It's like in 5 years, I think a Bitcoin could be like 500,000,
yeah, who knows?
maybe $1 million.
Yeah. Because what's the cap? Like, I think the cap is like one Bitcoin can potentially be worth like $20 million or $2 million or something. Because there's a finite amount of Bitcoin that can be mined.
So that's the other thing. It's like there's so much more you can dive into it, but like that's the thing. Is like the dollar is
You can just print that
you
shit
can just print it and it's
as
fucked.
we've done.
Bitcoin is finite. There's there's X amount of Bitcoin.
Are there X amount of other ones?
Yes.
Like there's stock splits, and you can
like
essentially
XRP has like
create an infinite number of stocks from one company. Can you do that? Like I know Bitcoin is finite,
well,
but,
yeah,
but XRP and ADA, like can they keep producing those?
they just have like
or is
20 billion or whatever I don't know what their number is specifically, but they just have like
But is each
20
coin-
they just have like 20 million of them. That's it. Or like not 20
so?
million,
But each coin has a finite number.
yeah.
Okay.
Or I believe so.
Okay. You believe so?
A certain one. I mean, yeah, they're all different.
Oh yeah, because
They're all
Bitcoin has 20 million, another one has 1 billion, whatever. But you think that each one of them has their own specific amount?
Yeah. So Bitcoin, like right now, has its finite amount, and there's
I think it's 20 million Bitcoin.
and so like there's miners where you can like there's still like Bitcoin to be mined. You know what I'm saying? Which is basically just like brought into the system. But Bitcoin, I forget if it's every 2 years or
it's got a half-life now. It's at that point. There are only 21 million Bitcoins.
But
so the number
look up the Bitcoin halving. So I don't know how often it is.
Oh, I know what you're talking
but
about.
But it like halves the supply.
Yeah. A Bitcoin halving event is when the reward for mining Bitcoin traction is cut in half. This event also cuts in half Bitcoin's inflation rate and the rate at which new Bitcoins enter circulation.
I know it was last year.
Yeah, May 20th, resulting in a block reward of 6.25 Bitcoin. Holy fuck.
But does it say how often? Every 4 years? Oh, yeah, approximately every 4. Or every
50 Bitcoins
blocks.
per block were given as reward to miners. Oh my God.
So that's the thing is like supply.
Because that's how long it takes to mine the next
So it's kind of
one.
like supply. So that's like, click on like one of the,
Which one do you want? That one? Sorry. This one looks fun.
There's one chart that's really good up there.
Is it a halving chart?
Stock to flow.
Holy fuck.
So it just shows that like it's keeping. What model is that?
Bitcoin
stock
price.
Flow. That's the stock flow. So it shows you how Bitcoin is keeping along like just like the stock flow, and so like right now like we're below, and 100,000 is right there. Like granted, you have. Think about the stock market. So you have your ups, you have your downs, you have your ups, you have your downs, you have your ups, you have your downs. Obviously,
over a 10-year period.
You want to buy a dip. So that, yeah, obviously with stocks, cryptos are stocks that you want to like buy it and keep it for long, and you will be up, like you will be. And so it just stays along this line, and so you can see like we're below it now, but now it's going to have to go up. And so like that's why I think like the end of this year, like end of December, end of January, like we'll be above 100K in Bitcoin.
Fuck me.
And then like you can see this line here. So then like the next like what is that?
2024, 2026.
25, like so like the next like
yeah.
the next like 5-ish years we're
here.
gonna hover between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6K, and then 2025 like in about 5 years, 5, 6, 7 years like Bitcoin will be at $1 million. And then like I said, Bitcoin, as the Bitcoin market goes, all of like the other cryptos go.
Right. So
like if Bitcoin's worth what? 50, we'll say 50,000 today, and it's worth $1 million in 5 years, which is what, 20 times? Right?
Something like that,
20,
yeah.
20, I think so. 20 times, so then like, give or take, like that's kind of how all the cryptos will go, is like 20x, if not, more so. Cause
sure.
Like XRP's, I think 80 cents right now, but like, it'll get to like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, and that's where a lot of my money's at.
That's crazy.
But it's the only reason it's getting held back right now is because it's in the lawsuit with the SEC.
What's the lawsuit about?
Something about
XRP.
Google it.
Yeah, XRP SEC lawsuit.
Something about like Ripple.
Wow, look at that. It's already up.
Ripple's the name of the company.
SEC charges Ripple and 2 DEXs with conducting.
So Ripple's the name of the company. XRP's the name of the
1.3 billion unregistered securities offering.
Yeah, so it's basically like Ripple's the company, XRP's the coin.
Right.
And
Ripple,
I guess
I knew Ripple.
The SEC's trying to say that like they were considering it a security, or like they made money off of like
so that they
raised
okay.
But like that's,
so the SEC is just pissed that they made something that's worth this much.
But that's what every crypto coin,
right.
That's what all of them are. So it was like we're just gonna pick this guy to choose from. So XRP's like 80 cents right now, but it was hovering about $1, $1.20 like the last like couple months. Like that big since Bitcoin dipped like big last night. This dipped down to like XRP dipped down like 65, and it's back up to like 80 last time I checked. But it's been 4 hours, so who knows? And
who knows?
And but its high like 2 or 3 years ago was like 375 or something like that. So, I mean, if you look at the number, I mean, that's like 4x. I know that, yeah, it's about 4x, give or take, 4 or 5x your money. Like, so, like, the way I look at stocks is like, if it was there, it's going to go back to there and more.
Right.
And so.
If it's a good stock.
If it's a good stock. And so this, as far as like its utility and how it'll be used, like, I believe like that it'll win. It'll
'Cause
settle.
you can say what you want about crypto, but blockchain in itself, which all of crypto is based on, blockchain is like the heart of this technological revolution. Like blockchain is what's taking people places real soon.
So I feel like if you don't educate yourself in crypto, and I mean, I don't know crap. I mean, I know a little bit about NFTs, but like I feel like I'm slacking in my knowledge about NFTs. But just like just more like shit that like doesn't make like you heard about the metaverse and like a plot of land selling in the metaverse for like a couple $1 million.
I saw that $2 million of real estate.
Like, what is that even like? You know how like our parents, grandparents feel about like technology today? Like we're already like 24 and I already feel that way. Like, okay, we're buying land virtually. Like, what is that? Like, what? Like, you got to buy this Oculus like set so you can like go into like the metaverse. And it was, I think, the Breakfast Club. You know, like I forget who's in it, but like the Breakfast Club,
like the movie or the podcast, yeah.
And they were like how like the metaverse. They were saying was like what you do virtually will be more important than what you're doing in real life.
That's the whole thing with NFTs. Is like people are thinking that these NFTs are like the
baseball cards.
Yeah, the real art of like where we're going to be.
What's the difference between a card in your closet or like
I know, right?
A JPEG on your phone?
I don't know.
Kind of like kind of nothing. So it's like I understand what they're doing, but it's like they're becoming famous. Like we get like an artist makes a collection of like 1,000 monkeys that are like smoking a joint or doing this, doing that, doing
riding
that.
a skateboard.
They're colored this way, colored that way, and then like
wearing a space helmet
because that artist is. I mean, it's kind of like a lot of the NFTs made right now are going to fail because it's just like some random artist making some random shit and it's not going to stick. But if you're like, you know, it's almost like if you're a well-known artist, then your product has value. Mm-hmm. But if it's not, then really it's all shit.
Actually, so going like really backtracking, going back to the entrepreneur thing and this whole metaverse shit is so like it'd be awesome if this podcast could be my full-time job. I'm never expecting it to be. But I think that whether it's me or podcasters in general, I think the next step in this space is, so how I'm recording this, and this is going on YouTube, the next step for me or anyone is recording this in virtual reality. Because when you listen to this, it feels like people have said, like it feels like you're just in the room having a conversation with us. And I think the next step is the next experience to listen to podcasts is for you to throw on Oculus and you're sitting right there. And you're watching us talk, and you're just kind of watching us back and forth, listening to this conversation. And at some point, live podcasts, if you want to be a guest, you throw those on, and we see you right there, and you see us right here, but you're just in this, quote, metaverse.
This just kind of like downloaded.
That was just a thought that I had the other day, sorry.
This just downloaded to my brain of like, so if the metaverse and say you have, as a business model, like you want to have like a meetup of like entrepreneurs of like you want to as like a business is like okay
keep going I like this.
If you want like advice from me, like okay, meet me in the metaverse and like you're over here in whatever country or state and like we're just gonna meet at whatever
fucking website.
We're gonna meet at this bar in the metaverse or my house in the metaverse, and then you guys are gonna basically be in my house in the metaverse. Like you're gonna basically be looking at me in your little thing.
Yeah.
And we're basically going to be like conversing how we would be if we were together, but we're just conversing with like these goggles on. But it feels and looks like because you ever put one of those things on where like
I've used it once, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Like you feel like you're in it.
It's crazy. And like this other shit they're coming out with, these vests and these gloves and these fucking treadmills.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, dude. These virtual reality like accessories, if you will, that they're coming out with are treadmills. Yeah, there's a treadmill that rotates in place, like literally from Ready Player One.
What do you mean? You just like put it in the what do you mean?
Oh, dude, look at this.
Like you run in place, like what do you mean?
Like for Call of Duty.
Oh, I
$8,000.
You're like taped. You're
yeah, but there's like arcades that have them.
I've seen that. I've used one.
These things.
I've used one. Oh no, I don't know if I had the ball.
Yeah, and there's like arcades that have them for real. And
again,
like
technological revolution. We're only getting every single day more technology.
We're touching the tip.
Which just bothers me because like I feel like I'm old school and I just want like back where it was. It's almost like it's like an overstimulated, just like with all the information and like data. And I feel like that's what's a real problem with like basically, I mean, everybody today was just like,
Everyone's overloaded.
we're all being like overstimulated, and it's just like,
I mean, you've got
tiring and depressing.
You've got
like,
anything
there's
you'd
just,
ever want at your fingertips.
there's just too much going on to where like it's so easy, but there's just like so much going on to where it's just kind of like tiring and like just depressing to like be on the internet because like you're looking at people's Instagram and like, oh,
It's way better than you.
that chick's hot. Like, wish I could marry a girl from Australia, but she's over there. Never going to meet her.
You have these unrealistic standards.
You know, I want like this 10 out of 10. That's just like, but in reality, she could have a shitty personality.
Right.
And
You never
who
know.
cares about that.
And that's like the whole thing. Like have you seen Ready Player One? Dude, you got to check that movie out. The storyline's incredible. The acting's not so hot, but like as an overall movie, it's really good. And it's all about this shit and like the metaverse and like Oculus and virtual reality and like everyone spends most of their time in this virtual reality world and the world goes to shit. And it's really good.
Do you believe that they've made and make movies based on information that they already know?
Yes.
But they want to put it in our face so that we become accustomed to it.
And that you almost don't believe that it could be real.
Right. Like, oh, like it's just like, so like say the movie 2012.
Yeah.
Where the world ends.
And they
like,
have ships to
the
evacuate,
elites,
yeah.
the elites. There's like, what is there, a couple, like 2 or 3 ships?
Something like that.
Maybe 1 or 2 or 3.
Less than 5.
Yeah, like not like there's a handful of ships and like only
It's
the elites because the world's flooded.
They put that movie out, so we think that's just a ridiculous idea. I like to think that way.
Because do you think
It makes fucking
well,
sense.
granted
dude.
with like the climate and like we are,
That's another conversation. Yeah, but
But
2012, the
we're-
movie is a good example.
we're just like overpopulating,
Right.
and so like it. You think the government could come out and be like, yeah, by like 2030 we're gonna be flooded? They can't come out and just like
No.
say that. Then chaos ensues. Like,
Right.
there's no reason for like law. Okay, we only have 9 years to live. Like
We only have room for 1 million people.
rules off. Like
Right.
like they can't come out and like provide that information to the general public.
No.
There's a lot of things that they can't give.
I think that's why
there's a lot of things they can't just.
they
tell
kind
the
of
general
leaked
public.
the alien info, just like mid-COVID.
Dude, they casually leaked
it's like,
alien
yeah,
info.
we've known aliens
and
about
no
aliens
one
for like
even
60 years.
No one blinked an eye.
Yeah,
and it's
everyone
like,
just pushed it to the side.
oh, COVID. Oh, aliens are real. We know they are. Oh, whatever. Okay. Well, COVID.
Insane. But I think I gotta call it. We've been going for 4 hours.
Whatever. I'm
This is
here
good.
for it.
This is good, dude. You'll have to come in again.
I'll
I'd
come
love to keep talking, but I can't go for 5 or 6 hours.
Oh, yeah, we could.
This is good though. This is fun.
It was.
This is a good conversation.
Keep going.
Yeah, and hey, man, come back.
We'll structure it next time.
3 hours and